blocking his vision. When the dust cleared, a creaking sound came from below, and vines shot up like endless tentacles towards Zhang Shutong. Azure Wood Heart Sutra, Zhang Shutong, being an old opponent of Ming Shiyin, recognized the move at a glance. The great thing about the Azure Wood Heart Sutra is that it can mobilize energy to promote the growth of living things in the forest, amplifying Ming Shiyin's cultivation and strength. Could it be that he deliberately planned this? After all these years, am I still not familiar with how to deal with the Azure Wood Heart Sutra? Zhang Shutong retracted his 100 tribulations, moving darkness dharma body, and instead of retreating, advanced, flying toward the rising vines. Elder, the Qingyu altar disciples were shocked. At this moment, Qian intertwined with the vines, and flames began to burn fiercely, the vines immediately retreating. Ming Shiyin coughed a few times, and turned to run. Old man, it really is you, I'm not fighting you. As Ming Shiyin flew away, Zhang Shutong shouted loudly, "The devils of the evil sky pavilion are only this strong." The sound waves traveled far, and the Qingyu altar disciples laughed. So the devils of the evil sky pavilion aren't as scary as we thought. Even devils have days when they're scared into running. Lu Zhao's expression was calm, but inside he was speechless. Terrifying, Ming Shiyin's survival skills are even stronger than I thought. It's a pity he only thinks about running, and doesn't directly face and defeat the enemy. Zhang Shutong said in a deep voice. If I let this devil run with my 2 leaves dharma body, how will I, Zhang Shutong, have the face to live on? 100 tribulations, moving darkness, great divine power technique. Zhang Shutong once again used the divine power, his figure flickering, as if redoing the same move, attacking Ming Shiyin. The powerful Qia rippled, centered on Zhang Shutong's dharma body. This time, before Ming Shiyin could even open his dharma body to resist, his whole body was like a kite adrift in a sea of Qi, blown away. Ming Shiyin spun around and fell to the ground, swallowing the blood in his throat, and smiled contemptuously. Come on, with just a little bit of strength like that, how can you kill me? Zhang Shutong flew in the sky, arrogantly saying, You think I'll use the great divine power technique again? Dream on. Because next is your death day. Zhang Shutong raised his right hand, and a huge gray-red weapon appeared. It was a saber, half gray, half dark red. He gripped the weapon tightly in his palm, and the cultivators exclaimed, The life-severing blade. It's Elder Zhang's life-severing blade. 3 years ago, Elder Zhang brought this heaven-grade weapon back from Rongbei. No wonder Elder Zhang was so confident, continuously unleashing 4 ultimate moves. Turns out he had a heaven-grade weapon. The life-severing blade vibrated. An extremely pure QI energy appeared around it, surrounding the blade like an afterimage. Ming Shiyin is definitely gonna bite the dust. When this blade appears, someone's gonna die. Lu Zhao was pondering something at this moment, his eyes deep in thought. Ming Shiyin didn't expect Zhang Zhuqi to have a heaven-grade weapon. Zhang Zhuqi isn't one of the Dark Knights, and he clearly understands the weaknesses of the Greenwood Heart method. Now that he has the life-severing blade, how could Ming Shiyin possibly be a match for him? That old geezer Zhang Zhuqi? His eyes burning with murderous intent, he shouted, Ming Shiyin, go die! Zhang Zhuqi raised the life-severing blade, but before it could strike, a voice came from afar. Catch! It was Lu Zhao, who flung a blue weapon hurtling over. It was the farewell hook. The farewell hook streaked across the sky, flying quickly toward Ming Shiyin. When it reached Ming Shiyin, it fell from above. Everyone was captivated by the blue object, with its strange shape that Lu Zhao had thrown. At the same time, everyone looked toward the voice. Old geezer Zhang Zhuqi immediately asked, Grandmaster, what's the meaning of this? Why are you helping a devil? The disciples of the Green Jade Altar were stunned, then exclaimed, Grandmaster, what's going on? The Grandmaster wanted to kill the devil, but accidentally had his weapon snatched by the opponent, attacking his weak spot, then planning an attack. Zhang Zhuqi raised the life-severing blade, not thinking too much, striking first and asking questions later. The key energy formed a blade shadow, combined with the power of the life-severing blade, slashing down. Sure enough, the farewell hook in the air flew in front of Zhang Zhuqi. This strike landed on the farewell hook, and with a loud bang, golden light flashed across the area. Upon colliding with the heaven-grade weapon, the farewell hook spun while continuing to fall. Zhang Zhuqi was shocked. This thing actually blocked a strike from the life-severing blade. He raised his eyebrows, staring unblinkingly at the bizarre object. Then, he quickly approached Ming Shiyin's position near the cliff. Unfortunately, even though the weapon was knocked away by the key energy, it still flew toward Ming Shiyin, as if seeking its master. The system announced, the farewell hook has successfully recognized its owner, activating heaven-grade status, rewarding 1,000 merit points. The guy Ming Shiyin embraced the farewell hook with delight. He had struck gold. He held the farewell hook tightly in both hands, and pointed a finger at the sky, with an extremely cold look in his eyes. Having just successfully recognized its owner, Ming Shiyin's eyes lit up significantly, his expression extremely excited. Without even thanking his master, Ming Shiyin leaped into the air, his figure like lightning. A second later, Ming Shiyin drew out the farewell hook, pouncing toward Zhang Zhuqi like a tiger with wings. Zhang Zhuqi widened his eyes, seeing the blue farewell hook rushing toward him. The old man immediately raised his blade to parry wildly. The farewell hook spun continuously, slamming into the life-severing blade in Zhang Zhuqi's hand. The key energy released was several times stronger than before. Both speed and agility were pushed to their limits. At the same time, the farewell hook bloomed like fireworks in the sky. Flashing light reflected as if the entire sky was under Ming Xiyin's control. Ming Xiyin's eyes burned with murderous intent. Ming Xiyin continuously retrieved and flung the farewell hook toward Zhang Zhuqi, while the old geezer Zhang Zhuqi had to parry wildly. Observing the situation from below, Lu Zhao stroked his beard and nodded. If it weren't for the farewell hook, Ming Xiyin wouldn't be able to defeat Zhang Zhuqi, since he has the life-severing blade. At first, I was planning to temper Ming Xiyin's character, since this kid is developing so quickly, but maybe this is a good opportunity. Zhang Zhuqi, you unleashed 4 divine powers in a row? If it weren't for the life-severing blade, you wouldn't be a match for me, Ming Xiyin's voice echoed continuously. At this moment, Zhang Zhuqi realized that the Grandmaster was the master of the Demon Heaven Pavilion. This made him feel tremendous pressure. The tables had turned, and Ming Xiyin had the upper hand. Zhang Zhuqi wanted to live, so he could only return to the Green Jade Altar's formation. So, he lifted the life-severing blade, wanting to imitate Ming Xiyin, but Ming Xiyin said coldly, 100 Tribulation Illumination Dharma Body. A Tuzang figure appeared, and Ming Xiyin's speed increased several times. The farewell hook struck towards Zhang Zhuqi like a howling storm. Damn it! Zhang Zhuqi retreated continuously. The 2 heaven-grade weapons clashed, sparks flying everywhere. It was possible that Ming Xiyin was very confident that farewell hook could beat Zhang Zhuqi. Before Zhang Zhuqi could react, vines from below swarmed up, blocking his retreat. Ming Xiyin shouted, 100 Tribulation Illumination. This time it's not 2 Zhang, but 3 Zhang. 1 leaf of the golden lotus beneath the Dharma body is blooming. Ming Xiyin suddenly said, go die. Zhang Zhuqi widened his eyes. Unable to believe it, this is a leaf opening. Ming Xiyin pierced Zhang Zhuqi's neck with the farewell hook. Ever since Ming Xiyin got his hands on that heavenly grade weapon, he's been beating Zhang Zhuqi like a drum, non-stop. My bad, I bloomed early. The fight's over, the image freezes, and Zhang Zhuqi's remaining primordial spirit catches his body so he doesn't faceplant. Ming Xiyin stands tall in the air, wipes down Li Biegao with his sleeve, and sheathes it. Zhang Zhuqi's blade clatters to the ground. Ding. Killed a nascent soul tribulation realm dude. Got 1,000 merit points. Ding. Retracting heavenly grade weapon. Transcendence severing blade. Needs reforging before use. Ming Xiyin rushes down and heads towards the platform of the other shore. He kneels down a few dozen meters away, cupping his hands towards it. Thank you, master. This disciple will definitely not fail your expectations. Loyalty +2. The cultivators are sweating bullets. He's a big devil? Are you kidding me? The great master Duanxing mentioned is the owner of the Demon Sky Pavilion. Never thought Ming Xiyin was hiding his strength. He already bloomed when he fought the Dark Four Knights last time. Ming Xiyin, after getting up, immediately says to Xiao Yanhe, Junior sister, did my move that killed Zhang Zhuqi just now have second senior brother's vibe? Xiao Yanhe rolls her eyes at him. Don't know. All doubts before were just that. But the dialogue earlier made that old geezer's identity clear. The nearby cultivators are scared, SHT less. Run. How could those low-level disciples dare to stay and watch? Compared to watching a fight, their lives are more important. In the blink of an eye, only 1 disciple from the entire Qingyu altar is left. Zhao Yanhe turns her head to look and says, oh, there's still someone who isn't afraid of Maester. Lu Zhu glances at the one person still standing straight, who is none other than Zhang Chu, the 5th elder of the Righteous Unite sect. Lu Zhao nods in appreciation and says, this old man thought the Righteous Unite sect was all scaredy cats. Seeing this, Lu Zhao asks, aren't you afraid of this old man? Zhang Chu remains silent. Ming Xiyin grins and says, Master, this disciple hasn't had enough. How about I just kill him off? Guarantee it'll be silent and quicker than Zhang Zhuqi's death. Lu Zhao shakes his head, glances at Zhang Chu and says, no need to kill. Zhang Chu can't do anything anyway. He's just a shrimp to the Righteous Unite sect. Doesn't affect the overall situation. This old man likes people with guts. I won't kill you. Lu Zhao flicks his sleeves and heads back to the Demon Sky Pavilion. The platform of the other shore flies back into the sky. Ming Xiyin says, farewell, master. I'm gonna find third senior brother. Lu Zhao ignores him, riding the platform of the other shore and flying into the mountain hollow. Ming Xiyin darts forward 30 zang with 1 step, rushing into the forest. Senior brother, what's taking you so long in the John? After saying this, he bolts. As soon as he leaves, Zhang Chu waits a little longer before collapsing to the ground, a warm stream gushing out. Right after Lu Zhao and the others left, a man in dusty, ordinary clothes comes out. He looks in the direction the platform of the other shore flew off to, and mutters, Master, you've changed a lot. He slowly walks over to Zhang Chu. Hello. Still terrified, Zhang Chu nods. I saw it. They probably didn't mean to scare you. Zhang Chu wants to cry. And that wasn't on purpose. How could it not be? The demon worship sect clearly wants to screw over my Righteous Unite sect. The blue-clothed guest smiles again and says, I feel like he didn't do it on purpose. You feel? Zhang Chu realizes his image is too embarrassing right now and hurriedly stands up, tidying his clothes. The blue-clothed guest nods. If you feel offended, then I'll apologize on his behalf. Zhang Chu raises an eyebrow, impatiently saying, Who are you? You apologize on his behalf, what are you? As soon as he finishes speaking, the sword behind the blue-clothed swordsman stirs, draws, and sheaths. Whoosh! Not even a shadow is seen, and Zhang Chu's thumb is sliced off. It was extremely fast, so fast he doesn't even feel the pain. The swordsman turns to leave. This one is Yu Shangrong. Zhang Chu freezes, staring wide-eyed at Yu Shangrong. Unable to utter a word, after saying his name, the blue-clothed swordsman reveals a faint smile. Don't worry, I don't kill anyone without a reason. I've offended you. I take my leave. Yu Shangrong turns to leave, his figure flashing, and in an instant he disappears from the forest. Zhang Chu can only hug his hand and wail miserably. 2 hours later, in the main hall of the Demon Sky Pavilion, Ding Fangqiu tremblingly kneels on the ground, occasionally glancing around. This main hall is very ordinary. Perhaps this is the real Demon Sky Pavilion. Ding Fangqiu is so nervous he doesn't dare to breathe loudly. Everyone respectfully stands on the side. Lu Zhao's gaze falls on Ding Fangqiu. Although this guy impersonated him, he's still a member of the Yun sect, and a 5-leaf nascent soul tribulation realm cultivator. Hua Wu Dao. If it's really like Duanxing said, wanting to overcome the inner demon will appear at the Demon Sky Pavilion, then Ding Fangqiu also has the identity of someone from the Yun sect. He's still useful. Lu Zhao waves his sleeves indifferently. Take him down, yes. Duan Musheng drags Ding Fangqiu out of the main hall. Lu Zhu continued to instruct. Furthermore, if you see Hua Wu Dao, bring him to me. Understood. His disciples obeyed. Lu Zhao looked towards the female cultivator from the moon-gazing sect, stroking his beard as he asked, how has Ye Tiangxin been these past 2 days? The female cultivator panicked upon hearing this, quickly kneeling down, her words jumbled. Seeing this, Pan Zhong clasped his fist and replied, reporting, Sect Master, other than her body being weak, she's fine. Lu Zhu nodded. With the body of a commoner, a little illness was nothing. Before he understood the truth of the Fish Dragon Village, Lu Zhu didn't want to extract anything from her. At this moment, Lu Zhu could only say, this old master is tired? I'll go rest. Farewell, master. Lu Zhao got up and entered the secret chamber. After entering the secret chamber, Lu Zhao pondered. Not comprehending the celestial book for 2 days, my mental state has declined. Lu Zhao continued to check the system. Name, Lu Zhao race, human cultivation, 8 extraordinary meridians of the Van Si Dharma body. None merit points. 6,212 remaining lifespan. 5,800 days items. 1 hit kill x1, damage immunity x2, critical block x7, passive binding cage x4, by Z B on, weapon. Nameless. The amorous ring's owner is Yi Tiangxin. Needs to be refined again before it can be used. Techniques. Just made a bowl of noodles, and still have 4 strands hanging from my mouth. Lu Zhao frowned and continued to think. Only a little over 6,000 merit points. Still over 1,000 short. Dharma bodies are so expensive. Can't afford one for now. Gotta think of a way to accumulate merit points. Besides, the task of finding out the truth in Fish Dragon Village hasn't been completed yet, and I haven't gotten the big reward, so Lu Zhao had to try his luck by drawing a prize, the system reported. Prize draw. Consumes 50 merit points. Thank you for participating in the prize draw. Luck points +1. After 1 round landed on the luck tile, Lu Zhu hesitated slightly. If he drew again, he was afraid he wouldn't win, but Lu Zhao still decided to draw again to see if his luck would be better this time. Prize draw. Consumes 50 merit points, luck points are 8. Obtained 5 Qi Convergence Dharma Body. Lu Zhao was extremely surprised, followed by immense joy. I actually got it, Lu Zhao thought. I needed 8,000 merit points to buy it originally, but now I only needed 50 points to draw it. A realistic system like this is better than the logic of knowing beforehand that I've already eaten the 7th piece of cake. No pain, no gain. Lu Zhu threw aside the bowl of noodles and immediately used the new Dharma Body. The 4 symbols skyscraping Dharma Body has been replaced by the 5 Qi Convergence Dharma Body. Relying on cultivation to open up the Ren and Du meridians, the body's 5 energies converged at the Dantian Sea of Qi, perhaps because Lu Zhao's 8 extraordinary meridians had been opened up early on. When condensing the 5 Qi Convergence Dharma Body, the primal energy surged like a tidal wave, bathing his entire body, immensely comfortable. After a long while, Lu Zhao adapted to the new Dharma Body, feeling a great leap in his cultivation. Lu Zhao let out a sigh, stretching his muscles and bones. Still need the reversal card, compared to drawing prizes and a series of probabilities. Thank you for participating, it's still worth it overall. Lu Zhao decided to draw a prize again. Prize draw. Consumes 50 merit points. Thank you for participating in the prize draw. Luck points +1. And immediately afterwards, Lu Zhao drew 5 times in a row, only to see the system respond. Thank you for participating. Just having obtained the 5 Qi Convergence Dharma Body, and then failing 5 draws in a row, Lu Zhao didn't feel distressed. After all, he could add luck points. As long as he didn't draw junk, he could accept anything. Lu Zhao didn't draw anymore and went to look at the item column. He wanted to see if any new items had appeared. As soon as he looked at the item column, Lu Zhao was extremely surprised. This was Lu Zhao discovered that at the bottom, it wasn't an item card, but a purple box, along with the notation, a mysterious Yang chest. Lu Zhao wondered, mysterious Yang? What's inside this chest? Price, 2,000 merit points. Duration, 1 day. Lu Zhao raised his eyebrows. There's even a purchase deadline? Recalling the operations of some games when Lu Ju was on Earth, this was the style of a profiteer, but was the system so meaningless? So Lu Juju decided to click buy. Instinct told Lu Ju that there must be something good in this box. A light flashed in the secret chamber, and a square box appeared. The purple chest exactly the same as on the interface. After looking for a while, Lu Jiao couldn't find where to open it. It was a sealed box. Then Lu Jiao put the box down. Lu Jiao waved his hand and slammed down. Boom! Gang Chi struck the box. But it didn't react at all. Continuously waving his sleeves, Lu Jiao frantically smashed the box. The rumbling echoed throughout the Demon Sky Pavilion. Inside the secret chamber, Lu Jiao used Gang Chi and even knives to smash the mysterious box. After a long while, the chest was still the same, undamaged, not even a scratch. At the same time, outside the secret chamber, Xiao Yanhe and Ming Xiyin could also hear the rumbling sound coming from inside the secret chamber. Ming Xiyin then said to Xiao Yanhe, "Don't go in. Master didn't gain anything from going to Fish Dragon Village this time, so he's throwing a tantrum." Xiao Yanhe only lightly replied, "Okay." Then Ming Xiyin continued to ask, "Little junior sister, are you free? I'll go practice with you. Look at this separation hook that Master gave me." "Little junior sister, why are you crying?" Ming Xiyin raised his hand, and the separation hook had fallen into his palm. Just as Ming Xiyin was feeling strange, Duan Musheng's voice came from outside. "Fourth, I heard that Master has rewarded you with a heavenly grade weapon. Hurry over here." "I'm in a hurry. You just got a good weapon. You'll definitely be able to take a beating better than before. Hurry, hurry, hurry." Duan Musheng carried the Overlord spear upside down and forcibly dragged Ming Xiyin out. Xiao Yanhe softly said, "Ming Xiyin deserves it. Who told him to bully me?" Continuing to the scene inside the secret chamber, Lu Jiao lowered his head to think. With the pile of knives, axes, and chisels underneath, the box was still intact, not even a mark. Can't open such a big yang? What's the meaning of this? Wasted 2,000 merit points for nothing? Lu Jiao crouched down and carefully observed. Apart from a small hole on the shell of the yang, there was nothing special about it. Lu Jiao thought about his weapon, the unnamed. This thing is so tough, what would happen if I hit it with the unnamed? He slightly raised his right hand, and the exquisite unnamed sword appeared. With a flick of his wrist, boom! A loud clang echoed as the unnamed sword struck the box, sparks flying everywhere. Lu Jiao looked at the unnamed sword. No marks, undamaged. Then Lu Jiao looked at the box. It was just like the unnamed sword. It didn't have any damage at all, just a scratch appeared, but in the blink of an eye, the scratch on it disappeared, as if it was melted away. It can be seen that the unnamed is better, but the material of this box is very strange, and it can still restore its original shape. The unnamed sword can even cut off the top-grade Earth-level weapons of the Black Knights, proving that the material of this box is even better than the Heaven level. Lu Jiao got up and decided to give up researching the box. The system sold this box, so it must have a use. Being too hasty won't do any good. The boat will straighten when it reaches the pier. There will definitely be a method. Celestial Book of Balance. Lu Juju sat cross-legged and entered the state of comprehending the Celestial Book. After comprehending it, Lu Juju discovered that he could easily enter that state of immersion, and now he no longer needed to look at the content of the human scroll on the interface. He just needed to sit quietly in his mind. The text of the Celestial Book would automatically appear line by line, along with symbols like a movie playing continuously on TV. At the same time, in the main hall of the Pure Jade Altar, in the Righteous Path, Elder Yu Zhangchu recounted everything to the sect leader Zhang Yuanshan. Sect leader, Ren Bunting of the Devil Slaughter sect, deliberately led you away. This is clearly a plan to lure the tiger away from the mountain. Ji Tiandao took the opportunity to enter and kill. Elder Zhang, I told you, don't trust the demonic path. Zhang Yuanshan asked Zhang Chu in return. Are you sure you met Ji Tiandao of the Sky Devil Pavilion, and even met the Sword Devil Yu Shangrong? It's exactly like that. If I'm lying, then there were many disciples of the Pure Jade Altar there at the time. Anyone can testify. Zhang Chu raised his hand. Several of my fingers were cut off by the Sword Devil. Everyone was surprised. The Sword Devil made a move? You're still alive and standing here? Zhang Chu didn't know how to explain, and stammered. I was, Zhang Yuanshan shouted loudly. The entire hall completely quieted down, no one dared to speak, and all looked towards the sect leader. Zhang Yuanshan frowned, raised his voice and said, there are still many suspicious points in this matter. Don't speculate wildly before clarifying. Zhang Xuan's matter should be put on hold for now. Is Elder Zhang going to die in vain like that? Zhang Yuanshan glared and asked back, then are you planning to take revenge for him? As soon as this question came out, the conference room became silent again. Who would dare to mess with the Sky Devil Pavilion? The Dark Four Knights of the Divine Capital went in, and there's still no news. Zuo Jinchen of the Devil Slaughter sect, the only one who became a nascent divinity expert relying on demonic meditation, even died in the Sky Devil Pavilion. Who else would dare to go? The only thing they could do was wait. Wait until the Sky Devil Pavilion no longer existed. At the same time, on the climbing ladder dozens of miles away from Golden Court Mountain, an old man and a middle-aged man were resting and drinking tea. The middle-aged man said hesitantly, Master, do you really want to go to the Sky Devil Pavilion? It's said that they are a bunch of devils with heinous crimes. If something happens to you... The old man shook his head and sighed softly. In the past 2 years, I have hesitated a lot. Sometimes I am afraid. Sometimes I feel that it will tarnish the reputation of Yun sect. And sometimes I think if I can't beat old Jin Tiandao, this inner demon will follow me to the grave. At that time I won't be able to close my eyes even when I die. The old man explained to the man. Maybe it's because the righteous and the evil are two opposing factions. Then the old man raised his teacup and said in a deep voice, if it weren't for my identity as an elder of Yun sect, I wouldn't have waited until now. Seeing that the middle-aged man didn't speak anymore, the old man sighed and said, you are young, Don't think too much about some things you can't figure out. Do whatever. When you reach my age, you will naturally understand. After hearing what the old man said, the man was still not reconciled. This disciple doesn't understand, and doesn't want to understand. The old man angrily crushed the cup and shouted loudly, "You rebellious disciple, I have already decided, don't talk about this anymore." The middle-aged man didn't dare to offer any opinions, and the nearby cultivators were also very surprised, crushing a cup with bare hands. Then the waiter saw a lot of blood spurting from the old man's hand and said, "Master, your hand is bleeding." The old man calmly replied, "It's okay. Do you have any medicine?" "Master, the blood keeps flowing as if it can't be stopped." "Don't worry too much, I just need to lie down and rest for 2 days and I'll be fine." 2 days passed quickly. Lu Xiao read the celestial book several times in the Sky Devil Pavilion. And that familiar state of mind returned. He slowly opened his eyes, glanced at the remaining merit points on the system interface. There were still 3,862 points. Relying on doing missions to accumulate merit points seems a bit slow. Lu Xiao remembered that if someone sincerely worshipped him, he would also gain merit points. His eyes lit up. It's time for his disciples to go to work. Just as he was about to go find some merit points, Xiao Yanhair's voice came from below. "Master, someone wants to see you." "Who wants to see me?" Reporting to Master, "It's Hua Wudao." Lu Xiao felt a little surprised. He didn't expect Hua Wudao to come so quickly. Lu Xiao flew down from above. If his inner demon is fear of the strong, yet he still dares to come to the evil sky pavilion, that's real guts right there. After landing, Lu Zhou put his hands behind his back and walked along with Xiao Yan'er. Xiao Yan'er smiled and said, "Master, you're getting younger again." Lu Zhou also retorted, "Instead of sucking up to your master, you should focus on cultivating and stop learning from your fourth senior brother." Xiao Yan'er nodded and said, "Yes." The two then entered the Evil Sky Pavilion's main hall. Inside the main hall, Zhu Jifeng, Pan Zhong, and the female cultivator from the Moon Reflection Hall were present, while Duan Musheng and Ming Shiyin stood to the side. A female cultivator bowed and said, "Pavilion Master Hua Wudao said he will arrive shortly." Lu Jijiao stroked his beard nonchalantly, remembering that Zhao Yue was still in the Reflecting Wall cave, and asked, "Has Zhao Yu woken up yet?" Ming Shiyin bowed and replied, "During this time, fifth junior sister has reflected on herself a lot. Any changes in her witchcraft?" Lu Ju seemed extremely concerned about this. "Not for the time being," Lu Ju nodded. "The power of witchcraft is very bizarre. For now, it only binds Zhao Yu's cultivation. Who knows if that expert from the Moon Reflection Hall left any hidden tricks behind. Keep a close eye on her." "Yes." At this moment, outside the main hall, a female cultivator led two elderly cultivators into the hall, and everyone looked towards them. On the left was a decrepit old geezer who looked like he was about to kick the bucket, but he was still full of energy. The person on the right was younger, a middle-aged man carrying a saber on his back. The middle-aged man looked a bit tense, looking left and right as he entered the hall, while the old geezer was more composed, his expression serious and unhurried. "This is Hua Wudao, the one who fought against Ji Tiandao." Arriving in the middle of the hall, the old geezer didn't kneel but just cupped his hands and said, "We meet again." Hearing this, Lu Zhao's disciples frowned, while Lu Zhao's gaze rested on the old man. Lu Zhao ordered, "Chairs." Hua Wudao didn't stand on ceremony and sat down, saying, "I should have come to see you sooner, but something more important came up, so I was delayed." Until today, Lu Zhao stroked his beard, holding the water that Zhao Yan'er offered. Lu Zhao wasn't in a hurry, and leisurely replied, "Hua Wudao, you're from the Cloud Sect, and from ancient times, righteousness and evil have been irreconcilable. Aren't you afraid I'll kill you for brazenly coming to my evil sky pavilion?" Hua Wudao calmly took off his hat and replied, "If it were a few years ago, perhaps I would be afraid. But today I am no longer the same person I was. I have seen through the mortal world. If I was afraid, I wouldn't be standing here today." Zhao Yan'er giggled. "Then your guts are indeed not small." After saying this, she looked at the man next to Hua Wudao and snorted lightly, scaring him back 2 steps. Hua Wudao didn't even glance at him and reprimanded the man. "Good for nothing. You've made me lose all face." The middle-aged man blushed with shame. Lu Zhao stroked his beard and said, "Very bold." Hua Wudao clasped his hands in response. This old man's heart is set on the Tao, obsessed with cultivation. "The conflicts between the righteous and demonic paths have nothing to do with me," Ming Xinyan smiled and said. "Sounds good. After all, you are an elder of the Cloud Sect." Hua Wudao waved his hand and continued. "When I went north, I had already resigned from the position of elder." Everyone was shocked. People value reputation and power, and many people coveted the position of elder in the Cloud Heavenly Luo Cloud Sect, which led the 3 great sects. But he gave up the position. Hua Wudao said very calmly, "I'm already old, and I will eventually turn into dust. Today, I come to the Evil Sky Pavilion, only hoping to resolve the inner demon of that year." Zhao Yan'er twisted a strand of hair and suspiciously asked, "The inner demon of that year?" Hua Wudao slowly said, 20 years ago, I was defeated by Brother Ji, and since then, my cultivation has not improved. This has become a laughingstock for the 3 great sects of Cloud Heavenly Luo, and even the entire cultivation world, and is the key knot in my heart." Ming Shiyin glanced at him and said, "What does the knot in your heart have to do with my master?" Hua Wudao explained. "The cause is because of Brother Ji, so naturally, it must be resolved by Brother Ji. For the past 20 years, I have always been thinking about the moves Brother Ji used to defeat me." Ming Shiyin immediately cursed. "Bullshit. You think you're worthy to call him Brother Ji? You couldn't win 20 years ago, so you came to the Evil Sky Pavilion to take a beating after 20 years. Hua Wudao froze. This is the Evil Sky Pavilion, a place that people fear upon hearing its name. He was facing the strongest demon ancestor in the world. Calling him Brother Ji was indeed inappropriate. Indeed, Hua Wudao frankly said. I have been rude, Lun Zhao stroked his beard. This disciple has always been unruly, but perhaps his words are also what this old one thinks. Ming Xiyin was secretly delighted upon hearing this. Even more revealing, a dog relying on his master's power look. Hua Wudao didn't even bother to pay attention to Ming Xiyin's attitude. I came to the Evil Sky Pavilion with only one purpose, to resolve my inner demon. 20 years ago, I was not your opponent, and 20 years later, I am still not your opponent. Lu Zhao asked in a deep voice. Losing is losing. Your cultivation has stagnated. What does your problem have to do with this old one? Do you think the Evil Sky Pavilion is a bodhisattva temple that relieves suffering? This question left Hua Wudao speechless. He just clasped his hands, bowed his head, and remained silent. Ming Xiyin continued. If you're not as good as others, you can't blame them. Even if you hate the Evil Sky Pavilion, you can't do anything about it. At this moment, the middle-aged man retorted unwillingly. My master came here with sincerity, yet you insult my master like this. You are going too far. Ming Xiyin glanced at him. Going too far? What going too far? Haha. The man was furious. You, Hua Wudao shouted loudly. Middle-aged man, shut your mouth. You have made me lose all face. Step back. The middle-aged man was still unwilling, but scolded by Hua Wudao, he honestly stepped back and didn't dare to say anything. Hua Wudao clasped his hands. This wayward disciple is being impolite. I hope you all can forgive him. Ming Xiyin urged. Cut the crap and get to the point. Hua Wudao opened his mouth, still repeating that same line. I've come to the Evil Sky Pavilion with only one goal. To resolve the 3-move heart demon. Just 3 moves will be enough. Honestly, even if Lu Zhao wasn't missing bits of his memory, he wouldn't remember every single opponent he'd beaten over the years, let alone what moves he used to defeat Hua Wudao. Lu Zhao totally got it, then nodded while stroking his beard. 3 moves from 20 years ago, Hua Wudao generously declared. Back then, I created the strongest Q barrier in the Taoist world, but it still couldn't protect me. For the past 20 years, I've been studying diligently, constantly refining and improving it. You can use any kind of move, and I will only defend, not attack. If I can protect myself, then I can resolve my heart demon. If not, I will cripple my cultivation and disappear into obscurity from now on. Hua Wudao saying this to Ming Xiyin had zero effect. Instead, it made him burst out laughing. Haha, you're such a shameless bastard. You hid like a turtle for 2 years, and now you're running here wanting my master to beat you up, and you keep talking about resolving some heart demon. Honestly, you're the most shameless person I've ever met. That middle-aged guy got super angry, but Hua Wudao stopped him from speaking. Hua Wudao also realized that what he was saying sounded completely unreasonable. Who in the world would spend 20 years researching defensive techniques and then run to their opponent asking to be beaten? Duanmu Sheng swung his overlord spear. Hua Wudao, if you're really that shameless, then give me 5 years to study your defensive techniques. 5 years later, if I don't stab you to death, then you can spell my name backwards. With the mobilization of primal ki, the overlord spear trembled, revealing the power of a heaven-grade weapon. Hua Wudao raised an eyebrow. Speechless at that remark, Duanmu Sheng continued. You researched for 20 years. I'll only research for 10 years. No, 5 years. The middle-aged man turned to Hua Wudao and said, Master, let's go. There's no need for this. As your disciple has said, how could the Evil Sky Pavilion possibly value us? Hua Wudao glared at his disciple. Shut your mouth. He took a step forward and knelt down on one knee. I ask for nothing else. I know that I'm no match for Pavilion Master Ji. But if I can't resolve my heart demon, I will regret it. I beg Senior Ji to give me a chance to end this heart demon. The voice was loud and strong, stunning everyone. There were plenty of righteous sects coming to provoke, ganging up and ambushing, but this was the first guy who came begging to be beaten. What a joke, a true oddity. The Evil Sky Pavilion's great hall was completely silent. To make an elder of the Yun sect kneel down voluntarily was incredibly rare. Who would have thought this would happen? Hua Wudao raised his voice. I beseech the pavilion master for guidance. Xiao Yanhair jumped down the steps and angrily kicked a random unlucky turtle. Get lost. Then she hurriedly went to pick the turtle up. Luckily it's not dead. But right at that moment, Lu Zhao's voice echoed. Hua Wudao, do you really want to resolve your heart demon? Hua Wudao sincerely said. Of course. This is my lifelong wish, and I hope you can go all out. Lu Zhao coldly questioned. I am the one you oppose, yet you beg me. Aren't you afraid of being ridiculed by the world? Hua Wudao calmly replied. In this great Yan world, there is no righteousness or evil. It's only the chaos in people's hearts that divides them. Lu Zhao nodded slightly and stroked his beard. In that case, I will give you this opportunity. The 2 old men's voices echoed throughout the Evil Sky Pavilion. Hua Wudao was overjoyed and respectfully clasped his hands. Thank you for your consent, Lu Zhao said gravely. But I'm telling you this beforehand. Hua Wudao respectfully said, Please, Pavilion Master. The middle-aged man felt uncomfortable. His master was groveling like this just to get a chance to fight. Back then, Hua Wudao was famous in the Yun sect, and many people respected him. Yet he had to endure such humiliation at the Evil Sky Pavilion. What could he do? There were too many experts here, and the situation was oppressive. What could he do except bow his head? Lu Zhao stood up, with one hand behind his back and the other stroking his beard. First, you are not yet qualified to fight me. Ming Xiyin and Duanmu Sheng will fight in my stead. Only if you defeat them will you be qualified. Second, my time is precious. If you lose, you must fulfill one condition for me. Lu Zhao's voice echoed again. Of course you can refuse. The middle-aged man's face turned red upon hearing these words and he was about to explode. The middle-aged man grinded his teeth, his expression unresigned. He clearly looked middle-aged, but he had the aura of a true brat, a calf unafraid of a tiger. Bang! Hua Wudao suddenly kicked the middle-aged man to the ground and roared, "I brought you here to learn new things, and this is how you behave. You even dare to interfere in your master's affairs? This disciple wouldn't dare. If you ever dare to interfere in my affairs again, I will sever our relationship." As soon as Hua Wudao said these words, the middle-aged man quickly knelt down and had to nod. "Disciple? Your disciple obeys?" Hua Wudao stepped forward, clasped his hands and walked away, radiating confidence, a golden aura enveloping him. His eyes swept over Duan Musheng and Ming Shiyin, and he uttered each word deliberately. "I can agree to your requests. As long as it doesn't involve the Yun sect, I'll agree to everything else." Lu Zhao nonchalantly stroked his beard. "Very good." Ming Shiyin stepped out from the side, sizing up Hua Wudao with great enthusiasm. "I'll see for master just how strong a turtle hiding in its shell like you can be. You spent 20 whole years researching just one move. Calling it a turtle technique is spot on." Hua Wudao wasn't angered, but slowly raised his right hand, gesturing, "Please." As soon as the word left his mouth, identical Dao seals flew out from Hua Wudao's body. Decay, void, life, death, water, fire. These 6 seal script-like symbols circled Hua Wudao in sequence, forming a rotating circle of patterns. Ming Shiyin glanced at it and immediately recognized it. The 6 Harmonies Seal. The 6 Harmonies Seal is an extremely complex move for Taoist cultivators. Very few can cultivate this Dao seal to its peak. The so-called 6 Harmonies is also a term of cultivation methods, using essence, ki, and spirit to form the inner 3 harmonies, and hands, eyes, and body to form the outer 3 harmonies. Lu Zhao also watched carefully from a distance. Hua Wudao's 6 Harmonies seal was particularly special. A circle with a diameter of about 2 meters appeared beneath his feet, extremely similar to a Tai Chi diagram. To condense his Gang Chi to such an extent, he must have put in a lot of effort over these 20 years. You can see his obsession with cultivation. Hua Wudao reminded him, "If your level is only this much, then I suggest you both attack together." Ming Shiyin raised an eyebrow. Seeing the 6 Harmonies seal, Ming Shiyin retracted his contemptuous expression, his stance changing, condensing chi into gang, and numerous gang seals formed in the sky. He leaped up. Delivering a large gang seal, Ming Shiyin shouted loudly, arrogantly, 10,000 gang seals. They fell in an instant. The word death suddenly grew larger, and the light ring under Hua Wudao's feet doubled in size. Yuan Qi resonated with the Dao seal, emitting a rippling sound. Boom! Countless gang seals released by Ming Shiyin fell upon the 6 Harmonies seal. But unbelievably, Ming Shiyin couldn't break the 6 Harmonies seal, and was instead blown away by it. Everyone was shocked. Ming Shiyin somersaulted in the air, taking 3 steps back to steady himself, his hands slightly numb. No wonder Hua Wudao is so confident. He agreed to Lu Zhao's conditions without even putting Ming Shiyin and Duan Musheng in his eyes. With that successful defense, Hua Wudao won. Ming Shiyin has always liked using tricks to defeat his opponents. The more casual the attack, the higher the effect. But the battle before his eyes isn't a test of his shamelessness. Separation hook. Ming Shiyin took out his heaven-grade weapon. Under the surprised gazes of everyone, the separation hook flickered in the air. Hua Wudao frowned, coldly saying, "How can he have a heaven-grade weapon?" Heaven-grade weapons are precious because they have a crucial ability, breaking gang. Breaking gang is of course the ability to break through gang chi, including body-protecting gang chi and dharmic bodies. The afterimages of the separation hook were dense and countless. Lu Zhao still had that indifferent look, but he was watching with extreme focus, while Xiao Yanhair widened her eyes and shouted loudly, "Attack 1 point with focus! 4th senior brother, kill him!" Boom boom boom. The 6 Harmonies seal seemed to have prepared a way to deal with the heaven-grade weapon. The 6 large symbols emitted light again, combining into one, blocking the point of attack. Boom! Gang Chi rebounded once again. The stronger Ming Shinyin's attack, the more force rebounded. This time, he spun and flew backwards, almost crashing into the main pillar in the Evil Sky Pavilion. Before he could recover, Ming Shinyin's voice deepened once more. Slightly unconvinced, Ming Shinyin turned and stepped into the air, separation hook in hand, intending to rush in for another attack. But at this moment the Overlord's spear spun horizontally, stopping Ming Shinyin. Duan Musheng's voice rang out. "Let senior brother go up, junior brother will go down." Duan Musheng swung the Overlord's spear forcefully. 100 Tribulations Illumination. A 3 zhang tall dharmic body stood tall in the main hall. Under Duan Musheng's control, the dharmic body was in energy form, without affecting the main hall. Lu Zhao mused, "Ming Shiyin isn't the type with bulging muscles but is somewhat slender and agile. The opponent is turtling up in the 6 Harmonies seal. Ming Shiyin can only suffer." Duan Musheng's strength is much stronger than before. Duan Musheng unleashed his move, overlapping waves of 1,000 weights. The Overlord's spear released hundreds of thousands of spear shadows. Seeing this scene, Hua Wudao sighed. As expected of the devils of the Evil Sky Pavilion, each of them has a heaven-grade weapon. As he spoke, the 6 large symbols of the 6 Harmonies seal combined into one once again, forming a large Gang Chi shield. Boom boom boom. Thousands of spear shadows struck the shield. The 6 harmony seal churned like waves, dimming for a moment before quickly restoring to a dazzling 6 harmony seal. Zhu Jifeng praised. The Taoist 6 harmony seal is truly a creation of heaven and earth. It's the first time I've seen such a 6 harmony seal. Pan Zhang commended him. Me too, I come from the Jingming Dao and also know the 6 harmony seal. But everyone only focuses on learning attack, neglecting defense. Today's battle has opened my eyes. Duan Musheng snorted lightly. Just defending like this won't accomplish anything. Once again, the Overlord spear swung forcefully, then the speed became even faster. Single spear moves with powerful might also appeared. Lu Zhao nodded approvingly, holding his hands behind his back. If you know to use one point to break through, keep using it to the end. If the attack range is close, no matter how strong the defense is, it won't be worth it. Duan Musheng nodded secretly. Thank you for your teachings, master. On one side was the attacking power of the Overlord spear, on the other was the defensive ability of Hua Wudao's 6 harmony seal. They were evenly matched. Under the support of the 100 Tribulations Illumination Dharmic body, the spear shadows had become blurry and unclear. Heavenly Circle with a Flaw, the ultimate move, Heavenly Circle with a Flaw, erupted. Duan Musheng unleashed his ultimate move, the Heavenly Mandate Strike. Hua Wudao was shocked. I didn't expect a disciple of the Evil Sky Pavilion to be this strong. Too bad. It's still not enough. Hua Wudao stomped his foot hard on the ground. He didn't budge an inch. And the circle changed shape. The Taiji diagram expanded, surrounded by the 8 trigrams, and 6 harmony cycle. Feng's jaw dropped. Hua Wudao's utilization of the 8 trigrams and 6 harmony seal, regardless of the power of his move, his courageous spirit to give it a try is admirable, Pan Zhang exclaimed. But since he dared to come to the Evil Sky Pavilion, how could he not have experienced the power of the 6 harmony seal before? The Heavenly Mandate Strike is the strongest move of the Heavenly Unity technique, plus the 100 Tribulations Dark Nether, and a heaven-grade weapon, so everyone had great confidence in Duan Musheng's move. Countless spear shadows converged into one point, aimed to break through, and slammed into the 6 harmony seal. The 6 harmony seal, in the shape of the 8 trigrams, exuded a bizarre energy to protect itself. When the energies collided, a series of Dao ripples spread outwards from the Evil Sky Pavilion. The 6 harmony seal is truly powerful. Even San Tiansheng's ultimate move couldn't move this Hua Wudao. He really has some skills. Hua Wudao also followed the rule set for attacking the Evil Sky Pavilion. If it were a true life or death battle, Hua Wudao might not be as reckless as Duan Musheng. At this moment, Duan Musheng was still full of momentum, continuously attacking. Duan Musheng suddenly shouted, "It's not over yet!" The tip of the Overlord spear, after being bounced back by the 6 harmony seal, rose again, spinning in the air. A spear is like a sword. Its greatest power lies in piercing, not slashing. A terrifying scene appeared. The tip of the Overlord spear was enveloped in a majestic surge of energy, rotating as it advanced. Hua Wudao said in a deep voice, "Still not enough." The 6 seal characters grew larger, merging together, and the 8 trigrams also rose higher, fusing with the 6 large seal characters. Obviously, when the Overlord spear touched the 6 harmony seal, a buzzing sound rang out. Everyone frowned at the impact. Chaotic primordial chi mixed with the sound, creating a bizarre shockwave, a type of extremely mixed sonic attack. Everyone hurriedly mobilized their primordial chi to resist this bizarre sound wave. Only Lu Zhao remained calm, silent. He even leisurely observed the battle, seemingly unaffected by the sound wave. Boom! The shockwave emitting the bizarre sound wave only lasted for a few seconds before disappearing. Lu Zhao pondered. He had long anticipated that this move of his would be countered by repeated attacks on a single point. Duan Musheng also realized that a force was rebounding, so he somersaulted backward, taking 3 steps back before barely regaining his balance. He looked at Hua Wudao in disbelief, not expecting Hua Wudao to withstand this move, only retreating 1 or 2 steps. But Hua Wudao was even more shocked than Duan Musheng. This move of the Overlord spear was actually dispersed by the 6 harmony seal. He thought that no one could break this move of his. Before coming to the Evil Sky Pavilion, he had sought out many nascent Divinity Tribulation Realm experts to test it, but none had succeeded. He didn't expect to be pushed back by Duan Musheng. If it were a little stronger, that one move might have shattered the 6 harmony seal. Lu Zhao carefully observed the situation. Taking 3 steps back meant that Duan Musheng had fallen into a disadvantageous position according to the rules. Hua Wudao praised from the bottom of his heart, "You are very strong." Duan Musheng wasn't in the mood to listen to his opponent's praise, and swept the Overlord spear horizontally. 3 more moves. Duan Musheng was the type who became more bloodthirsty as he fought. Hua Wudao calmly replied, "I admit you are very strong, but the 3 moves are over." According to the agreement, the pavilion master should make a move next. Everyone looked towards Lu Zhao. This agreement was originally his intention. At this time, Duan Musheng was still resentful as he shook his head. "I didn't use my full strength just now. Just one more move, and I can break your 6 harmony seal." Hua Wudao indifferently looked at Duan Musheng. "If I hadn't been careless, I'm afraid you wouldn't have been able to retreat. I only used 5/10 of my power for this 6 harmony seal." Everyone was shocked by Hua Wudao's words, unclear whether Hua Wudao was boasting or deliberately mocking Duan Musheng. Regardless of the intention, these words were arrogant. Pan Zhang was surprised. The Southern City's 6 harmony seal can withstand my senior's ultimate move. With only 5/10 of its power, I've truly never seen such a strong defensive Dao seal. Hua Wudao's gaze was fixed on Lu Zhao from beginning to end. He was waiting for Lu Zhao to respond. Finally, Lu Zhao slowly walked down the steps. This 6 harmony seal is a Dao seal technique, Have you been cultivating it diligently for the past 20 years? As soon as Lu Zhao asked, Hua Wudao immediately replied, "That's right," Lu Zhao said indifferently. "If this seat makes a move, it is very likely that you will die." Hua Wudao was slightly startled. After he had proven the strength of the Six Harmonies seal, Lu Zhao could still say such words. Just how strong was Lu Zhao's true power? Life is precious. Not many people can truly disregard life and death. After a moment of contemplation, Hua Wudao clasped his hands and said, "Please guide me, Pavilion Master. If I unfortunately perish, Hua Wudao will bear the responsibility himself." "Very good." Lu Zhao continued to walk, arriving at a wide space outside the main hall. "Come out here. Things that break should go there." Hua Wudao and the others hurriedly followed. At this moment, Lu Zhao was already waiting, and a prop card appeared in the palm of his hand. Hua Wudao didn't sense any aura from Lu Zhao. After observing carefully again, he didn't see any mobilization of Yuan Qi, but Hua Wudao wasn't careless. He stepped out in a semicircle, lightly lifting one hand. The bagua-shaped pattern beneath his feet and the 6 characters, Qian, Kun, Sheng, Si, Shui, Huo, flickered with golden light, spinning in a circle much more powerfully and imposingly than before. But that still wasn't enough. Hua Wudao struck out with both palms into the air, and suddenly, 2 more characters appeared, Yu and Wu. All 8 talisman characters radiated golden light as they spun. The Yuan Qi Baodong imprint also rotated with these 8 characters. Unexpectedly, he'd really been hiding his strength. This 6 harmony seal had become an 8 harmony seal, plus the Bagua diagram. Hua Wudao wasn't bragging. He'd only used 5/10 of his power just now. He wondered if that old fogey of a master could break this move. Hua Wudao's eyes shone brightly as he stared at Lu Zhao, making a gesture of invitation. The 8 huge talisman characters circled in the air, sparkling brilliantly. Everyone's gaze turned to the pavilion master. Hua Wudao wasn't Zuo Shinchan. He was way stronger than Zuo Shinchan. Just this move alone, Hua Wudao's 6 harmony seal was 1,000 times stronger than Zuo Shinchan's binding seal. Today, could Lu Zhao break Hua Wudao's technique? Everyone was watching with bated breath. Lu Zhao raised his right hand, and the golden prop card shattered in his palm. This time, a huge vortex appeared above, followed immediately by a bolt of lightning. The lightning suddenly magnified, carrying Gang Qi and striking down from the sky. Thunderous Gang! How is this possible? Zhu Jifeng and Pan Zhong were speechless, staring blankly. Duan Musheng, Ming Shiyin, and Zhao Yaner were all astonished by this unfamiliar technique. They'd followed their master for many years, but had never seen him use this move, and it was actually Thunderous Gang, boom. Before everyone's eyes, the lightning, carrying Gang Qi, slammed heavily into the 6 harmony seal. Sparks flew everywhere, and dust and smoke filled the main hall. Hua Wudao was forced back by the violent impact. What 6 harmony seal? What Bagua diagram? The 8 talisman characters, none of them had a chance to take shape. They only heard a loud bang, and all of them were instantly shattered. All of it vanished without a trace, leaving nothing behind. Even more terrifying, Hua Wudao's great turtle shell defense seemed to have no effect when struck by the thunderous gang. Hua Wudao retreated madly, his eyes wide, red, and bloodshot, desperately stomping his feet to stay upright. At this point, everything was shrouded in dust. Lu Zhao shook his head slightly. The thunderous gang prop card only had a 10% chance of critically injuring the target, and Hua Wudao actually triggered it. He didn't know whether to say he was lucky or unlucky. Still, Hua Wudao avoiding the brunt of a fatal blow could be considered lucky. Being struck or critically injured was much better than being killed instantly. Hua Wudao lay flat on the ground. Lu Zhao put on a stern face and said, "Let's talk inside." Xiao Yanhe raged at the man. "Break my temple stuff. You either pay or I'll beat you to death." Hua Wudao barely managed to steady himself. The battle was over, and the result was obvious. The main hall was completely silent. You could hear a pin drop. Duan Musheng gripped the Overlord's spear tightly. He didn't feel avenged or relieved. Instead, his heart was filled with shock and frustration. Such a powerful 6 harmony seal was completely helpless before his master. With the same technique, Duan Musheng hadn't been able to budge Hua Wudao even a little bit. Ming Xinyin's thoughts were much simpler. So Master's been hiding his skills all along. Ever since he drove back the 10 great experts, he knew Master had a lot of trump cards. But no one knows how many trump cards he has in total. Xiao Yanhe's face showed intense admiration. Zhu Jifeng and Pan Zhong were like clueless bumpkins. They swallowed hard, their eyes full of disbelief, as they looked at the heavily injured Hua Wudao. They weren't surprised that Hua Wudao was defeated, but they couldn't believe Lu Zhao had used Thunderous Gang. Thunderous Gang, as the name implies, is when Qi is condensed into Gang. When the Gang Qi is strong to a certain degree, it will have a powerful force like thunder and lightning. It's an extremely rare and terrifying technique. Thunderous Gang disappeared from the cultivation world long ago. Nowadays, it only exists in history books. No one has truly learned this technique, let alone seen what it looks like when used. It was actually Thunderous Gang. Hua Wudao couldn't hold on any longer, and knelt on one knee, his hand supporting himself on the ground, his face full of unwillingness. Master, Hua Wudao's disciple, rushed over, wanting to help him up, but Hua Wudao waved his hand, signaling him not to come over. Defeat at the hands of Thunderous Gang was something he'd never expected. If he'd known Jitiandao had such heaven-defying techniques, he wouldn't have sought out the evil Sky Pavilion to humiliate himself. How ironic. The weak losing isn't scary. What's scary is losing all dignity. After the defeat, you play, you pay. Lu Zhao helplessly shook his head. If you guys think it's Thunderous Descent, then so be it. Maybe because no one has ever seen the real Thunderous Descent, they believe even more that the move I just used was it. Cough. Cough. Hua Wudao coughed repeatedly, struggling to stand up straight. He shook his head and said, I thought that after spending 20 years painstakingly researching this move, I could definitely withstand 3 strikes from you. Sadly, I was wrong. Completely wrong. Suddenly, he burst out laughing. Ha ha. It was a self-deprecating laugh. He was utterly defeated with just 1 move, yet he was talking about 3. Cough. Cough. Hua Wudao spat out another mouthful of fresh blood. Master, I'm fine. How could he be fine? From his expression, it was clear that the injuries on his body and the wounds in his heart were getting worse. Hua Wudao cupped his hands and said, I will bear the consequences of my actions. As long as it doesn't involve Yun sect, I will agree to anything. Lu Zhao nodded, turned, and walked up the steps, then slowly sat down. You're a straightforward person, Lu Zhao continued. I have a question. You just need to answer it honestly. Without any beating around the bush, Lu Zhao asked directly, who was the mastermind behind the Yulong village case? Hearing this question, Hua Wudao was extremely shocked. His eyes widened, and he stammered, unable to speak. This, Lu Zhao continued to press. What? Don't want to say. A look of embarrassment appeared on Hua Wudao's face. It's not that I don't want to say, but once I do, it will have huge consequences. Xiao Yanhair pointed at his face and scolded, You old geezer, what do you want? If you've lost, then obediently pay up. Ming Xinyan also cursed incessantly. Hua Wudao, you're an elder of Yun sect, at least your words should be as good as gold. How can a double-crosser like you be considered a righteous sect? I spit on you. Zhu Jifeng was more gentle, cupping his hands. Senior Hua, I have a suggestion. According to you, the answer to this question is very important, so why don't you just tell the Pavilion Master alone, right? Don't tell us that if the Pavilion Master knows, the world will be in chaos. Didn't you already know that? We don't see any chaos happen. Hua Wudao was in a dilemma. This, Duanmu Sheng's Overlord spear swept across his body, unleashing a chilling aura. Damn it, stop dragging your feet. If you don't want to talk, then leave your lives here. Duanmu Sheng was still extremely angry from his earlier defeat. Everyone in the hall was criticizing Hua Wudao, but he, Hua Wudao, took a step back. Sincerely, I once promised that person that I wouldn't talk about this with anyone. If possible, please, Pavilion Master, change your request. Everyone exchanged glances. Ming Xinyan sneered. I spit on you. You didn't even keep your promise to my master, and now you have the gall to use keeping a promise to someone else as an excuse. Ming Xinyan's cursing was heroic. Hua Wudao didn't keep his promise to the #1 devil in the world. He really had no right to use keeping his promise to others as a reason. Hua Wudao's face was extremely ugly. Lu Zhao stroked his beard. It's fine. Everyone was startled, looking at Lu Zhao in surprise. I'll give you 2 choices. 1. Reveal the mastermind behind the Yulong village case. 2. Join Golden Court Mountain as an elder of the Evil Sky Pavilion. Apart from you, no one else can defend against Duanmu Sheng and Ming Xiyin's attacks. This guy's mastery of the 6 Harmony Seal is extremely high. Although this move is a great way to turtle up, if used properly, it can be both offensive and defensive. From beginning to end, Hua Wudao hadn't even used his 100 Tribulation Illumination Dharma body. He wanted to preserve his strength to deal with Lu Zhao's 2nd and 3rd moves, but he was defeated in the 1st move and even heavily injured. And most importantly, this person's heart doesn't distinguish between good and evil. He only acts according to his own nature. Hearing these 2 choices, Hua Wudao's eyes widened, and his whole body trembled. He came from Yun sect. If he joined the demonic path now, his own reputation would be ruined, which was a minor matter. More importantly, Yun sect would be ridiculed by cultivators all over the world, but he couldn't reveal that secret either. This difficult situation caused him unbearable pain, Lu Zhao said coldly. This is the biggest concession I'm willing to make. Hua Wudao frowned, and his face became even more unsightly. Ming Xinyan said, You've already left Yun sect. What are you still hesitating about? Hua Wudao stammered, unable to speak. This was even more painful than taking his life. Lu Zhao wasn't in a hurry either, silently waiting for his choice. No matter what his choice was, it would be beneficial to the Evil Sky Pavilion. Although Duanmu Sheng and Ming Xiyin didn't like Hua Wudao's great turtling technique, if their master had spoken, they wouldn't dare to say anything more. Besides, the Evil Sky Pavilion was declining, and adding a new member might restore its former glory. Ming Xiyin turned his head, secretly looking at his master. He didn't look like he was facing a major disaster at all. On the contrary, he looked even more energetic and healthy than before. Hua Wudao still couldn't make a decision. Lu Zhao said in a deep voice, There are only 2 choices. You have to pick one. You're the only one in the world who can receive such treatment from the Evil Sky Pavilion. My patience is limited. I'll count to 3, and I must hear your answer. And if there's still no answer? Hua Wudao's heart thumped. Without waiting for Lu Zhao to speak, Ming Xiyin spoke first. Then you'll be like Fan Xuwen, imprisoned in the Evil Sky Pavilion, until you figure it out. Of course, you've seen through life and death, so you probably don't care about these things. Moreover, our Evil Sky Pavilion doesn't have much. But we have plenty of places to live. East Pavilion, South Pavilion, West Pavilion, North Pavilion, even the mountainside has many abandoned caves, including the freezing cold Abyss Cave in the back mountain. Don't even think about escaping. Even if the top 10 experts appeared at the same time, they couldn't break through the barrier of Golden Court Mountain, Ming Xinyan said with a smile. Even Zhu Jifeng and Pan Zhang felt nervous hearing his words. According to the 4 gentlemen, this was psychological warfare, even scarier than threatening to beat someone up. Hua Wudao is a big shot, not some coward afraid of death. Otherwise, he wouldn't be here. But guys like him care a lot about face. I'll tell everyone under the heavens that Hua Wudao from Yun's sect is a promise breaker, running to the evil sky pavilion, losing badly, and welching on his debt. Hua Wudao was utterly speechless. Plenty of people know he came to the evil sky pavilion. Otherwise, why would he give up his elder position at Yun's sect? Let's start where we began and finish here. Nothing to regret, little Yanner giggled, saying, I'm gonna start counting. Afraid Hua Wudao didn't hear, she repeated. I'm starting to count. 1, 98, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Done. Quick. Make your decision. Who counts like that? Hua Wudao didn't even have time to think, she was already done counting. Lu Zhao and everyone in the Evil Sky Pavilion's hall all stared at Hua Wudao. After a moment of silence, Hua Wudao shook his head and sighed wearily. Fine. Master. His disciple quickly knelt down. Seeing this disciple, Hua Wudao didn't scold him like he used to, but said gently, Go back to Yun sect. Huh? From now on, you are no longer my disciple. There are many elders at Yun sect who will be willing to teach you. After you return, tell them Hua Wudao is dead. The man knelt down, howling. Master. Hua Wudao immediately cursed. Get lost? The middle-aged man wanted to say more, but Hua Wudao shouted at him, I told you to get lost. The loud shout carried a sonic wave, pushing the middle-aged man back. Left with no choice, the middle-aged man stood up and respectfully bowed to Hua Wudao. Ming Xinyin chuckled. Let me escort you down the mountain. Actually, if you're willing to stay, I think my master would agree. Golden Court Mountain is big. One more person won't hurt. The middle-aged man trembled all over. I have to go down the mountain. I'll go down right now. Triskies. Trisk. Ming Xinyin clicked his tongue, looking at the middle-aged man, gesturing with his hand in an inviting manner. Hua Wudao cupped his fist and said, This disciple of mine is still ignorant. I hope Pavilion Master doesn't blame him and spares his life. Lu Zhao stroked his beard and sat down. Those who walk different paths cannot make plans together. Please sit. For him to say please sit was almost unheard of at the Evil Sky Pavilion. This also showed that Lu Zhao valued Hua Wudao. Hua Wudao sat down. Lu Zhao looked at Hua Wudao with some curiosity, then sighed. You'd rather join the Evil Sky Pavilion than reveal the true mastermind behind the Yulong village case? Please forgive me, Pavilion Master, Lu Zhao said coldly. Aren't you afraid that this old man will use harsh methods to interrogate you later? After all, this is the Evil Sky Pavilion, full of devils. It wouldn't be strange if they did something weird. Hua Wudao shook his head and sighed. If that really happens, then I can only beg for death. You're not like Fan Xuan. Fan Xuan was controlled by someone else, so he wasn't afraid of death. You're much luckier than him, Lu Zhu said. Hua Wudao remained silent, but he had already made a firm decision in his heart. Ding! Acquired a nascent soul realm subordinate, Hua Wudao. Loyalty, 5-minute cycle. Fang and Panzhong were also very discerning, and immediately clasped their hands and said to Hua Wudao, Greetings, Elder Hua. Hua Wudao's face turned red, unsure of how to respond. He still felt awkward inside. Just then, Ming Shiyin returned to the hall. Seeing Hua Wudao's furrowed face, Ming Shiyin said, Aren't you afraid of being laughed at by me, Shiyin? This is easy to fix. From now on, you'll change your name and consider the old Hua Wudao dead in the Evil Sky Pavilion. With our bad reputation, killing one more person doesn't matter much. Everyone nodded. Ming Xinyin said, Makes sense. How about you change your name to Hua Wu Hei Wu Hua? Ming Xin teased. From the very beginning, the name Hua Wudao was already taboo to Ji Tiandao's name. It's just a name. What you're called doesn't matter. Hua Wudao's mind was in chaos. Right now, he just wanted to find a corner to be alone. He didn't have the mood to talk about these things. Just then, Xiao Yanhe walked to Lu Zhao's side and said, Master, there's a flying letter from Jiang Aijian. Instantly, Lu Zhao had a hunch that this flying letter was very important and shouldn't be read aloud. Xiao Yanhe respectfully presented the letter with both hands. Lu Zhao casually opened it. Inside, it read, The mastermind behind the Yulong village case is the current second prince. The one who carried out the massacre at the Duqian River was General Cheng Ning, Wei Zhuoyan. The person assisting was Fan Xuan, the leader of the Black Knights. Old Senior, I suffered a great loss in collecting these clues. If I don't get a good sword as compensation, I'll feel extremely pained. Upon receiving this news, everything became clear. Lu Zhao remained calm. In fact, since both Fan Xuan and Hua Wudao were unwilling to tell the truth, Lu Zhao had already guessed more or less. Jiang Aijian's flying letter only served to confirm his guess. Lu Zhao waved his hand, and the letter immediately turned into fine powder, scattering to the ground. Xiao Yanhe asked curiously, Master, what did it say? The mastermind behind the massacre at the Duqian River, Lu Zhao, said calmly. Hearing this, Hua Wudao staggered from his chair, his face pale, his eyes dull. Lu Zhao said coldly, Help Elder Hua back to rest. Yes. Xiao Yan'er was very puzzled. Isn't it just a mastermind? Do you need to be so tense? So exaggerated? Lu Zhao nodded. If that person was a normal person, or a great cultivator, then this matter would be much simpler. Just follow the usual rules of the cultivation world. But unexpectedly, this matter even involves a prince. The struggle between princes should involve ordinary people, Lu Zhao said. I can't underestimate the imperial family's power. After all, the stability of Great Yan depends on the imperial family. Whether it's the generals guarding the four directions, or the great cultivators working for the imperial family openly or secretly, all are the basic standards for Great Yan to be stable. No wonder Hua Wudao didn't want to say the name. The flying letter said that Jian Ai said, This seat is ready, K is good, tell him to come and get it himself. Speaking of good swords, Zhao Yanker felt aggrieved again, pouting and saying, just delivering some worthless news and he gets such a good weapon from master, but I don't have one yet. Lu Zhao deliberately raised his tone. He had told her about this matter more than once. Zhao Yanker lowered her head and said, disciple knows her mistake, Lu Zhao said. That entering weapon originally belonged to the royal family. It's useless for me to keep it, Zhao Yanker nodded. Lu Zhao slowly stood up and walked into the secret chamber, respectfully seeing off master. After Lu Zhao's figure completely disappeared, Ming Xinyin said, little junior sister, why are you in such a hurry? Master has always loved you the most. Even I have a weapon, so how could you not get one? Your departure hook is so good, the weapon for you will definitely be better than my overlord's spear. Lao Sina said, that makes sense. Besides, with your talent, you'll soon advance to the nascent soul realm. At that time, Maester will definitely give you a weapon even better than my overlord's spear. HMPH. I don't want to bother with you guys anymore. Zhao Yanjie huffed angrily, turned around and left. Ming Xiyin and Duan Musheng stared blankly at each other. Pan Zhang clasped his hands and said, Ninth Mister, this is because they saw the departure hook and the overlord's spear. That's why they are even more angry. Ah, no. Third Mister, Fourth Mister, I suddenly remember that my 6 Yang skill hasn't even entered the gate yet. I'll go back and practice now, goodbye. Sensing the strange gazes of Ming Xiyin and Duan Musheng, Pan Zhang casually found an excuse and hurriedly ran out of the main hall. Zhu Jifeng escorted Hua Wudao back to his resting place, thus escaping a calamity. Duan Musheng said to Ming Xiyin, Lao Si, let's go practice. Lu Zhao had just stepped into the secret chamber when he looked towards the mysterious chest. Then he shook his head. Even the unnamed sword couldn't do anything to this thing, proving that heavenly grade weapons are ineffective against it. It must be opened with a special key. Lao Xiao is smart. Perhaps he should handle this chest. Lu Zhao nodded calmly. This was a chest bought from the system's store, so he wasn't afraid of others coveting it. Thinking of this, Lu Zhao stopped paying attention to the chest and opened the system interface to check his remaining merit points. 4,762 points. The 5 chi. Towards the origin Dharmakaya that I luckily got from the draw. The selling price of the 6 harmony separation is 12,000 points. Can't afford it. With the usual method of accumulating merit points, he probably wouldn't be able to afford it. Several other methods appeared in Lu Zhao's mind. He nodded with satisfaction, then opened the Heavenly Book interface to view it, entering a state of comprehension of the Heavenly Book. 3 hours later, Xiao Yanhe's voice came from outside the secret chamber. Master, Jiang Aijian replied. Lu Zhao woke up from his state of comprehension. Those incomprehensible words had been completely engraved in his mind. As long as he used his thoughts, they would appear in his mind. He didn't need to understand them, he just felt that it was right. Lu Zhao asked. Xiao Yanyer, what is it? Xiao Yanyer replied. He said he can't come to the Devil Sky Pavilion, it's too dangerous. It's best to find someone to deliver the sword to him. Xiao Yanher continued. What an ungrateful guy, should I go to Runin City and catch him here? Lu Zhao nodded indifferently. He had already thought of this. No need. Lu Zhao stepped out of the secret chamber, hands behind his back. He is very afraid of death. Of course he will not come in person, master. He is overestimating himself. Jiang Aijian is no ordinary person. Hearing this, Xiao Yanher immediately showed curiosity. Not an ordinary person. Lu Zhao replied indifferently. Able to obtain case files from the palace. How can he be an ordinary person? Xiao Yancher continued to ask. Then who is he? Your caution is not ordinary. Lu Zhao smiled lightly and then flicked his sleeves. Leaving the main hall, Devil Sky Pavilion, the place he was going to was the North Pavilion, the area where prisoners were held. Seeing master leave, Zhao Yanyer hurriedly followed. Not long after, Lu Zhao appeared at the place where Fan Xuan was held, with 2 female cultivators guarding outside. Although their cultivation base wasn't much, at least they looked very serious. Pavilion master. The 2 female cultivators bowed and opened the door. Yes, Zhao Yanher also tiptoed in behind master. As soon as the door opened, Lu Zhao stepped into the dim room. The room was full of miscellaneous items, very messy. This was where the Devil Sky Pavilion stored miscellaneous items, which was requisitioned as a prison cell for prisoners. Fan Xuan was tied up in the middle of the room, his hair disheveled, completely without the demeanor of the former head of the Black Knights. When the door opened, the bright light shone on his face. Lu Ju stood in the backlight. Fan Xuan could only see Lu Ju's silhouette. He said with difficulty, Ha! If the Devil Sky Pavilion only has this much ability, I'm afraid it's not enough for me to reveal the truth. Lu Zhao replied with his hands behind his back. This seat already knows the truth. Fan Xuan was shocked. The expression of dejection completely disappeared. He widened his eyes and said, Impossible, General Zhen Ning. Lu Zhao spoke these 5 words, without mentioning the second prince. Hearing his words, Fan Xuan's whole body shook. These 5 words were enough to prove that the powerful old man in front of him knew the whole truth. Fan Xuan was silent for a moment, then gradually calmed down. He said, I submit. Lu Zhuao shook his head slightly. Wei Zhuoyan isn't enough for you to be loyal. The second prince couldn't make you so steadfast either, so the person who can control the Black Knight's leader must be someone else entirely. You. Fan Xuan, who had calmed down, became agitated and trembled upon hearing Lu Zhu's words, his face turning red to his ears. How? How did you know? His tone was extremely weak. Even as the leader of the Black Knights, he couldn't help but bow his head. Does this old man need to report how I know things to a prisoner? Lu Zhukao, with his hands behind his back, walked up to Fan Xuan. This old man wants to know who you take orders from, don't know. Lu Zhao said. Do you think this old man won't know if you don't tell me? Lu Zhao stroked his beard calmly and continued. Whoever can make you listen so obediently must be extremely close to the second prince, Lu Zhao slowly said. It's a woman, isn't it? Fan Xuan's eyes widened. Lu Zhu added. A woman skilled in witchcraft. Enough. Fan Xuan's psychological defenses completely crumbled. His face became extremely ferocious. What was initially a hint of backbone instantly turned into complete weakness. He pleaded, I beg you, spare her. Lu Zhao looked at Fan Xuan with a complicated expression. Who would have thought that the former top dog on the blacklist would now be the royal family's lapdog, unafraid of death or torture, all just to protect a woman? Lu Zhu shook his head. Fan Xuan started to speak. She is. Fan Xuan shook his head violently, his face still ferocious. I can't say, I don't want to say, I won't say, even if I die. Lu Zhao felt extremely strange. In fact, Lu Zhao had almost spelled out her identity. Whether Fan Xuan revealed it or not wouldn't make much of a difference, so why was Fan Xuan so desperately trying to hide it now? Just as Lu Zhujiao was feeling puzzled, he suddenly saw a red light flash in Fan Xuan's eyes. It disappeared, as quickly as it appeared, and then he returned to his previous state. At this moment, a voice from a female cultivator of the moon-plucking sect suddenly came from outside, reporting, Sect Master, 5th senior sister, is in trouble. Lu Zhao's eyes were fixed on Fan Xuan the entire time. Hearing the voice outside, Lu Zhao calmly uttered 2 words. Too bad. Then, he turned and left. As soon as Lu Zhao exited the North Pavilion, he saw Xiao Yanhe standing outside anxiously. Master, hurry, hurry! 5th senior sister has gone crazy! The door closed again, and the room went pitch black. In the darkness, one couldn't see their fingers. The red light flashed in Fan Xuan's eyes again. Outside, Lu Zhu shook his head, his face calm. Don't panic. The two of them, one in front and one behind, headed towards the Emerald Abyss cave on the back mountain. When they arrived at the cave entrance, Lu Zhao saw that many female cultivators from the moon-plucking sect had gathered outside, and even Elder Hua Wudao was standing nearby observing. Ming Shiyin and Duan Musheng stood guard like fierce gods. Hua Wudao sighed. I never thought there would still be such evil techniques in this world. It's witchcraft indeed. Leave it to the skillful hands of the moon-plucking sect's female cultivators. Ming Shiyin asked. Elder Hua, do you have a way to save her? Hua Wudao shook his head and said, Could you save her? I'm afraid only the sect master can. As soon as he finished speaking, the female cultivators of the moon-plucking sect simultaneously bowed and paid their respects. Sect master, Hua Wudao quickly turned around and cupped his fists. Sect master, there's no need for formalities. Lu Zhao waved his sleeves and entered the Emerald Abyss cave, with his hands behind his back. Zhao Yue was running around inside the cave like a madwoman. Ming Shiyin and Duan Musheng released soft astral energy to press against the cave walls to prevent her from harming herself. But before they arrived, Zhao Yu had already smashed her head against the cave walls until her face was bruised and her hair was disheveled. The red lotus flower between Zhao Yu's eyebrows became even more enchanting. Ming Shiyin then said, Master, 5th junior sister is being controlled by witchcraft. Please, Master, take action quickly. Duan Musheng added, Junior sister Zhao Yue's crime does not deserve death. Please, Master, show mercy. Lu Zhao glanced around and said, This situation today is a result of her own actions. If Zhao Yu had obediently stayed on Golden Court Mountain, how could she have encountered such a thing today? Zhao Yue's mind was no longer clear. Her expression was ferocious, and she roared madly at anyone she saw. I want to kill you, I want to kill you. Ming Xinyin bowed and said, 5th junior sister's mind is no longer clear. She's spouting nonsense. Who knows what kind of bizarre witchcraft has made her like this? This disciple asked Pan Zong. Pan Zong said that only the caster of the witchcraft can dispel it. Otherwise. But I refuse to believe it. Please, Master, take action. At this moment, Zhao Yu lunged at Lu Zhao. Kill! Kill! Although Zhao Yu's cultivation was sealed, how could Ming Shiyin and Duan Musheng allow Zhao Yu to do this? The two immediately activated their vital essence to stop Zhao Yue. 2 vines appeared and tightly bound her. Lu Zhao then asked, Where is Pan Zhong? A female cultivator standing outside the cave replied, He went to the West Pavilion to find books related to witchcraft. Hua Wudao said, What Pan Zhong said is basically correct. This witchcraft is extremely evil. It can bewitch people's hearts and even control her as a puppet. Fortunately, Zhao Yue's will is strong, and her cultivation foundation is not bad, so she has managed to hold on until now. The red lotus flower between Zhao Yu's eyebrows was even more radiant, very obvious, and her eyes were bright, but lifeless. Lu Zhao frowned. He looked into Zhao Yu's lifeless eyes and saw that she had completely lost control, so he raised his hand and said boldly, and then unleashed a palm strike towards Zhao Yue's head. Lu Zhu's current cultivation was only the 8 meridian sea of vastness realm, but when the vital energy vibrated, no one doubted him, because everyone was worried about Zhao Yu. Lu Zhao guided his vital energy into Zhao Yu's meridians. Her 8 extraordinary meridians were completely controlled by the power of witchcraft. Unlike Ming Shiyin, Zhao Yu's entire body was filled with the power of witchcraft. Lu Zhao noticed that the power immediately attacked his vital energy. The 8 meridian sea of vastness realm cultivation seemed incredibly weak at this moment. The vital energy that had just been mobilized was completely devoured by the power of witchcraft. Zhao Yue suddenly opened her eyes, a strange smile spreading across her face. Finally found you, old man. Hua Wudao was drenched in sweat. Those witchcraft techniques even followed the meridians and entered the pavilion master's palm, desperately eroding. Lu Zhao, his voice deep, unleashed a palm strike. The extraordinary power of the heavenly script rumbling, Zhao Yu was sent flying backward by the palm strike. Ming Shi Yin was startled to see that Zhao Yu might be in danger. Immediately afterward, Ming Shi Yin rushed to support Zhao Yu. Ming Shi Yin's gang energy blocked behind her so that she would not hit the rock wall. Lu Zhao continued to unleash a palm strike, not knowing whether it was because of his idea or because he himself felt danger. The state when comprehending the heavenly script suddenly appeared. His mind was clear, his heart was calm, and the extraordinary power of the heavenly script quickly concentrated on his palm, as if following his command. His palm suddenly became as cold as holding a block of ice. Zhao Yu spat out a mouthful of fresh blood. At the same time, the bright red lotus on her forehead gradually dissipated. She laboriously raised her head, a strange smile appearing at the corner of her lips, and said to Lu Zhao, "Old man, you're really ruthless." The inside of the cave became extremely quiet. Ming Shi Yin and Duan Musheng didn't know whether to help Zhao Yue up or not. After all, her saying those two sentences just now was no different from insulting their master. Thump. Zhao Yue completely fainted, falling face first to the ground. Ming Shi Yin had no choice but to support her. Even so, both Ming Shi Yin and Duan Musheng were very worried about their master, that the old man would be angry because of this. But, Lu Zhao said indifferently, "Take her to the south pavilion to recuperate." Yes. Ming Shi Yin hurriedly stepped forward to help Zhao Yue up. The lotus on Zhao Yue's forehead had completely disappeared, and at the same time, the vital energy on her body was automatically circulating. Ming Shi Yin was overjoyed and immediately said, "Master, the witchcraft on junior sister Zhao Yue has been dispelled." Outside, the cave became noisy and chaotic. The group of female cultivators revealed unbelievable expressions, Hua Wudao said in surprise. "The pavilion master can even dispel such evil witchcraft. It truly broadens my horizons." From afar, Pan Zong ran over, carrying a pile of books. He was panting as he searched. Found it. All the classics related to witchcraft are here." Pan Zong looked blank. "Oh, it's already over." Everyone rolled their eyes. "If we waited for you to arrive, the sun would have already set." Zhao Yu was taken back to the south pavilion by two female cultivators. Ming Shi Yin and Duan Musheng stepped to Lu Zhu's side. "Master, was junior sister Zhao Yue controlled by someone just now?" Ming Shi Yin was still afraid. Lu Zhao replied, "Controlling people's minds through witchcraft." Hua Wudao slowly walked over, clasping his hands to Lu Zhao. Lu Zhao asked indifferently, "Elder Hua, do you have any suggestions?" "The witchcraft on Zhao Yu has been dispelled, so this person probably won't make any moves in the short term. When the pavilion master dispelled the witchcraft, the caster wanted to regain control, but was backlashed." Lu Zhao stroked his beard. "Elder Hua, you understand this person well," Hua Wudao sighed. "I've only heard of them." Lu Zhao stared directly at Hua Wudao. "This old man wants to know, you'd rather stay here than reveal the second prince. Is it truly only for the stability of the great Yan Empire, or for some other reason?" This, Hua Wudao's expression changed slightly. Then he shook his head and said, "These things, I'm afraid only the sect leader and the second prince know." Lu Zhao looked at him. "So, the Yun sect is indeed secretly colluding with the royal family." Hua Wudao's face turned red. Zhao Yanger, Duan Musheng, and Ming Shi Yin all kept an eye on the strange expression of the bald old Hua Wudao. Lu Zhao said to Xiao Yanyer, "Send a letter to Jiang Aijian. This old man will give him a good sword so that he must come to receive it," Xiao Yanyer said. "Disciple will send a letter to Jiang Aijian." Speaking of Jiang Aijian, Hua Wudao pondered. He had some impression of this person, Jiang Aijian, a swordsman but just a low-level cultivator. Why is he being valued so much by the Demon Heaven Pavilion? Shortly after Zhao Yue was brought back to the South Pavilion, she woke up. A female cultivator exclaimed in surprise, "Fifth seat, you're awake." Familiar surroundings and memories flooded her mind. What happened to me? Wasn't I in the Jade Repentance Cave? Zhao Yu struggled to sit up. She muttered, "Could it be? What exactly happened?" The female cultivators of the moon-watching sect recounted the whole story to her. Hearing this, Zhao Yu couldn't believe it and asked again, "You're saying that my master herself lifted the witchcraft seal for me?" The female cultivator quickly replied, "Yes, the pavilion master shattered the witchcraft with just one palm strike." Another female cultivator from the moon-watching sect, while preparing hot water for her, added, "That witchcraft was extremely terrifying. It's fortunate that third senior brother and fourth senior brother arrived in time." Zhao Yue sighed softly. She tried to mobilize her vital energy in her dantian, but even a slight movement caused her immense pain. Fifth seat. The witchcraft seal has just been lifted. It's best if you rest for a while. There's no need to rush your cultivation and vital energy recovery. You'll recover eventually. I'll help you bathe and change clothes. Zhao Yue nodded in agreement. Half a day later, within the Demon Heaven Pavilion, Lu Zhu heard two system notifications. Triggered. Lifting the witchcraft seal for Zhao Yu. Reward. 1,000 merit points. Triggered. Completed quest to investigate the truth of Fish Dragon Village. Reward. 3,000 merit points. Lu Zhao propped his chin with one hand, pondering, "I need to find other ways to accumulate merit points in the future." Just as Lu Zhuhao was thinking, a female cultivator from the moon-watching sect slowly entered the main hall. Pavilion master, Jiang Aijian, is seeking an audience at the foot of the mountain. Let him come up, yes. Zhao Yan'er, Ming Shiyin, and Duan Wusheng rushed over upon hearing the news. A moment later, Jiang Aijian was led by a female cultivator of the moon-watching sect to the outside of the Demon Heaven Pavilion's main hall. Along the way, Jiang Aijian curiously looked around, glancing left and then right. Jiang Aijian kept asking, hey, when did you guys join the Demon Heaven Pavilion? Is this place scary? He even had a blade of grass in his mouth. I heard this is a den of devils. Aren't you guys scared at all? Who knew the Demon Heaven Pavilion would have so many women? Trisk, Tusk. This tree root isn't bad. This bluestone table is pretty too. It wasn't until he reached the entrance of the hall that Jiang Aijian regained his composure and slowly walked inside. Ming Shiyin asked, this guy is Jiang Aijian. Without a word, Xiao Yan'er kicked Jiang Aijian hard. That's him. His skin is so thick, thicker than his butt. Jiang Aijian was equally quick-witted. I dodged. Whoosh! Almost got hit. Duan Wusheng remained silent, pondering. Master values him so much, he must have something special about him. Jiang Aijian walked up to everyone, feeling a little uneasy, and waved his hand, saying, Old senior, you've gathered such a large group, it makes me a little uncomfortable. Hurry, 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 give me that good sword, so I can hurry down the mountain. Lu Zhao stroked his beard calmly. Jiang Aijian. At this moment, Jiang Aijian's face brightened like a flower. Old senior, what are your instructions? Lu Zhao slowly replied. Sit down, let's talk slowly. Jiang Aijian grew increasingly uneasy. No need, we've known each other for a long time. Just give me the sword, I'll leave right away. Lu Zhao casually waved his hand, and a female cultivator from the moonwatching sect presented a longsword to Jiang Aijian. Jiang Aijian took the longsword in his hand, then held it up high to examine it carefully. Just as he raised it, before he could examine it for long, tang, the longsword snapped in two. Jiang Aijian looked in shock at the broken sword in his hand. Then he howled. No way, old senior. This is the awesome sword you dragged me all the way here for. Ming Shiyin chimed in. This sword is the best we have in the Evil Sky Pavilion, made from top quality, 1,000-year-old wood. The carvings, master craftsman stuff. Jiang Aijian just froze for 3 seconds. Then Duan Wusheng, all macho, added, every disciple in the Evil Sky Pavilion used this to learn and practice swordsmanship. Sword Devil Yu Shangrong used it to kill 1,000 enemies. Jiang Aijian was speechless. This was clearly a wooden mallet sword, and they were talking like it was the real deal. Who could he even complain to? Jiang Aijian's eyes pleaded with, Lu Jiao, old senior, my heart is freezing right now, so cold. Lu Jiao stroked his beard and said, this sword is indeed a good sword. You don't want it. Jiang Aijian said, feeling wronged. Old senior, you said you hated people who go back on their word the most. This wooden sword, even if you praise it to the heavens, it's still not a treasure. I love swords, but I'm not stupid. I just can't accept this one. Lu Jiao, with his eyes closed, asked back. Jiang Aijian, really? You don't want it? He quickly replied, don't want it. Then, Lu Jiao said coldly, then you'll have to pay for it. Jiang Aijian's face froze. He didn't know how to respond. Lu Jiao stood up abruptly, casually saying, this sword is an extremely precious treasure to our Evil Sky Pavilion, yet you destroyed it. If you don't compensate us. Lu Jiao didn't finish his sentence. Ming Xinyin's separation hook and Duan Wusheng's overlord spear emitted a flickering light, while Xiao Yan'er held a huge spiked mace, all three putting on their most menacing faces, ready to end Jiang Aijian. Jiang Aijian swallowed hard, took a step back, and waved his hands. Don't, I'll compensate, I'll pay, how much? Ming Xinyin chuckled. How can you compare it to money? So tell me, what should we do? Or should I find a woodcarver to replicate another one for you to compensate? Ming Xinyin added. That wouldn't do. It must be the original wooden sword. Jiang Aijian casually tossed away the remaining half of the wooden sword and brushed his hands off. I get it. Old senior's playing games with me. Just get to the point. Lu Jiao slowly rose, clasped his hands behind his back, and walked down the steps. He stopped in front of Jiang Aijian. I prefer talking to smart people, Jiang Aijian thought to himself. If I were smart, I wouldn't have been played by you so many times. Using me to get rid of obstacles in the palace? Jiang Aijian, you're the first person who dares to flaunt your power in front of me? Hearing Lu Jiao say this, Jiang Aijian's expression changed. He immediately retreated 3 or 4 steps, his eyes widening, sweat beading on his face. Jiang Aijian's expression changed. He immediately retreated 3 or 4 steps, and then turned to run away. Outside the main hall, an old man with white hair and beard suddenly appeared. Walking in, Jiang Aijian, desperately trying to escape, bumped into Hua Wudao. He fell backward, crying out, Ah, it hurts! At this moment, the moon-gazing sect's female cultivators stood in a line, blocking the entrance to the Evil Sky Pavilion's main hall. Beneath the old man Hua Wudao's feet was a rotating Bagua diagram, and 6 glowing, golden seal characters flickered around him. Jiang Aijian looked up, startled and panicked. Yun sect's Hua Wudao? Jiang Aijian then changed the subject by pretending to cry, waving his hands repeatedly. Old senior, you misunderstand. It's all a misunderstanding. Seeing this, Xiao Yan'er immediately pointed her spiked mace forward, her big eyes wide with excitement. Quick, close the door. Let's see where he runs now. Senior brothers, catch him and beat him up. Jiang Aijian panicked. Oh heavens, my grandma, I have no grudges with you people. Don't do this. No need for swords and blades, Lu Zhao said calmly. Everyone, step back, yes. The moon-gazing sect's female cultivators returned to their original positions, and Ming Shiyin and Duan Wusheng also withdrew their weapons. The celestial halo around Hua Wudao disappeared in an instant, and he cupped his hands at Lu Zhao, saying, This is Jiang Aijian, known as a sword fanatic to the bone. Famous in the cultivation world, one of the 3 great sword maniacs. Jiang Aijian felt embarrassed and wanted to hide. then raised an eyebrow. Lu Jiao said, "All empty names. Empty names." Lu Jiao shook his head. "The name Jiang Aijian is just to hide from other people's attention. Who would have thought that such a carefree and unconstrained person in the cultivation world is actually the third prince of the Great Yan Empire?" The main hall of the Evil Sky Pavilion fell completely silent. Lu Zhao's words shocked everyone. Ming Xiyin thought to himself, that kind of cowardly, smooth-talking, and eccentric person, how could he be the third prince of Great Yan? Next, Duan Musheng thought, looking at him from top to bottom, where does he look like someone from the royal family? Xiao Yaner's eyes were wide, her expression very cute, but she was still as reckless as ever, thinking, is Master's eyesight failing? The disciples didn't believe it, but no one dared to say it out loud. The female cultivators then asked, Jiang Aijian, why are you blushing? Jiang Aijian was stunned at first, then said, old senior is joking. How could I, looking like this, be the third prince? Lu Xiao didn't expect him to admit it directly, only saying casually, my rebellious disciple Ye Tiangxin spent 5 years investigating the case files in the palace. The mastermind behind that case is me, but you're just a loose cultivator. How could you have found out? Jiang Aijian replied, I did say that I have friends in the palace. What kind of friends can mobilize forces to investigate such confidential matters? This time, it wasn't Lu Jiao who spoke, but Hua Wudao, who had entered the main hall. Jiang Aijian was speechless, and simply lowered his head in silence. Hua Wudao cupped his hands in salute. Hua Wudao pays respects to your highness. Facing Hua Wudao's salute, Jiang Aijian didn't know what wire he touched, but unconsciously put his hands in his pockets, and replied, as a habit, you are excused. Lu Jiao thought Hua Wudao was originally from Yun sect, not used to the annoying etiquette of the orthodox path. Suddenly realizing he had said the wrong thing, he immediately slapped his thigh, then put his hands on his head, his mouth open, stammering, misunderstanding, misunderstanding. It's all a misunderstanding. Very well. Hua Wudao stood up straight respectfully. Lu Jiao nodded, saying, I have plenty of time. I'm not afraid you won't admit it. Jiang Aijian sighed. It's a waste that I worked so hard to send messages to the Evil Sky Pavilion. Old senior, you're doing this to me. I'm very wrong. Ming Xiyin spoke up. Stop talking nonsense. You're already a prince, so the Evil Sky Pavilion eliminating obstacles is also eliminating your obstacles. This meant that he was taking advantage of the Evil Sky Pavilion. No one has ever had such audacity before. Even the underworld sect's leader, Yu Zhenghai, didn't dare to take advantage of the Evil Sky Pavilion when he wanted to expand his influence. Yet Jiang Aijian dared to do it. Jiang Aijian kept waving his hands like a madman. Wronged, I tell you, utterly wronged. I told the old senior before. I loathe all that backstabbing and scheming in the palace. The whole, you trick me, I deceive you jazz. That's why I bounced from the royal court, ditched all that messy drama. Even if the old senior clears out all the obstacles, there's no way I can go back to being a prince. Hua Wudao asked, Your Highness, then why do you still keep in touch with people in the palace? At this, Jiang Aijian sighed again, this time with extra drama. Sure, I'm a prince and all, but I've got a few close buddies. Don't laugh, but what I really crave is a normal dude's life. But in this great Yan world, trying to be yourself is like trying to catch smoke. I had no choice but to go by the alias Jiang Aijian and become a free and easy loose cultivator, Hua Wudao said respectfully. The 3 great sword maniacs are all nascent soul realm experts. For a loose cultivator like your highness to have such cultivation, it truly commands respect. Jiang Aijian plopped down and replied with a frown. All just empty titles. Lu Zhao said coolly. Well said, Lu Zhao continued. If you're so selfless, why did you sell out your royal brother? Jiang Aijian was so startled he broke out in a cold sweat. The mastermind behind the Yulong village incident was the second prince. You, as the third prince, didn't protect your own brother, and even stabbed him in the back. You say you're selfless. Who's gonna buy that? All eyes locked onto him. The scene was no different from a criminal being interrogated in court, and Jiang Aijian was the one in the hot seat. He sighed and said, the most heartless and ungrateful people in this world are the princes in the royal family. Aside from all the formal etiquette, all that's left is power and status. Where's the so-called brotherhood? Lu Jiao stroked his beard, getting back to the main point. Do you know why this Siat wants to investigate the Yulong village matter? Jiang Aijian asked suspiciously. Because of your 6th disciple, Lu Jiao shook his head. It's not just that. Do you know Ding Fangqi? Hearing the name Ding Fangqi, Hua Wudao frowned. Ding Fangqi is one of our cloud sect people. No sooner had he spoken than Ming Xiyin cut him off. Elder Hua, mind your current status and tone. Ding Fangqi impersonated a tutor and caused trouble everywhere, tarnishing the reputation of tutors and the Evil Sky Pavilion. According to our rules, he should have been chopped into 8 pieces and fed to the wild beasts long ago. Hua Wudao's face flushed red. He didn't dare say another word. He had joined the Evil Sky Pavilion before the cloud sect elder who had left, Jiang Aijian, leaned back in his chair and said casually, I heard Ding Fangqiu told this Sit that the real purpose of the Yulong village massacre was to find a special bone. Jiang Aijian scratched his head. Is that so? Jiang Aijian, do you think this Siat is that easily fooled? Lu Zhao's eyes turned cloudy, staring intently at Jiang Aijian, making him feel utterly embarrassed. Old senior, you already know, so why bother asking? This statement was basically his confession. Lu Zhao asked again. Over the past 10 years, people in the palace have been dredging for sunken corpses in the Dutian River. In your opinion, is this feasible? What is that special bone? Jiang Aijian looked around, seemingly very concerned that there were many people listening. Lu Zhao said casually, you should be clear. Things have reached this point. so hiding anything is pointless. Jiang Aijian lowered his head towards Lu Jiao, dropping his nonchalant attitude, and said seriously, I have no reason to deceive the old senior. To be honest, I left the palace many years ago. I'm afraid many people have already forgotten about a prince like me. The few friends I have left in the palace aren't many, and give it a few more years, perhaps the third prince will no longer exist in this world. To investigate the Dutian River incident, 2 people were hacked to death by random blades. Of course, that's because their skills weren't up to par, no one else is to blame. The main hall fell silent again. Jiang Aijian continued. My second royal brother is inherently cruel and not suitable to be the ruler of a country, Lu Jiao said. This seat believes you. Thank you, old senior. There are still many exciting and new stories in the channel's playlist, and this little sister will keep updating them. Everyone, please click on the playlist and show your support for little sister. If you want to watch individual stories, please click on the link in that story's description. It's already late at night, and little sister has been working her fingers to the bone. If you like any of them, a like and a comment will make everyone happy. Lu Jiao calmly asked. Jiang Aijian, in your opinion, is that special bone the bone of Bai Min? Jiang Aijian muttered, Bai Min? Immediately after, Jiang Aijian shook his head. There's a rumor in the palace that Bai Min's bones can break the great tribulation of lifespan. But I don't think so. If that were true, what would be the point of dredging for bones for the past 10 years? Over the past 10 years, they've dredged up so many of Bai Min's bones, and yet no one has succeeded. It's clear that the story about Bai Min's bones breaking the lifespan tribulation is just baseless talk. That's why, over the past 10 years, the focus has shifted from dredging Bai Min's bones to paying attention to other things. Old senior, I've said what needs to be said. Indeed, I do have some selfish motives, Jiang Aijian said frankly. That good sword, I don't need it either. Lu Jiao shook his head. This seat has said it before. This seat detests those who don't keep their promises the most. Having promised you, I must naturally fulfill it. Lu Jiao slowly raised his hand, gently manipulating a golden object wrapped in soft gang qi, which flew towards Jiang Aijian. Everyone's eyes were glued to the golden object, filled with curiosity. What treasure would the master of the Evil Sky Pavilion bestow? The object landed in Jiang Aijian's palm. This wasn't a sword at all. It looked like a small golden token. But then, Jiang Aijian's eyes widened with excitement. Excellent! A royal token! Lu Jiao replied calmly. That's right. The good sword this Siet is giving you is this royal token. A token is a good sword? Everyone was completely bewildered. Jiang Aijian scratched his head. This thing would be very useful if given to someone in the palace, like, old senior is giving it to me? Isn't that a waste? Someone like me is terrified of death. How would I dare use this toy to command others? Lu Jiao replied. This item is nominally a royal token, but in reality, it's also the key to the palace's inner treasury. Otherwise, why would the royal family have maintained its value and had people search for it everywhere for so many years? Jiang Aijian fiddled with the token for a moment, then suddenly, snap, it can actually be broken. The token broke into 2 pieces, revealing a golden box and the key to the palace's inner treasury underneath. Jiang Aijian was instantly shocked upon hearing this, and not only him, everyone standing there was surprised that this token had another use. Jiang Aijian lamented, Old senior, if that's the case, you're harming me. This innocent man is carrying a treasure that will bring him trouble. If the people in the palace know I have this, wouldn't I become their target? This item is most suitable for you. You are a prince, and you love swords. Only you can get close to the inner treasury. Don't rush to refuse. Let me tell you, I've got a real treasure hidden away. A sword called the Dragon's Roar. The name of the sword made Jiang Aijian's eyes pop wide open. Dragon's Roar sword. Jiang Aijian's voice trembled, like he couldn't believe his ears. Hua Wudao was just as shocked, blurting out, the Dragon's Roar sword, that legendary heaven-rank weapon that shook the world centuries ago. Its sharpness surpasses even other swords of the same rank. Cultivators have been hunting for it forever, but it vanished from the cultivation world. To think it's been hiding in the palace this whole time? No wonder. Little Yana tilted her head, all curious. Elder Hua. Is it really that good? Hua Wudao launched into an explanation. Of course, among heaven-rank weapons, it's considered a divine weapon. Heaven-rank weapons usually need to be claimed by a master to unleash their full power. But the Dragon's Roar sword is different. To this day, it hasn't found a true master. Everyone who's ever wielded it has failed to claim it. Everyone gasped. So you're saying the Dragon's Roar sword hasn't even reached its full potential yet? Little Yanjur piped up with a hint of jealousy. You mean it could be even stronger than heaven-rank weapons? Hua Wudao replied. There's never been a weapon that transcends the heaven rank, but it's safe to say it's just as good as other heaven rank weapons. Hearing that, little Yanker immediately pointed her mace at Jiang Aijian. Master, we can't give him this weapon. It's too good for him. Jiang Aijian hurriedly shoved the royal token into his chest, looking pathetic. No, senior, I really like this thing. You can count on me. I'll work even harder from now on, I promise. Well then. I'm quite satisfied with this item. This trip was worthwhile. I'll take my leave now, girl. Stop glaring at me. With a wave, he quickly made his way out of the Demon Sky Pavilion's main hall. Lu Zhao's voice boomed. Jiang Aijian, old senior, no need to see me off, I know the way. Jiang Aijian retreated while tightly clutching the royal token, afraid little Yan Gear might chase after him. Lu Zhou continued. Relay a message for me. Jiang Aijian stopped in his tracks. Please, old senior. Lu Zhu's voice was calm and collected. Wei Zhuoyan is a criminal in the massacre at Dutian River. I hope he will come and plead guilty. His words brought silence to the entire hall. You could hear a pin drop. Jiang Aijian responded, a bit shaken. Oh, old senior, are you joking? Wei Zhuoyan controls a massive army. He's a high-ranking official. Asking him to plead guilty will cause chaos. Besides, his cultivation is incredibly high. Rumor has it he's comparable to the Black Knight commander Fan Xuan. He has too many supporters in the palace. Asking him to admit his crimes is harder than reaching the heavens. Lu Zhao leaned back in his chair. Those in high places will never admit their mistakes. I understand that. Unfortunately, I don't like it. Jiang Aijian turned to face Lu Zhao. You aren't afraid of offending the second prince and creating more enemies for Golden Court Mountain? He added. I know the Demon Sky Pavilion is strong, but this land still belongs to the Emperor. The cultivation world wouldn't be as stable as it is today without the imperial family. They must have some tricks up their sleeves. Lu Zhao shook his head. You're wrong, Jiang Aijian jumped. Huh? Lu Zhao dropped the bomb. It's inevitable. Wei Zhuoyan will die. I'm simply giving him a choice in how he dies. Jiang Aijian hesitated. After a moment of contemplation, Jiang Aijian said, I will make sure he gets your message. Lu Zhao nodded. See him out. Yes. Jiang Aijian added. Before I go, I must ask, how did you see through my identity, old senior? My information gathering skills alone aren't enough. Liu Zhao. Lu Zihao indifferently waved his hand without a word, signaling the female cultivator from Moon Reflection Palace to escort him away. Jiang Aijian didn't get an answer and didn't dare push it. He sighed and said, You must have been in the palace before, old senior. How else would you have gotten this royal token? Jiang Aijian chuckled. Oh well, it's not important. Farewell. He turned and left. Ming Xinyin bowed and asked, Master, that man is so unrestrained and undisciplined. He doesn't seem like a prince. I think he has some talent. Should we try to keep him here? Lu Zhao casually replied. No need. He's meant for something else. Hua Wudao bowed. Pavilion Master, may I say something? Lu Zhao's tone turned serious. Hua Wudao, remember your place. My tolerance has limits. Hua Wudao immediately lowered his head respectfully. I wouldn't dare. Ming Shiyin, Duan Musheng, and Little Yan He all stared at Hua Wudao. Ming Shiyin chuckled. Elder Hua, you're no longer from the Cloud Sect. You're an elder of the Demon Sky Pavilion now. Many would kill for this position. But if you want to change your mind, you can always leave. Think carefully before you decide whether you want to be a friend or foe of the Demon Sky Pavilion. Duan Musheng lifted his overlord's spear and slammed it into the ground. Bang! Bang! The newly laid bluestone floor shattered from the impact. He roared, You have ulterior motives! Death! Hua Wudao's face fell. After a long silence, he realized his attitude had been problematic. I apologize for my abruptness. Lu Zhao coldly glanced at Hua Wudao. If he hadn't seen that Hua Wudao had 50% loyalty, he wouldn't have forgiven him for speaking up for Ding Fangqi earlier. Seeing his stiff expression, Lu Zhu casually said, The Six Harmony seal is strong, but it's not perfect yet. Hua Wudao was a cultivation fanatic. As soon as he heard that, he immediately straightened up and clasped his hands. Pavilion Master, please enlighten me. Lu Zhao stood up and asked. Hua Wudao, how many leaves have you opened on your avatar? You haven't improved in 20 years. Still a 6-leaf mystic. Xinyin and Duan Musheng were astonished. No wonder they couldn't break Hua Wudao's defense, even with alternating attacks. A powerhouse of this caliber wouldn't even need the Six Harmony seal. Their protective key alone was impenetrable to them. Lu Zhao stroked his beard calmly and said to Hua Wudao, The Northern Pavilion has records of the Six Harmony seal and the 6-leaf avatar. Elder Hua is free to peruse them. Everyone says that the Dark Sky sect hides countless treasures. Be it their manuals or weapons, they are all highly sought after by cultivators. Some time ago, the Righteous One sect and the Heavenly Sword sect took advantage of the shattered barrier to ransack the place. All for these treasures. Hua Wudao's eyes lit up as he respectfully thanked, Sect Leader! Silence returned to the main hall. A female cultivator from the Moon Reflection Palace slowly approached and lowered herself. Sect Leader, Palace Master. Ming Shiyin roared. There is no Palace Master here. Ever since they entered the Dark Sky sect, these female cultivators have been as loud as thunder. Following Ye Tiangxin's every command, Duan Musheng had wanted to teach them a lesson for a long time. The female cultivator flinched and quickly nodded. Ye Tiangxin requests an audience with the sect leader. Lu Zhao then asked, What is it? Ye Tiangxin is unconscious, and I'm afraid she doesn't have much time left. Lu Zhao waved his sleeve. Ignoring the female cultivator, he clasped his hands behind his back and walked straight out of the hall. Xiao Yaner, Ming Shiyin, and Duan Musheng followed closely behind. Before long, Lu Zhao arrived at the Southern Pavilion. A few female cultivators waiting at the entrance of the Southern Pavilion saw Lu Zhao appear and all knelt down. Greetings, sect leader. Lu Zhao ignored them and went directly to the place where Ye Tiangxin was being held. Reaching the door, he gently waved his sleeve, and the door was pushed open by his kie. Ye Tiangxin was lying on the bed, her face pale, her skin and hair completely white. The two female cultivators in the room hurriedly retreated and knelt on the ground. Greetings, sect leader. Ye Tiangxin laboriously raised her head. Seeing that it was her master who had come, she quickly sat up, slid to the ground, knelt down, and said in a low voice, Master. Lu Zhu's expression was indifferent. You know everything. This disciple knows she is laden with sins, and there is no way to redeem herself. See you, cough cough. Ye Tiangxin suddenly coughed violently, spitting out a mouthful of fresh blood. The female cultivator beside her quickly helped her up. This disciple has a request. Seeing that Lu Zhu said nothing, Ye Tiangxin had no choice but to bravely continue. This disciple wishes to personally stab Wei Zhuoyan to death, to avenge the annihilation of my entire clan in Yulong village. And then, this disciple begs for death to atone to you. Hearing this, Lu Zhao indifferently looked at her, stroking his beard. Your cultivation has been crippled. How do you plan to personally stab Wei Zhuoyan to death? Ye Tianxin's face was extremely ugly this matter, with her current condition, not to mention opposing Wei Zhuoyan, who has extremely high cultivation. She cannot even defeat an ordinary person. If she hadn't always been meticulously cared for by the female cultivators of the Moon Reflection Palace, who knows what she would have become? Ye Tianxin, Lu Zhao said indifferently, patricide and matricide, betraying the Dark Sky sect, committing many evils, tarnishing my reputation. Do you have anything to say? Ming Shiyin, standing beside him, reached into his master's head. Old man, you care about your reputation now. It's not just Ye Tianxin who's been causing trouble and tarnishing the Dark Sky sect's reputation. Over the years, the actions of the Underworld Church, Dark Net, and even 8th Senior Brother's Fierce Tiger Gang have all been attributed to the Dark Sky sect. Ye Tianxin respectfully said. This disciple has nothing to say. Then, I sentence you to die once. Ah! Lu Zhao suddenly raised his hand, striking towards Ye Tianxin. This action was too sudden, catching everyone off guard. A gentle wave of qi struck towards Ye Tianxin. Bang! Duan Musheng, Ming Xiyin, and Zhao Yanhe were also too surprised, their mouths agape. The three of them shouted in unison. Master, master, you can't! Zhao Yanhe, Ming Xiyin, and Duan Musheng didn't expect their master to suddenly strike. They cried out in shock instinctively, but it was too late. If she still had cultivation in her body, that little bit of qi wouldn't be able to hurt her. But now that her cultivation has been crippled, this palm is enough to take her life. Ye Tianxin was blown away by that surge of qi, and then fell heavily to the ground. Her mouth was full of fresh blood, her eyes wide open. Lu Zhu said calmly, help her up. The two female cultivators, scared stiff, replied, yes. After regaining their senses, they hurriedly helped Ye Tianxin onto the bed. Lu Zhao waved his hand, walked to the bedside, and looked at Ye Tianxin. There was no trace of primordial qi left in her dantian. Lu Zhao raised his palm, aiming it towards Ye Tianxin's brow. Master, Ming Shiyin, and Duan Musheng knelt down at the same time. But Lu Zhao's palm still descended, but not to punish Ye Tianxin. Instead, that hand slowly rested on her forehead. His primal qi faintly enveloped Ye Tianxin's entire body. A bizarre scene unfolded. Ye Tianxin's skin underwent a transformation, turning jade green, emitting a faint glow, while her hair, arms, and entire body began to turn transparent, then floated in the air. This is... Duan Musheng was utterly astonished. Ming Xinyin nodded and said, that's right, it's the jade body. Xiao Yanhe, still confused, asked, why is master doing this? Ming Xinyin glanced around the room, then pulled Duan Musheng and Xiao Yanhe outside. Let's go out first. Only then did Ming Xinyin let out a sigh, and the three of them sat down outside. Tianxin Shimei is truly someone with a hard life. Back then, she joined the Devil Sky Pavilion without hesitation. Her talent and cultivation improved at a rapid pace. The massacre of Yulong Village became her motivation to cultivate diligently. Tianxin Shimei is cold and detached, yet she doesn't hold any resentment toward Master's temperament. Master bestowed upon her the multi-affection pill. The multi-affection pill doesn't symbolize love, but rather hatred, Xiao Yaner muttered. I still don't understand. The reason Tianxin Shimei has such high cultivation is thanks to the talent of the Jade Body. The Jade Body has always had a talent for cultivation. Master's palm strike will likely leave her more dead than alive. More dead than alive is debatable. If Master truly wanted to kill her, he would have done so the moment he brought her back. Why wait until now? Duan Musheng and Xiao Yanquier were shocked. Ming Shiyin continued. If Tianxin Shimei truly dies, it's because she reaped what she sowed. The fate of someone who betrays the Devil Sky Pavilion is like that. If she doesn't die, then her fate hasn't run out. Duan Musheng asked suspiciously. Are you saying that the Jade Body has some special life-saving ability? Ming Shiyin replied. Perhaps that's the case. I don't know much about the Jade Body either, Xiao Yanhe pouted. Listening to Shixiang, Tianxin Shiji really is someone with a hard life. Just then, Lu Zhao slowly walked out of the room, his expression utterly calm. The three disciples simultaneously bowed their heads. Master, Lu Zhao's gaze swept over them. Life and death are predetermined. Wealth and status are granted by heaven. Having said those words, Lu Zhu turned and left. Ming Shiyin, uneasy, returned to the room and saw Ye Tianxin lying on the bed. He hurriedly rushed over to check. No aura, no pulse. Ming Xinyan's eyes widened, and he staggered backward. Is she dead? The two female cultivators from Dingyu Palace were crying incessantly, kneeling beside the bed. Ming Xiyin didn't believe it, and circulated his primal qi, pouring it into her 8 extraordinary meridians. Huh? What's going on? No matter how much primal qi he poured in, Ye Tianxin remained like a hard, unyielding rock, blocking all primal qi, preventing it from entering her body. All her 8 extraordinary meridians were sealed. Jade Body, Ming Xinyin hurriedly stopped, turned to the two female cultivators, and said in a deep voice. Before leaving, did Master say anything? Leader. The leader said, life and death are predetermined, wealth and status are granted by heaven. Whether or not she can be revived depends on the princess's fortune, Ming Xinyin murmured. So that's how it is. At the same time, in the Changning Prefecture General's manor, a soldier presented a letter and reported, General, a letter from the palace, with strict instructions that you must open it yourself. Wei Zhuoyan received the letter and, after opening it, read it carefully. After reading the letter, Wei Zhuoyan suddenly slammed the letter onto the table. Bam! Both the letter and the table turned into dust. Wei Zhuoyan's eyes were blazing with anger. How dare they? The subordinate cautiously asked. General, what has angered you so? Wei Zhuoyan replied. A small matter. Wei Zhuoyan waved his hand. Send a reply on behalf of this general, saying that this general is aware of the matter. Yes. After the subordinate left, Wei Zhuoyan snorted. A small sorcerer of a cultivator dares to order this general. How can this be? Men. Yes, sir. This general is feeling unwell. Decline all banquets and receptions for me. Wei Zhuoyan said. And what about His Highness's place? Should I not go there either? Yes, sir. After Lu Zhao returned to the Devil Sky Pavilion, he immediately entered the secret chamber to comprehend the heavenly book. After half a day of comprehension, his mental state became invigorated once more. When Lu Zhao opened his eyes, his gaze fell upon the mysterious box in the corner of the secret chamber. He slightly lifted his right hand, and a saber appeared in his hand. It was the nameless saber. Clang, clang, clang. He swung the nameless saber repeatedly at the box, but only a few small traces appeared on the body of the box, which then quickly returned to its original state. The durability of the box had exceeded Lu Zhao's understanding. Could it be that there's a special key of some sort? Lu Zhu noticed a strangely shaped groove on the top side of the box. He controlled the nameless saber, transforming it into the shape and the pattern, and then placed it into the groove. Suddenly, things changed. Whoosh! The nameless saber was shot away. Lu Zhao raised his hand, and the nameless saber flew back into his hand, then disappeared. Bang, bang, bang. Several surges of gang qi struck that damnable box. Outside the secret chamber, Ming Shiyin and the others had just approached when they heard the sound of things being smashed from inside the secret chamber. Thump, thump, Xiao Yanxie muttered. Master is angry again. With so many things happening these past few days, it's normal for Master to be angry. Xiao Yanhe whispered. Shixong, is Tiangxin Shiji really okay? Ming Shiyin replied. I can't be sure, but Master said it depends on her fate. The three of them simultaneously shook their heads. With a whir, the stone door of the secret chamber slowly opened. The three of them immediately held their breath, not daring to discuss further. They noticed the skinny old man, their master, casually waving his hand, and a surge of gang qi appeared, carrying a box that flew into the main hall of the Devil Sky Pavilion. Lu Zhao hugged the pink box and slowly walked towards them. Master! The three of them spoke in unison to greet him. Ming Shiyin, Lu Zhao slowly said. You are usually considered the most scheming. This box is extremely mysterious. I will temporarily entrust it to you. Try to figure out how to open it. The corner of Ming Xinyan's mouth slightly twitched, looking towards the mysterious box. Damn it, I like doing simple things like this the most. Disciple obeys. The three disciples immediately stood up straight, not daring to be disrespectful. Lu Zhao stepped onto the steps and slowly sat down on the master seat. Lu Zhao didn't look at them. Instead, he took a sip of milk tea and gradually fell into contemplation. Currently, he has 8,762 merit points. It seems like a lot, but it's completely insufficient to buy the 6 Combine's Rebirth Dharmic body. He had originally wanted to rely on buying item cards to save his life, but now the item cards have all increased in price. He had no choice but to expend more effort on increasing his cultivation. These disciples of his, although their cultivation isn't bad, it would be too forced to rely on them to carry out the task of killing Wei Zhuoyan. Lu Zhao faintly opened his mouth. How far has your cultivation progressed recently? Duan Musheng quickly bowed, beads of sweat rolling down his face, and replied, This disciple's heavenly unification art has broken through. I hope to reach the 2-leaf Dharmic body stage within a month. Ming Shiyin chimed in. This disciple has a 1-leaf Dharmic body cultivation. Lu Zhao stared straight at Ming Shiyin, not hiding anything. After all, this guy clearly hid his cultivation when fighting Zhang Chu. Ming Shiyin quickly said, Master, every word this disciple says is the truth. I wouldn't dare hide anything from you. Lu Zhu nodded slightly, looking at Zhao Yanjie standing next to him. Yanjie, what about you? Zhao Yanjie's face turned red, and she stammered, Peak Divine Court Realm. After saying that, Xiao Yaner immediately knelt down. This disciple will definitely break through to the nascent divinity realm soon. Among the 9 disciples, only Xiao Yaner was stuck at the divine court realm, and she felt very embarrassed. Lu Zhao didn't pay attention to that. He just felt that the overall strength of the Dark Hall was quite weak. To gain a foothold in the cultivation world, cultivators must at least reach the 5-leaf stage, or even the 6-leaf stage. Right now, the strongest one is Duan Musheng, who's about to reach 2-leaf. The Dark Hall is indeed a bit weak. Ding Fanqiu has a 5-leaf cultivation, Fan Zhuwen is an 8-leaf, Hua Wudao is a 6-leaf. A quick comparison shows that his disciples aren't intimidating enough to scare anyone. Thinking of this, Lu Zhao casually said, You need to work harder at cultivation. This disciple obeys. The 3 replied in unison, inwardly surprised. If it were the previous master, how could he care about these things? It would be lucky if he didn't deliberately belittle their cultivation. A female cultivator's voice came from outside the hall. Zhao Yu requests an audience, Lu Zhao said indifferently. Let her in. Outside the hall, Zhao Yu and 2 female cultivators slowly walked in. Zhao Yu respectfully knelt on the ground. This sinner greets master, Lu Zhao calmly said. Raise your head. Zhao Yue slowly raised her head, her eyes sparkling as she looked at Lu Zhao. The golden lotus on her forehead had completely disappeared. Zhao Yue carefully said, This disciple is grateful for master's grace. Has the witchcraft restriction completely dissipated? What's your cultivation level? Zhao Yue honestly replied. My cultivation has recovered to 2/10. It will take a month to fully recover. Saying this, Zhao Yu bowed again, kowtowing to the ground. This disciple knows she was wrong, and begs master to give me a chance to redeem myself. Ming Shiyin and Duan Musheng also knelt down at the same time. Xiao Yanhe reacted a beat late. She also knelt down with everyone, her face full of daze. Lu Zhao glanced at the three of them and said, Zhao Yu, this disciple is here. Lu Zhao opened his mouth and said, this master will give you a chance to redeem yourself. Zhao Yu was overjoyed. Thank you, master. This disciple will definitely not fail your expectations. Lu Zhu also noticed that her loyalty increased by 15% in an instant. Currently, the Dark Hall's strength is still very weak. Not only must he increase their loyalty, but also their cultivation levels, and also harvest more merit points. The truth about Yu village has been investigated, and Wei Zhuoyan's matter is not urgent. Thinking of this, Lu Zhou took a sip of milk tea and said, in the next few days, you will transcribe the cultivation techniques you are currently practicing for this master. Transcribe the cultivation techniques? The group was dumbfounded. Lu Zhao ordered, do as I say, and don't have any objections. This disciple obeys. Lu Zhao did this because he couldn't determine whether the disciple's cultivation techniques were complete. That missing part of the memory is very likely related to the disciples. If the cultivation techniques he taught to his disciples are incomplete, it will cause great obstacles in improving their cultivation. Also, put less sugar in the milk teas. It's not good for the teeth. Everyone shouted in unison, yes! Lu Zhu nodded slightly, then waved his sleeve and left. After Lu Zhu left, the four looked at each other. Duan Musheng scratched his head and asked, Fourth, you're smart. What is master planning this time? I have no idea. Ming Xinyin hugged the box and studied it. Compared to transcribing the cultivation techniques, he preferred to study this box. Zhao Yue sighed and said, no matter what, master has really changed a lot. Ming Xinyin continued Zhao Yue's words, Fifth junior sister is much luckier than Tiangxin junior sister. Now Tiangxin junior sister's life and death are unknown. I don't know if she can persevere. Zhao Yue was surprised when she heard this and asked, what happened to Tiangxin junior sister? Ming Xinyin sighed. She has fallen into a state of sleep. Forget it. Don't ask. It's better that master is thinking about. I can't guess, Duan Musheng asked. Didn't you say that master's brain is simple? Even you can't guess. Ming Xinyin widened his eyes and said, Shh. Third senior brother, I didn't say that. Master is very smart. Zhao Yanhe seemed to have understood, and she said loudly, I know. You dare to say master is stupid. Ming Xinyin hugged the box and flickered before disappearing. I'm not afraid of opponents as strong as gods, but I'm afraid of teammates as stupid as pigs. Ming Xinyin ran to the quiet back mountain. He placed the box on a stone and observed it carefully, stroking his chin. This box was completely different from the boxes he had seen before. There were no gaps, no holes, no lids. Completely square and tight. No matter what kind of thing you are, I'll deal with you with a heaven-grade weapons. Ming Xinyin raised his hand, and the separation hook immediately appeared in his palm. He waved his hand. Clang. Blue magical rays shot out everywhere. Both the separation hook and the box were intact. Without any damage, Ming Xinyin opened his eyes wide, his hand holding the separation hook trembling. So magical. Am I really an idiot? How could something given by master be simple? Ming Xinyin saw the inlaid holes on the surface of the box, and when the sunlight shone on it, a special pattern appeared on the inlaid hole before his eyes. This pattern kinda looks like my Lai Bi Gao. Under the sunlight, the pattern became extremely clear, and curiosity arose. Ming Xinyin took the Li Bi Gao and placed it on the pattern on the inlaid hole. As a result, the pattern suddenly rotated a bit, and gaps suddenly appeared at the four corners of the box. Then, with a click, the gaps disappeared again, and the box returned to its original appearance. My Li Bi Gao. Ming Xinyin was startled and hurried to grab the Li Bi Gao. It's stuck. How is that possible? The youth's scream echoed through the forest. For Ming Xinyin, the Li Bi Gao was the blood and flesh in his heart, and he couldn't allow any mistakes to happen to it. He tried his best to grab the Li Bi Gao, constantly striking out with his primal chi, shattering the rocks beside him, but the Li Bi Gao refused to come out from beginning to end, still stuck in the inlaid hole, not moving at all. No way, Ming Xinyin wanted to cry. Could it be that master regretted giving me the weapon and deliberately thought of this method to take it back? That doesn't make sense. If master wanted to take back the weapon, why would he beat around the bush like this? Duan Musheng came over with the Overlord's spear. Junior brother, what are you doing? I've been looking for you everywhere. Senior brother, I'm afraid I can't practice with you. My Li Bi Gao is stuck. Ming Xinyin pointed painfully at the inlaid hole on the surface of the box. Duan Musheng said disdainfully, It's just a silly box. Step aside a bit. What do you want to do? Step back a little more. Boom! Duan Musheng thrust the spear into the mysterious box, and the tip of the spear vibrated, causing his hands to tremble. The box shattered the stone into pieces and fell to the ground. Duan Musheng looked back at the undamaged Overlord spear, and then looked at the box, which had no marks on it. Duan Musheng exclaimed, Is it that sturdy? Senior brother, look. Ming Xinyin pointed to another inlaid hole on the side of the box. Next to the Lai Bi Gao was a spear-shaped pattern. Duan Musheng asked, What is this? Why don't you try inserting the Overlord spear into it? Ming Xinyin had a feeling that this box was particularly fond of heaven-tier weapons. Duan Musheng was an honest person, so he picked up the Overlord spear and stabbed it into the gap next to the Li Bi Gao. Scratch, scratch! The pattern suddenly clamped down, and the spearhead of the Overlord's spear seemed to have touched some kind of mechanism, and a gap appeared on the surface of the box. Boom. My weapon. Ming Xinyan's expression changed drastically as the gap shot out 2 heaven-tier weapons. Ming Xinyan mobilized his primal chi, and with a grab of his right hand, the Li Bi Gao immediately returned to his hand. The Overlord's spear shot into the air and then fell down, and Duan Muxing grabbed the spear shaft. Duan Muxing exclaimed, "Look at this box, it's really weird." The box has 6 sides, and a gap has appeared on one side. Ming Xinyan suddenly realized and said, "I understand. This box of masters needs all of our weapons. We have to put the weapons into the patterns to open it." Under the bright sunlight, the patterns on each side of the box were extremely clear. This is the azure jade saber. This is the evergreen sword. This is the amorous ring. This is the peacock plume. Ming Xinyan carefully examined each pattern on the box. Duan Muxing asked in surprise, "Such a magical box. I wonder which great expert designed it." "How would I know?" Ming Xinyan nodded slightly. "Fortunately, we found a way to open the box. Finding it is useless, though. The peacock plume is in the hands of 7th junior brother, and the azure jade saber and evergreen sword are in the hands of eldest senior brother and 2nd senior brother in this world. Who has the ability to make them offer their weapons? I'm afraid no one does." He originally wanted to say, "Even master can't," but he was afraid of causing trouble, so he swallowed it back. The words Ming Xinyan wanted to say. Ming Xinyan nodded. "I really don't dare to go find eldest senior brother and 2nd senior brother. I'll report back to Master later. Master is still resting. Why don't you practice a bit?" Ming Xinyan's voice immediately became choked. "3rd senior brother, I recommended Elder Hua when he was still hiding his strength. You still couldn't break his turtle shell. Great magic, are you willing to admit defeat? Moreover, he is a 6-leaf expert, extremely suitable to be your training target." Duan Muxing's eyes lit up. "That makes sense. Then I'll go find Elder Hua." Ming Xinyan sat back in the back mountain, studying the box for a while longer. During this time, Elder Hua, who was lying down sleeping, kept sneezing. In the afternoon, Ming Xinyan carried the box back to the Evil Sky Pavilion. Entering the main hall, he saw everyone playing chess. He found that Master, Xiao Yanhe, Zhao Yu, and Ji Feng were all present, and they were engrossed in playing chess. Lu Jiao was sitting with everyone at the chessboard. "The Pavilion Master invented it? It's really fun." "The Pavilion Master must be letting us win," Zhao Yanhe said cleverly. "Master, why haven't you ascended yet?" Seeing Ming Xinyan come in, he said indifferently, "You've come at the right time." Ming Xinyan placed the box on the ground, and then bowed. "Master, I have found a method to open this box." Oh, Lu Jiao's heart skipped a beat, but his face remained calm. This disciple is a bit difficult to control, but at crucial moments he works very neatly and efficiently. "This box needs 6 weapons to be inlaid into the patterns on each side of the box. Please have a look, Master." Ming Xinyan waved his hand, and the box immediately floated in the air. This is the azure jade saber pattern. This is the evergreen sword. This is the peacock plume. This is the amorous ring. The light in the main hall shone on the box. And as Ming Xinyan said, there were 6 weapon-shaped patterns on each side of the box. Ming Xinyan said with a bit of pride, "Master, my weapon and 3rd senior brother's weapon have been attached, and the pattern should open this gap. It seems that 2 more such gaps are needed to open the box." Lu Zhu nodded. "Well done." Being praised by Master, Ming Xinyan was overjoyed and said, "Thanks for the encouragement, Master." Lu Jiao had thought of this, even trying to use the unnamed sword to transform into a different shape resembling the pattern. But it didn't work. Clearly, the system wouldn't allow Lu Jiao to exploit this loophole. To open the box, you need the jade green saber, the evergreen sword, and the peacock plume. But those bastards have all left the Evil Sky Pavilion, so relying on them is totally unrealistic. Zhao Yue bowed and said, "Master, if you want to open this mysterious box, this disciple thinks 4th brother is the best choice." Ming Xinyan was like, "Huh? What? Why me?" with 3 question marks floating over his head. Lu Zhu asked, "Why do you think so?" The peacock plume is in 7th brother's hands, and 7th brother is close to 8th brother. With 4th brother's skills, it wouldn't be hard to find 8th brother. Once you find 8th brother, given 7th brother's personality, it'll be easy to contact eldest brother and 2nd brother. This disciple believes they'll also be curious about what's in the box, and they'll figure out a way to open it. Ming Xinyan was still rocking the triple question marks. Lu Jiao stroked his beard nonchalantly. "Not bad," Ming Xinyan hurriedly said. "Master, we need to discuss this more carefully. Eldest brother and 2nd brother's cultivation is unfathomable. What if they want to kill me and snatch the box?" Everyone nodded, feeling that what Ming Xinyan said made sense. Lu Jiao shook his head again. "Yu Zhenghai and Yu Shangrong may be treacherous disciples, but they're very generous to their junior brothers and sisters. Since the Evil Sky Pavilion started accepting disciples, there's never been any internal strife. I believe they won't hurt you." Ming Xinyan wanted to cry. I don't believe it." Meanwhile, everyone around was cheering him on. "Ming Xinyan, go for it." Ming Xinyan still wanted to cry. I don't believe it." Lu Jiao looked straight into Ming Xinyan's eyes. "This matter is not up for discussion. Don't disappoint me." Seeing that, Ming Xinyan's heart trembled. He had no choice but to hug the chest, his face full of grievance, and after a pause said, "This disciple obeys." After that, Lu Jiao ordered everyone to dismiss. The disciples shouted in unison, "Yes, sir!" At this time, Lu Jiao opened the system interface. The task column showed the progress of the task, "Open the mysterious chest." Lu Jiao was completely convinced that Ming Xinyan was the most suitable candidate for this action. Only he could maneuver between those treacherous disciples and successfully complete the task. If it were anyone else with a thinner skin, there would be no way to do it. Moreover, in his memory, Yu Zhenghai and Yu Shengrong had indeed never done anything wrong to their junior brothers and sisters. Thinking about this, Lu Xiao frowned again. What exactly made them betray the evil sky pavilion? So headache-inducing. Ming Xinyin left the main hall with the chest in his arms. The female cultivator came in from outside and bowed. Pavilion master, Ye Tiangxin hasn't changed today. Lu Xiao replied indifferently, I know. Ye Tiangxin had fallen into a deep sleep, her life or death uncertain. Xiao Yanhair widened her eyes and asked in a low voice, Master, is senior sister Tiangxin really not going to die? Right? Lu Xiao truthfully replied, I don't know. Xiao Yanhair fed the 3 chickens and asked, Then if she dies, will master be happy? As soon as she said this, Lu Xiao reached out and tapped her head, scolding, I told you to copy the cultivation methods, how far have you gotten? Xiao Yanchair touched her head and said with a pout, I haven't done it yet, Lu Xiao urged. Then hurry up and do it. A flying letter? Xiao Yanyer noticed a bird carrying a flying letter in the sky. Xiao Yanyer darted out like lightning. Then she jumped up and caught the bird very neatly. Not long after, Xiao Yanhair walked in with the flying letter. Lu Xiao didn't blame her anymore, just told her to read it. It's a flying letter from Jiang Aijian. Xiao Yanxie read to herself. Senior, I've passed on your words to Wei Zhuoyan. As expected, Wei Zhuoyan doesn't take it seriously. Lu Xiao nodded, which was also within his expectations. Wei Zhuoyan had risen to his current position, becoming an important official of Great Yan, holding heavy troops in his hands. Suddenly, someone jumped out and told him to give up everything. Of course, that was impossible. Lu Xiao stroked his beard indifferently. The flying letter assumed Jiang Aijian said that this seat already knew about this. Xiao Yanhair said a little angrily, Master, this Wei Zhuoyan is so annoying. Should I go down the mountain and kill him? Lu Zhu asked. You're only in the divine court realm and you want to assassinate a 7-leaf expert, or even an 8-leaf one. Xiao Yanhair lowered her head, her 2 index fingers poking each other. Wei Zhuoyan commanded the 3 armies. He didn't just rely on his own cultivation. Moving him would have widespread consequences. He wasn't like Fan Xuen. Fan Xuen came from the Black Roll, was a pawn of the Dark Department. Even if Fan Xuen died, the great Yan imperial family wouldn't care too much. But Wei Zhuoyan was different. Many people wanted him dead, but there were also many people who didn't want him to die. Xiao Yanhair asked, So what should we do? Lu Xiao said calmly, Don't worry, what I want isn't just Wei Zhuoyan's life. Half a day later, Ming Xinyin left the evil sky pavilion with the chest in his arms, heading towards Old Eighth's den, Zhu Honggong. A subordinate rushed in hastily and reported, Chief, it's not good. Someone has infiltrated the mountain stronghold. Zhu Honggong, who was lying on the bed with his eyes closed, sat up suddenly. Zhu Honggong was startled and hurriedly stood up, shouting in panic, What's the panic? With this king here who dares to break into Tiger's Roar Mountain. At this moment, Ming Xinyin's voice came from outside. Dad, long time no see, you've become much more imposing. Ming Xinyin's figure appeared from afar, taking steps of 30 feet, and in the blink of an eye he was in front of Zhu Honggong. Zhu Honggong very cooperatively knelt on the ground. The kingly aura from just now completely gone, Zhu Honggong asked. Senior brother, why? Why are you here? Ming Xinyin quickly replied. Why can't I come? Hearing this answer, Zhu Honggong continued. Could it be that you've thought it through and want to join my Tiger's Roar Mountain? Zhu Honggong flattered him. That's great. From now on, you'll be the chief of Tiger's Roar Mountain, and I'll even give you the title of Madly Praised Evil King. I'll just be the second in command. Ming Xinyin replied. Cut the crap. Stop it. Then Ming Xinyin put the chest in his hand on the table, sat down unceremoniously, and said, There's no way I'd leave the evil sky pavilion. I'm here on a mission. Zhu Honggong's heart trembled. What mission? It's not to clean up the house, is it? Remembering the encounter with Master near Qingyu Pond, Zhu Honggong was worried sick and broke out in a cold sweat. I really don't get you. How dare you leave the Great Void Sect with such a small liver, Ming Xinyin sneered. You either don't have the cultivation of senior brother, or the courage of second senior brother, or the brains of seventh junior brother, just this pile of fatty meat. Zhu Honggong shamelessly replied. Senior brother, don't hit me so hard, I'm actually quite smart. You, old 8, Zhu Honggong grinned and said. Of course. If it weren't for my smarts, I would have been caught by Master at Qingyu Pond that day. Keep dreaming, Ming Xinyin rolled his eyes and said. Master feels like catching you is as easy as flipping his hand, so he's not in a hurry. If it were seventh junior brother, see if he'd show mercy. Zhu Honggong was speechless for a moment. Seeing the chest on the table, he smiled and said, Fourth senior brother, you're not here to catch me, so what's the matter? This little brother will definitely do my best. Please have some tea to warm your belly. Ming Xinyin pointed to the chest next to him. Master has a mysterious chest that can only be opened with the weapons of seventh junior brother, senior brother, and second senior brother. Seventh junior brother is a dragon whose head you see but not its tail, so I can only come find you. Fourth senior brother, it's just a rotten chest. Just split it in half with a blade, Zhu Honggong said, pulling out a blade from a subordinate's waist. Watch me. No need for heaven-grade weapons. Ming Xinyin didn't bother to stop him. He sat on the Grand Tutor's chair, gleefully watching the show. Old 8 swung the broadsword in his hand, hacking down on the chest. Sparks flew everywhere, and the blade snapped in two, clanging loudly as it fell, stabbing into the neck of the subordinate carrying tea. Watermelon-colored liquid splashed everywhere. Zhu Honggong stared wide-eyed and exclaimed, Mysterious chest? What kind of chest is this? How is it so hard? Two other subordinates quickly dragged the corpse away. watermelon-colored liquid staining the path, Ming Xinyin picked up a bunch of grapes from the table, eating and spitting out the seeds. If I knew, why would I come looking for you? Fourth senior brother, this junior brother is really upset. The great void sect is declining. The entire cultivation world is waiting for Master's great tribulation. The old man is coming. By then, all the treasures in the great void sect will be snatched away. Why don't you take the opportunity? Ming Xinyin's eyes widened, and he shouted, "Shut up, Thump!" Zhu Honggong knelt down again. Ming Xinyin reprimanded. "You treacherous, unfilial wretch. You left the great void sect, fine. But you dare criticize Master behind his back. Has Master ever wronged you?" Zhu Honggong scratched his head, breaking out in a cold sweat. I've only been beaten and scolded a lot, but there's really no hatred. Do you know how your 6th senior sister is doing, Ye Tiangxin? 6th senior sister's cultivation has been crippled. Her life and death are unknown. Listen to my advice. Don't resist Master anymore. Ming Xinyin's voice turned cold. I can understand you leaving the Great Void Sect, but if you dare to badmouth him behind his back, the channel's playlist has a lot of good stories. And new stories. Little Sister will update continuously. Everyone, please click on the playlist to watch and support Little Sister. If you want to watch the full story, please click on the link in the description of that story, or click on the channel's playlist and search for the title to watch the whole story you want to watch. Zhu Honggong held up 3 fingers, raising his hand high and swearing to the heavens. Senior brother, I'm wronged. I'm really wronged. Wronged to death. Zhu Honggong nudged his knees forward half a step and continued. Since I left the Great Void Sect, I haven't done anything to wrong Master. The last time you asked me to investigate the kidnapping case of the Xu family, I've also found out that it was really someone impersonating the fierce tiger gang to cause trouble, then framing me. Hearing this, Ming Xinyin said, I never asked about the matter of Junior Sister's clan members. You volunteered to jump into it. Zhu Honggong looked like he was mourning. I'm really wrong. Even jumping into the Yellow River wouldn't clear my name. Ming Xinyin glared at him. Alright, I know the Xu family's matter wasn't done by you. You don't have the guts to do it. Zhu Honggong was overjoyed, his voice flattering. It's still 4th senior brother who understands the reasons. Did Master say anything about me? Master doesn't even bother to look at you. Don't think too highly of yourself, Ming Xinyin said. Here, he suddenly became serious, returning to the main topic. You've seen the chest. Do you know where 7th junior brother is? Zhu Honggong chuckled. 4th senior brother? You're joking. How would I know where 7th senior brother is? However, 4th senior brother can go to Wolong to check. I heard the Darknet headquarters is located there. Ming Xinyin suddenly lowered his voice. Old 8, you weren't this clever before. You want to harm me. As soon as he finished speaking, applause suddenly came from behind the screen. Si Wuyai gracefully and elegantly appeared before the two. Old 7? Ming Xinyin immediately glared at Old 8. You still dare to say you don't know? Si Wuyai slowly walked in front of Ming Xinyin, bowing and greeting. Greetings, 4th senior brother. Although Si Wuyai was Ming Xiyin's junior brother, his nonchalant demeanor made Ming Xiyin a little uncomfortable. In general, smart people are difficult to grasp. Ming Xiyin preferred to be around people like Zhu Honggong, but he was also a senior brother, doing his duty, so there was nothing to worry about. Old 7, you're really scheming, hiding behind and eavesdropping for so long. Has 4th senior brother said enough? Yes. I've always been at Fierce Tiger Gang. It's normal for senior and junior brothers to live together. I just didn't expect 4th senior brother to honor us with his presence. Si Wuyai slowly stepped to the left, flicking his robe to the side. Ming Xinyin then said, Since you've heard, I won't beat around the bush anymore. Lend me your peacock plume for a moment. Si Wuyai's gaze fell on the mysterious chest, secretly scrutinizing it. His face showed no emotion, but inside he was surprised. This was the first time he had seen such a bizarre chest. Master has countless treasures. Another strange chest is nothing strange. Si Wuyai coldly said, I can lend you the peacock plume, but there are a few words I sincerely want to say to 4th senior brother. That's not needed. I'm not like you guys. If you've agreed to lend it, that's fantastic. Couldn't be better. Come here, come here. Place the peacock plume into this design. Ming Xinyin was extremely cautious, not wanting to listen to 7th junior brother's bewitching words. Si Wuyai's heart stirred slightly, but his face remained as calm as water. Long time no see. 4th senior brother is much more careful than before. Having said that, he raised his right hand, and the peacock plume floated in the palm of his hand, spinning 360 degrees. Old 8 Zhu Honggong was green with envy, muttering to himself, When will I ever get a heaven-grade weapon? Si Wuyai turned his hand and brought the peacock plume to the mysterious wooden chest. If inside the chest is a treasure that could control us, do you still want to open it, senior brother? Ming Xinyin was stunned. Si Wuyai noticed the change on his face, so he deliberately slowed down his movements. Ming Xinyin suddenly raised his hand. Wait a moment. What's the matter, 4th senior brother? Ming Xinyin asked, I've always been curious. Why did eldest senior brother, 2nd senior brother, and you suddenly leave the Demon Heaven Pavilion back then? Hearing this question, Si Wuyai calmly retracted the peacock plume and cupped his hands, saying, 4th senior brother, if someone held a knife to your throat and you had no ability to resist, only to flee, would you run or not? Ming Xinyin was startled, not answering him. Si Wuyai slowly returned to his seat, cheerfully chatting. The Demon Heaven Pavilion has made too many enemies. Ever since the 10 great experts besieged Golden Court Mountain, everyone has been waiting for Master's calamity to arrive. At that time, even if eldest senior brother and 2nd senior brother didn't leave, they couldn't stop the countless disasters swarming like locusts. Ming Xinyin snorted. I'm afraid those people aren't even as good as locusts, Si Wuyai said calmly. Are you so confident in Master? Shut up. Ming Xinyin's voice suddenly rose. He stared unblinkingly at Si Wuyai, rebuking. Seventh junior brother, don't forget your place. Old 8 is momentarily confused and blinded by you. I don't blame him, but you. Shouldn't you be able to distinguish right from wrong? It's very normal for a senior brother to instruct a junior brother. But, Si Wuyai listened with an indifferent expression, without the slightest fluctuation. Fourth senior brother. If you know I can distinguish black from white, right from wrong, then on what basis do you think the place where I stand is wrong? You, Ming Xinyin waved his hand, saying. You're very argumentative, Si Wuyai immediately replied. Fourth senior brother is too kind. Ming Xinyin continued. No matter what you say, Master has imparted a whole body of cultivation to you. This is a solid fact like iron. Si Wuyai smiled faintly, clapping his hands. It's hard to imagine. It's only been a while since you last saw him, and fourth senior brother is protecting Master so much. Ming Xinyin is too different now compared to before. This is beyond his imagination. Ming Xinyin sat down. I'm not like you. Si Wuyai turned to look at the mysterious wooden chest. Fourth senior brother. If you use the name of senior brother to tell me to open this chest, I will immediately open it without a second word. But, if it's for another reason, forgive me for not obeying. Ming Xinyin, who had just calmed down, suddenly burst into anger again. Bam! He slammed his palm, and the table beside him shattered instantly. A swift palm strike carried Genki, and struck toward Si Wuyai. Bam bam bam. Si Wuyai lightly touched his toes. His whole body gracefully retreated, one hand behind his back, and the other skillfully deflecting Ming Xinyin's Genki. In an instant, the entire mountain stronghold was shaken by the collision of Gangklil. One person advanced, one person retreated, constantly fighting. Zhu Honggong was stunned, then hurriedly stood up, waving his hands and shouting loudly. Please stop fighting, you two senior brothers. If you continue fighting, my dilapidated camp will be finished. The people of Fierce Tiger Ridge kept retreating, only able to watch from afar. No one dared to intervene. Bam bam bam, another 3 consecutive palm strikes. Ming Xiyin struck the Gangqi protective barrier on Si Wuyai's body. Si Wuyai somersaulted backward, and then stood upright, his face carrying a smile. Fourth senior brother has actually broken through to the nascent soul realm. Congratulations. You are all heinous and rebellious. As your senior brother, I have the responsibility to clean up the sect on behalf of Master. Ming Xinyin stomped his foot hard. Bam! Uff. A footprint appeared. Ming Xinyin, like an arrow, shot straight toward Si Wuyai. Seeing this, Si Wuyai retreated into the air, his whole body as light as a swallow. He still only used one hand to block the palm strikes, preventing Ming Xinyin's Gangqi from hitting his face. Bam, bam, bam. The collision of Gangqi completely disregarded the architecture in the room. Seeing this, Zhu Honggong felt a pang of heartache. His heart didn't know how much it hurt, but Zhu Honggong was still devouring a steamed bun, with a tray in his arms below. While eating, Zhu Honggong kept advising, Senior brothers, don't fight anymore. We're all brothers. Why do you have to do this? Si Wuyai heard Old Eight's persuasion and transmitted his voice to Ming Xiyin, fourth senior brother. You've been on the mountain for a long time. Although you've luckily broken through to the nascent soul realm, your cultivation has been suppressed for too long. You can't do anything to me. You're wrong. The Gangqi on Ming Xinyin's body suddenly surged. The parting hook in his hand cut through with a bizarre angle. Bam! Almost at the same moment, the peacock plume spread its tail, and thousands of Gangqi formed hidden weapons glittering with golden light, blocking in front of him. The parting hook, with one blade and one sheath, slammed into it, blasting away those Gangqi. Although it had spread its tail, the distance was too close. The parting hook gained the advantage. Of course, this was also thanks to Ming Xinyin's sudden attack. The heaven-grade weapons of both sides, after colliding, retreated into the air, their four eyes meeting, not continuing to fight. The Gangqi disappeared, and the surroundings returned to silence. One of Zhu Honggong's subordinates hurriedly reported, Campmaster, there's only one cage left. Who knows what this guy is talking about? Never mind him. A look of surprise appeared on Si Wuyai's calm face. His eyes looking at the parting hook in Ming Xinyin's hand, Si Wuyai praised. Fourth senior brother has not only broken through to the nascent soul realm but also possesses a heaven-grade weapon, Ming Xinyin said indifferently. Not as good as seventh junior brother who already has the peacock plume. Si Wuyai cupped his hands in a salute. It's only right for a senior brother to instruct a junior brother. This junior brother was impolite. Please accept my apology, fourth senior brother, Ming Xinyin continued. No need to apologize. Ming Xinyin snatched back Zhu Honggong's tray of steamed buns. To open master's chest, your weapon is needed. Whether eldest senior brother and second senior brother have the keys to open it or not. Quote, opening it, the decision is up to you. As soon as he finished speaking, Ming Xinyin also grabbed a steamed bun and devoured it. Then Ming Xinyin also handed the remaining steamed bun to Si Wuyai. Reaching out to take the steamed bun, Si Wuyai asked with great curiosity, what's inside the chest? Ming Xinyin replied, I don't know either, but since master has valued this chest so much, it shouldn't be an ordinary item. Si Wuyai, while munching on the steamed bun, said, Aren't you afraid that we'll open this chest and snatch the treasure? Ming Xinyin replied indifferently. Master has long thought of this point. The last key is the sentiment-severing ring. Junior sister Tiang Xin has been imprisoned by master. Zhu Honggong looked back at the tray, and there were no steamed buns left, muttering, The sentiment-severing ring is in master's hands. That will be the final step to open the chest. Si Wuyai sighed. I heard second senior brother say before that master has changed a lot. Whether it's his style of doing things or his way of treating people, his temperament and nature are completely different from before. Now it seems, it's really like that. After sighing, Si Wuyai picked up the peacock spirit and walked towards the mysterious coffer. He examined it for a moment, then said in surprise, This is indeed a peculiar object, ingeniously designed. Zhu Honggong, relieved that the two had finally stopped fighting, stepped forward. Finally stopped fighting thanks to my steamed buns. To be praised by the 7th senior brother, this thing must be worth a lot. Si Wuyai knocked on Lao Ba's pig head. Money grubber. How can this thing be compared with mere money? Then, Si Wuyai picked up the peacock spirit. He observed the patterns on the coffer's surface, and then found the peacock spirit pattern. Si Wuyai was very careful, not immediately putting the peacock spirit in. He observed for a while and then nodded. Master is indeed full of wondrous things. The structure of this pattern and slot are linked. If you're not careful, it will get stuck. Having said that, he placed the peacock spirit onto the pattern on the coffer. Click. The coffer emitted a crisp sound. The peacock spirit was bounced back. Although the slot didn't appear, it could be seen that the peacock spirit pattern had disappeared. This shows that the peacock spirit key has worked. Si Wuyai lifted his hand, and the peacock spirit disappeared. 4th senior brother, are you satisfied? Ming Shiyin didn't bother to be polite with him, just said, this is what you should do. Besides, I know only you can contact eldest senior brother and 2nd senior brother. I'm entrusting this coffer to you. I'll come back to Lao Ba's place in 7 days to retrieve it. Si Wuyai replied, I can indeed contact eldest senior brother and 2nd senior brother. There's no place in the world my dark web can't find. But the problem is, eldest senior brother and 2nd senior brother aren't as insightful as I am. I'm afraid this coffer can't be opened. Ming Shiyin retorted, are you so afraid that what's inside the coffer is something that will counter your treasures? Afraid, Si Wujai laughed. Not to deceive 4th senior brother. If I were afraid, I wouldn't have let the peacock spirit do that just now. That's for the best. I believe eldest senior brother and 2nd senior brother will think clearly. Ming Shiyin casually pushed the coffer to Si Wuyai. At least Maester is still healthy, which means Maester is still alive. Even if you're no longer in the Devil Sky Pavilion, the old man is still your master. If you really anger Master, even if disaster is about to strike, he'll still send you to the Yellow Springs to accompany him. Si Wuyai coldly pushed Zhu Honggong's face away. 4th senior brother, please rest assured I will relay this to eldest senior brother and 2nd senior brother. Ming Shiyin nodded in satisfaction. Si Wuyai didn't resist strongly. Instead, he was very cooperative, which surprised Ming Shiyin a little. Just as he was about to leave, Ming Shiyin suddenly asked, Lao Qi, were you involved in the kidnapping of the Shu family's people? Si Wuyai shook his head. I wasn't. Ming Shiyin, hearing this, said, I believe you. Si Wuyai calmly replied, although we always pursue results in our work, we also have our principles and bottom lines. Since the Devil Sky Pavilion started accepting disciples, there has never been any internal strife. There wasn't before, and there won't be in the future either. Both Si Wuyai and Zhu Honggong cupped their fists and bowed to see Ming Shiyin off. Ming Shiyin waved his hand. I can only hope so. Swoosh! Ming Shiyin flew away. Lao Ba Zhu Honggong plopped down onto the floor. He wiped the sweat from his face, looked around at the damaged room, and sighed, shaking his head. Si Wuyai remained indifferent, walked back to the Grandmaster chair, and slowly sat down. Lao back. A shot arrow cannot be turned back. Things have come to this point. We only have one path left, and that is to continue forward. Saying these words, he turned his head to look at the mysterious coffer. Master has roamed the world for many years. There are probably still many treasures he hasn't taken out. This coffer isn't simple. Lao Ba got up and went to the coffer's side, examining it for a while. Could it be a weapon? That possibility can't be ruled out. Then why did you agree to open this coffer? Zhu Honggong couldn't understand. Then, Si Wuyai stood up with his hands clasped behind his back. Si Wuyai said, this coffer is extremely special. If it isn't opened, this treasure will forever collect dust inside the coffer. Master's great tribulation is approaching. How many years can this treasure still be used? It's better that I open the coffer to let the treasure reappear in the world. Just now, when I and 4th senior brother were fighting, did you see the weapon in his hand? I saw it. I'm also annoyed about it. 4th senior brother has been in the Devil Sky Pavilion all year round. He hasn't comprehended the essence of the Greenwood Heart Sutra. His cultivation base is suppressed so much, yet he was able to exchange so many moves with 7th senior brother. Zhu Honggong asked, was that weapon a heaven-grade weapon? Si Wuyai replied, that's right. Si Wuyai lifted his hand, and the mysterious coffer was weightless. Surrounded by a stream of gang qi and brought into his palm, Si Wuyai lifted his hand, and the mysterious coffer was weightless. Surrounded by a stream of gang qi and brought into his palm, Si Wuyai held up the coffer. This matter cannot be revealed to outsiders. To avoid people with ulterior motives coveting the Devil Sky Pavilion's items, let's both go into the deep mountains. Lao Ba quickly said, 7th senior brother, you covet the Devil Sky Pavilion's treasures a lot. One more or one less person doesn't make a difference. No, I mean the matter of this coffer. Zhu Honggong, hearing this, worriedly said, if this is really a top-tier treasure, it will cause even greater competition. Si Wuyai brought the coffer to the back mountain. Fierce Tiger Ridge. Zhu Honggong followed closely behind. At a flat area in the back mountain, there was a flying chariot shaped like a boat lying there, surrounded by 4 cultivators wearing light-colored robes. When Si Wuyai appeared, more than 10 people simultaneously bowed. Pavilion Master, Si Wuyai, waved his hand, and the mysterious coffer flew up and landed in the flying chariot. He also leaped and flew inside. To Anyang! Yes! More than 10 cultivators simultaneously poured primordial qi into the flying chariot. Under the effect of the formation inscriptions and the power of primordial qi, the flying chariot slowly rose. When the flying chariot was hovering in the air, it paused for a moment. Si Wuyai calmly said, Lao Ba, Don't stick your head out during this period. The cooperation between the Devil Slaughter sect and the Righteous Unity sect has failed. They don't dare to cause trouble with the Devil Sky Pavilion, so they'll only vent it on you. Zhu Honggong trembled all over upon hearing this, whimpering. Senior brother, this was your idea. Why are you blaming me? Si Wuyai calmly glanced at An Yang. Although Zhang Yuanshan has openly provoked the Evil Sky Pavilion multiple times, in reality he's a coward. The kind of person who fears death. Otherwise, when you and Master appeared at Qingyu altar that day, with his nascent soul realm cultivation, why wouldn't he dare to show his face? Zhu Honggong quickly retorted. Well, you can't blame me alone. No, I don't understand. Si Wuyai raised his hand, signaling him to stop. It's all about bullying those below, and sucking up to those above. Whoosh! The flying chariot slowly ascended. Zhu Honggong frowned and said, So does that mean Zhang Yuanshan thinks my fierce tiger gang is easy to bully? Farewell, senior brother. Old Eighth bowed slightly, watching the flying chariot depart, then straightened up, scoffed, and his eyes narrowed, pupils gleaming fiercely. Old Eighth ain't so easy to bully. An hour later, the flying chariot slowly descended near Anyang. Si Wuyai stepped out and looked up at Anyang's city. A subordinate approached and reported, Pavilion Master, there are lookouts around. No one will know your whereabouts. Si Wuyai nodded. You guys wait there. I'll take a little trip and return. Pavilion Master. Sword Devil Senior is recently been hanging out in the city's taverns and shops. Your sudden visit, this subordinate worries that Sword Devil Senior will be angered. Si Wuyai glanced at him and said, You have misunderstood second senior brother all along. I have my own judgment. The subordinates immediately bowed and saluted. Yes! Si Wuyai raised his hand, and the mysterious jade box in the flying chariot flew into his hand. At the same time, on the third floor of a certain tavern in Anyang City, the green-robed swordsman was pouring wine. The entire tavern was empty, without a single customer. The waiter standing beside him was trembling, occasionally glancing furtively at the green-robed swordsman. From the third floor of the tavern, one could see a panoramic view of Anyang City. The green-robed swordsman suddenly spoke. How long? The waiter said a few words and then swallowed a mouthful of saliva. From Qingyang to Anyang takes half an hour. By now they should have arrived. The green-robed swordsman said in a calm tone, You don't need to be afraid. There's good wine and food. Sit down here and have a drink with me. No. This lowly one wouldn't dare. This lowly one will just stand here. Standing is fine. Cold sweat covered the waiter's back. Clomp, clomp, clomp. Footsteps came from outside, and several cultivators entered the tavern. 1 in the Divine Tribunal realm, 2 in the Ocean of Worlds realm, 6 in the Qi Condensation realm, and 3 in the Mystic Unlocking realm. Then they also went up to the third floor. On the third floor, there was only 1 table, 1 chair, a plate of meat and wine, and 2 people. The green-robed swordsman and the waiter. The green-robed swordsman's gaze fell on the group of cultivators. As he appeared, he poured wine, while saying calmly, The Qingyang mountain bandits stay. The others can leave. The waiter was relieved, and hurriedly bowed to thank him. Thank you, great master. Thank you, great master. He dashed downstairs like a rabbit, disappearing in the blink of an eye. The cultivators looked at the green-robed swordsman with suspicion. The leading middle-aged man sensed a strange aura emanating from the green-robed swordsman, and cupped his fist and said, Who might you be, sir? The green-robed swordsman did not answer him, but asked, Are you all Qingyang mountain bandits? The middle-aged man then smirked and replied, The word bandit is a little harsh. We're just trying to make a living. Running this tavern isn't easy. I hope you won't make things difficult. The green-robed swordsman slapped the table once, his sword next to it. Oh really? Then it's easy to deal with. The green-robed swordsman picked up his wine cup and drank it all in one gulp. His tone was calm, but his words were shocking. I'm sorry, kill yourselves. My sword doesn't particularly like being stained with the blood of low-level cultivators. The cultivators were shocked and took a step back. Just who are you, sir? The green-robed swordsman put down his wine cup and smiled calmly. This one is Yu Shangrong. The cultivator's eyes widened, so it was him. The man with the eye patch took off his eye patch to get a good look at the sword devil. Almost instinctively, all the cultivators turned to flee. Run! Doesn't matter if it's real or fake, run! Bang, bang, bang! At the staircase entrance, a powerful astral energy blocked their escape. Watermelon-colored liquid splattered everywhere. The green-robed swordsman continued to pour wine for himself, as if he hadn't seen the scene just now. The dozen or so cultivators were in chaos. Suddenly, from mid-air outside the tavern, a series of astral energies, hidden weapons, and glittering golden light shot out, forming a peacock spreading its tail. Whoosh whoosh! All the hidden weapons accurately pierced the chests of the low-level cultivators, turning their bodies into porcupines. The green-robed swordsman didn't even bother to look, just shook his head slightly. He put down the wine cup in his hand, said with some disgust, Junior brother's actions make me lose my appetite for drinking. I really don't like the smell of fresh blood. Clop clop. Si Wuyai approached, his face cold, he said. The jade box floats beside him. Wuyai spoiled senior brother's enjoyment. Another day I will personally host a feast to apologize to you. Si Wuyai sat down in front of Yu Shangzhong. Yu Shangzhong shook his head and said, Senior brother appreciates your intention, but these bandits are really pitiful. I promised to let them kill themselves, but it couldn't be done. Si Wuyai replied, It's my fault. I shouldn't have interfered with senior brother's affairs. What kind of a refined figure is senior brother? Why would you lower yourself to deal with these bottom-tier bandits? Yu Shangrong continued. Little junior sister is innocent and pure. Her matters are my matters. Si Wuyai was stunned. Second senior brother truly loves little junior sister to the utmost. Loving her is not the right word, Yu Shangrong said in a gentle tone. When I and senior brother left the Evil Sky Pavilion, little junior sister had not yet joined. Then why? Si Wuyai glanced at the corpses of the bandits. Yu Shengrong smiled, stood up, put his hands behind his back, and looked at the scenery outside the window. I and little junior sister have met a few times. I want her to be like me, to treat everyone sincerely. At this moment, Si Wuyai toyed with the box without saying anything more. After a while, Si Wuyai coughed a few times. Second senior brother, let's talk about the main issue. After finishing speaking, Si Wuyai casually waved his hand, and the jade box flew up and rested in his hand. Yu Shengrong's gaze fell on the box. He examined it for a moment and then looked away. Si Wuyai said, "This is Master's jade box. The old man needs our weapons as keys to open it." Yu Shengrong smiled and said, "Master is indeed very interested. Even on the mountain he doesn't forget to find things for us senior brothers to do." Si Wuyai then replied, "Perhaps Master wants to use this opportunity to probe a little. Third junior brother is proficient in human hearts. Can you understand the thoughts of our old master?" Si Wuyai sat opposite Yu Shengrong, shook his head, and sighed. "If it was before, I would be very confident that I could do it, but after this period of time, I am no longer sure." The daughter's red wine from the jar was poured out. Yu Shengrong said softly, "I don't overthink things like you do. I just need Master to not run around like a headless chicken so I can relax." Si Wuyai replied, "Obviously things aren't progressing the way you'd hoped, senior brother. Master, that old man, is using the complete opposite approach. First, he off Zuo Jinchen of the three-headed demonic fiend sect. Then he captured Fan Xuwen, the leader of the Black Knights. Outside, he's got the Buddhist monks as allies. Inside, he's taken in the Jingming Dao disciple, Pan Zhong, and the Heavenly Sword sect's Zhu Jifeng. Even Hua Wu Dao from the Cloud sect went up the mountain and vanished without a trace." Yu Shengrong repeated his own words. Seventh junior brother seems a bit lacking in confidence. His tone sounds hesitant, lacking resolve. Si Wuyai nodded, not denying it at all. "I got this intel from the Shadow Network, but from start to finish, it's all contradictory. Like the bit about Master having Buddhist monk allies, that's kinda sus. At the Holy Altar, the Buddhist monks making a move was legit, but maybe this Buddhist monk was Master himself." Yu Shengrong said, a bit surprised, "Master, that old geezer, is proficient in many kinds of skills. What you said makes sense." Si Wuyai replied, "If that's really the case, maybe Master has found a new way to cultivate the skills of other schools." Yu Shengrong didn't reply, just quietly looked into the distance. The people walking on the streets of Anyang City gradually thinned out. The shadows of the evening stretched westward. "Second senior brother, are you going to open this casket or not?" "You decide." Si Wuyai turned around and looked at the casket. "Has junior brother made a decision yet?" Si Wuyai continued, "Master's calamity is coming. If that old man has found a new path, I'm even more eager to see what happens." Yu Shengrong said casually, "I don't like using my brain. Even though I sometimes disagree with your methods, junior brother, you're probably not wrong in this." He didn't reach for his sword. The light green longevity sword on his back flew up on its own, slowly descending. The pattern on the surface of the casket cracked with a crisp sound. A crack appeared on the surface of the casket. The longevity sword shot out and flew back to Yu Shengrong's back. Yu Shengrong asked, "This casket still hasn't opened." Si Wuyai immediately replied, "We still need first senior brother's jade green blade." Seventh junior brother is incredibly intelligent. According to you, what's inside this casket? It's not heavy, not gold or silver, not heavy weapons. It's being kept carefully in the casket. I hope it contains a treasure map, Si Wuyai said jokingly. "A treasure map? The kind that can find the special bone of the Bai people?" Yu Shengrong's tone was full of doubt, but his face showed disdain. Si Wuyai replied, "The bone of the Bai people is just a myth, but the treasure is real. It's just that no one has found it yet." Dredging the dead bodies from the palace took 10 years without result, which almost rules out the possibility that the special bone of the Bai people really exists. Speaking of this, Yu Shengrong sighed lightly. "I only hope 6th junior sister can overcome this mental block. The less said about her, the better. I'm afraid she can't even protect herself right now. With Master's methods, she has little chance of survival." Yu Shengrong nodded slightly, not continuing to mention Ye Tiangxin, but glancing at the mysterious casket, he said indifferently, "First senior brother rarely shows his face. I'm afraid junior brother can't find him." Si Wuyai replied, "Let's try it once. Maybe first senior brother's view is the same as ours." Yu Shengrong pointed towards the divine capital. "First senior brother isn't at Pingdu Mountain. He must be at the divine capital." Si Wuyai was immediately shocked. First senior brother has always been in closed-door cultivation, and many tasks are completed by his subordinates. Why would he personally run to the imperial territory of the divine capital this time? Yu Shengrong said, "I don't like first senior brother's way of doing things." Si Wuyai shuddered in shock. Yu Shengrong continued, "So I killed Chen Wenji." Hearing this from Yu Shengrong, Si Wuyai was speechless, not knowing how to respond. Yu Shengrong slowly said, "But before that, I informed first senior brother and Chen Wenji that my sword was placed horizontally in this place. If people put their heads in on their own, they can only end up with their heads falling off and bleeding." Si Wushai didn't know what to say, so he sighed. "Your position and first senior brother's position are different, so it can't be said who is right and who is wrong. Seventh junior brother, you have always had a big picture view. Do you feel that first senior brother is doing the right thing?" This, Si Wuyai paused for a moment and then said with a smile, "First senior brother is not doing the right thing." Yu Shengrong smiled with satisfaction. Seventh junior brother truly has a unique vision. At this moment, on the streets of Anyang City, teams of soldiers appeared one after another. For every group of 30 to 50 people, there would be 3 to 5 cultivators wearing scarlet robes in the middle of the team. Yu Shangrong pointed to the long line of soldiers in front of him. You calculated it right. Wei Zhuoyan has sent people. Si Wuyai cupped his hands and said with a smile. Although Yu Shangrong has disagreements with some people, they are all grasshoppers tied to the same rope anyway, let alone Wei Zhuoyan's appearance is ugly. Hearing this from Si Wuyai, Yu Shangrong asked back. Ugly, Si Wuyai said with a smile. It's better not to mention it. In short, Wei Zhuoyan's move is very rotten. Yu Shangrong asked. Is 7th junior brother going to take action? Si Wuyai shook his head. As before, it depends on the situation, and a decision will be made when necessary. 2nd senior brother, isn't that what you like too? Yu Shangrong replied. The only one who understands me is Wuyai junior brother. The troops below slowly marched down the street, and the cultivators wearing scarlet robes and the cavalry left Anyang City. Si Wuyai cupped his hands and said, 2nd senior brother, I have to make a trip to the divine capital. Okay. Yu Shangrong waved his hand and said, help me pass a message to him, saying that I don't want to interfere in his affairs, but it's best if he doesn't interfere in my affairs either. Si Wuyai cupped his hands in salute. I will definitely convey your words completely. After speaking, Si Wuyai waved his right hand, and the mysterious casket followed Si Wuyai and then disappeared with him. Yu Shangrong looked at the corpses lying messily on the ground, frowned slightly and said, I'm sorry, I didn't intend to kill you. Vengeance has its source. Debt has its debtor. Farewell. He jumped up gently, stepping on the void. Yaya followed. The cavalry and the cultivators wearing scarlet robes. The cultivators wondered, why did this restaurant suddenly collapse, dude? I just saw a flash of light. You read too many novels. At the same time, Si Wuyai had returned. Sect leader Fei Lian. We just saw Sword Devil Senior seems to be heading towards Golden Peak Mountain. Don't worry, 2nd senior brother has his own sense of propriety. That's right. Is there any movement from Sword Saint Luo Shisan of the Yun Tian Luo 13 sects? Reporting. Sect leader. The Sword Saint Luo Shisan is showing no activity whatsoever. If there's any news, report it immediately. I believe 2nd senior brother would be extremely fond of an opponent like that. Si Wuyai flicked his sleeves and said, head to the divine capital. According to the laws of Great Yan, any airships of unknown origin approaching the divine capital, regardless of who's on board, the Imperial Guards have the right to execute those within. If a fight really breaks out, the Darknet will suffer quite a bit, since they aren't exactly known for their fighting skills. Understood. Sect leader? Sect leader, the divine capital is guarded by the Imperial Guards, and ordinary airships aren't allowed to enter. I'm worried we'll run into trouble, Si Wuyai confidently replied. It's fine, I have His Highness's token. We'll be allowed into the city. Sect leader is wise. At the same time, Lu Zhao received a notification. Instructed 8th disciple Zhu Honggong, rewarded 200 merit points. He slowly opened his eyes, glanced at the system interface, and saw that he had a total of 8,962 merit points, still over 3,000 points short of buying the 6 harmony separation. Lu Zhao always had this kind of illusion, that drawing a lottery right now would be a guaranteed win. Lu Zhao pointed his finger and decisively drew 3 times in a row. Hearing the notification, thank you for participating in the game, this finally woke Lu Zhao up completely from his expensive illusion. The lucky points have accumulated to 8. According to this pattern, he'll accumulate a lot of lucky points. Alright, no more drawing. Ming Xinyin worked hard to teach old 8 a lesson and only earned so many merit points, and now he squandered most of them. Xiao Yanhe ran outside and called out. Master, Duanmu Sheng, and Zhao Yu followed closely behind. Lu Zhao closed the system interface, frowned, and coldly asked, What's all the commotion about? Xiao Yan'er panted and hurriedly replied. Jiang Aijian sent a flying letter saying that Wei Zhuoyan sent about 3,000 troops, and they've already passed Anyang City. Duanmu Sheng snorted coldly. This Wei Zhuoyan is really clueless. He refuses to admit his guilt, and he even dares to send troops to cause trouble. Master, your disciple requests permission to go down the mountain and fight a battle. Your disciple must kill them all. Zhao Yu also chimed in. Disciple agrees. Seeing that senior brother and senior sister were both extremely decisive, Xiao Yan'er had no choice but to continue. Disciple also wants to go down the mountain. Xiao Yan'er looked incredibly adorable at this moment. Her eyes were wide and round, not sure if she could accomplish anything, since her courage always seemed to outweigh her brain. Lu Zhao picked up his cup and took a sip of water, then said, Wei Zhuoyan has the courage to send so many people to Golden Court Mountain. He must have come well prepared. Xiao Yan'er asked in disbelief. Master, could it be that Wei Zhuoyan is even more powerful than the 10 great masters of the orthodox sects? Lu Zhao took another sip of water, then calmly replied. The problem isn't how high the cultivation of these people is. Don't even mention 3,000 troops. Even if he sent more than 10,000, your teacher wouldn't even bat an eye. Zhao Yue then bowed and asked, Does Master mean that these people might not be here to fight? Duanmu Sheng nodded. That is indeed a possibility. At this moment, a female cultivator slowly stepped forward and reported, Pavilion Master, 4th Mister has returned. With those massive melons, how could she walk fast? Lu Zhao then said, Let him in. Ming Xinyin was rushing into the main hall from outside. Before long, Ming Xinyin strolled in, cupping his hands in a respectful greeting. Ming Xinyin immediately reported, Master, this disciple took a trip to Fierce Tiger Ridge to teach that unfilial brat, Zhu Honggong, a lesson. Also at Fierce Tiger Ridge, I ran into 7th Bro. He agreed to open the Yang pool in 7 days, and I'll head back there to collect the Yang then. Lu Zhao didn't even turn his head, and replied indifferently. Good, Ming Xinyin then said. Master, Should I catch Old 8 and bring him back next time? Lu Xiao shook his head. Old 7th and Old 8 are quite close. If we catch Old 8s, we'll lose our source of information about Old 7th. Old 7th is cunning, so let Old 8 stay at Fierce Tiger Ridge for now. Ming Xinyin bowed and clasped his hands. Master is wise. Master is truly an old fox. Lu Xiao glanced at Ming Xinyin and said, You met Old 7th? Ming Xinyin nodded and snapped his fingers. Old 7th's mind is too deep. This disciple doesn't know what he's ultimately planning. Although he's no longer in the Evil Sky Pavilion, I'm still his senior brother, and he still has to give me face and use the peacock feather to open the zither. Now the zither is only missing the weapons of first senior brother and second senior brother. With Old 7th's methods, it shouldn't be a problem. Lu Xiao shook his head ever so slightly. Those little devils are probably eyeing the treasures in the chest. Ming Xinyin honestly expressed his thoughts. This zither is extremely mysterious. There's no way to use force to break it open, and the final key is the affectionate weapon ring in Master's hands. Even if they want to take the items inside the zither, they can't. Lu Xiao had also guessed these things. With Old 7th's mindset, I'm not afraid that he'll ignore this treasure zither. The Evil Sky Pavilion's treasures have already been exposed enough. Whether there's one more or one less won't attract the attention of cultivators in the world. Rather than letting the treasures in the zither never see the light of day, it's better to open it up. If there isn't a careful plan or conspiracy, who can surpass the Evil Sky Pavilion's chief disciple to take a share? Lu Xiao waved his hand and said, Let's put the matter of the treasure zither aside for now. Xiao Yanhe hurriedly placed a hand-copied cultivation method on the table in front of Lu Xiao. Master, this is the cultivation method that disciple has copied. Please take a look. Oh dear, a white dragon soaring into the clouds? This isn't a dragon, it's a bunch of earthworms crawling around. Looking at this scene, Lu Xiao looked quite like an old school teacher in ancient times, and Xiao Yanshao was the student waiting for the teacher to check her homework. Lu Xiao opened the hand-copied cultivation method, took a quick look, and had to use a supersized magnifying glass to see the words that Xiao Yanshao wrote. The Jade Mirror of Supreme Purity explains the connection between footwork and fist techniques, constantly pushing oneself to strive to communicate with the heaven and earth origin energy to cultivate and increase cultivation. This is an unparalleled cultivation method that seizes the creation of heaven and earth, mysterious and unmatched. Fortunately, Lu Xiao still had the incantation and method of regulating qi from this cultivation method memorized. He only needed to look once to know which parts were missing. Lu Xiao frowned and reached for a brush. Yes. Xiao Yaner hurriedly prepared the 4 treasures of the study and placed them on the table. Lu Xiao picked up the brush, dipped it in ink, and began to correct and supplement the Jade Mirror of Supreme Purity cultivation method. Oh dear. Like teacher, like dog, Lu Xiao's earthworms were even bigger. The disciples were shocked by this sight, but no one dared to speak up. They were all silently observing. Lu Xiao carefully counted and found that about 10 key sentences were missing from this cultivation method. After correcting and supplementing them, he was even more surprised, because even though these 10 sentences were missing, Xiao Yanhe was still able to cultivate it based on her cultivation talent. What was even rarer and more admirable was that she didn't suffer from qi deviation because of this incomplete cultivation method. After a while, Lu Zhu finished correcting it and called out, Yan Gare. Yan Gare quickly replied, Disciple is here, Lu Zhu said calmly. Your teacher has improved and completed the cultivation method for you. From now on, you should cultivate according to this cultivation method. Xiao Yanhe was overjoyed when she heard this. Xiao Yanhe almost teared up as she held the completed cultivation method in her hand. Xiao Yanhe was ecstatic. Thank you, Master. Disciple will definitely not fail your expectations and will enter the nascent soul realm soon. Xiao Yanhe respectfully accepted the full version of the Grand Clarity Jade Scroll and obediently scurried off to the side to study it. Ming Xinyin, seeing this, hastily said, Disciple will go and copy the cultivation method right away. He definitely wasn't going to miss this opportunity. The main reason he, Duan Musheng, and Zhao Yue had never left the Evil Sky Pavilion was because their cultivation methods were restricted. Now, suddenly, their master wanted to supplement their methods, and he was incredibly excited. Duan Musheng presented his copy with both hands. This is the Heaven's Unity art the disciple has transcribed. Zhao Yu also offered her cultivation method, saying, This is disciple's luminous jade skill. There weren't many omissions in the Heaven's Unity art, just a few missing lines. Lu Zhu glanced at it and added the missing incantations. Conversely, the luminous jade skill was missing crucial key sections. The luminous jade skill was a top-tier, orthodox, divine art with wondrous power. When practiced, the skin would become as clear as jade, and power wouldn't dissipate outwards, but would instead be contained within. Therefore, when circulating energy, internal energy wouldn't be depleted, but would instead increase. Never-ending, inexhaustible. Lu Zizhao pondered for a moment and filled in the missing parts of the luminous jade skill. No self, no other. The self and object are forgotten. The Supreme forgets the self. Tendon transformation nirvana. This is the final mantra of the luminous jade skill. Zhao Yu, you have a disciple. Lu Zhao gave the cultivation method to Zhao Yu, glancing at her as he did so. Your injuries haven't healed yet. Put this cultivation method aside for now. Disciple obeys. At this moment, the system continuously sent notifications. Compensating for the Grand Clarity Jade Scroll, gaining 200 merit points. Compensating for the Heaven's Unity art, gaining 200 merit points. compensating for the luminous jade skill, gaining 200 merit points. Lu Jiao was slightly surprised to hear the system's reminders. Back then, Ji Tiandao deliberately left some tricks when imparting cultivation methods to his disciples. In addition to suppression of cultivation methods, he also threatened their spirits and restricted their weapons. What a jerk move, right? Now that Lu Jiao no longer intended to restrict them, the disciples were extremely surprised. After finishing supplementing the cultivation methods, Lu Jiao put down the brush in his hand, pointed, and said, "I have corrected and supplemented your cultivation methods. Remember to cultivate diligently in the future. Don't disappoint me." The three disciples bowed their heads in unison. Disciple will definitely not fail master's expectations. At the same time, in the divine capital, a royal flying chariot slowly flew out of the Qiwang mansion. The flag of the Qiwang mansion hung on the flying chariot, slowly flying out of the divine capital. The flying chariot was surrounded by a group of cultivators forming a huge formation. Seeing this scene, Si Wuyai smiled. "Eldest senior brother, you are indeed a bold and talented person. You actually came to the Qiwang mansion." A subordinate then asked, "Does the sect leader need to pursue him?" Si Wuyai replied, "No need. You guys wait here." Yes, Si Wuyai stepped into the void, holding a mysterious treasure spear in his hand, and flew towards the huge flying chariot. This flying chariot was extremely large, and was often used to show the power of its owner. The inside was spacious and comfortable, so in terms of speed, it was not as fast as small flying chariots. Si Wuyai caught up in no time. The people of the divine capital were too familiar with the royal flying chariots to be surprised anymore. Inside the flying chariots, a middle-aged man dressed in black robes, with distinct facial features, stood on the flying chariot observing the earth. A female subordinate standing beside him bowed and said, "Sect leader, it will take 3 hours to get from the divine capital to Pingdu Mountain. Please rest early, sect leader." The middle-aged man pointed to the entire scene of the divine capital and said, "It is rare for me to leave Pingdu Mountain. Naturally, I must enjoy the scenery here." "Yes?" The middle-aged man slowly said, "Only by standing on this flying chariot can one understand how to preserve this beautiful land. Standing from above, even the divine capital is under my feet." What the sect leader says is right. No matter what he said, they would only bow their heads without any personal opinions. "How boring, you guys are no fun at all." A voice came from not far away. A subordinate kneeling down reported, "Sect leader, someone is approaching." The middle-aged man indifferently shook his head. The subordinate continued, "This person's cultivation is extremely high. He said that you will definitely agree to meet him." The man felt curious. Interesting. The middle-aged man clasped his hands and walked to the side of the flying chariot, his eyes overlooking the entire scene below from the sky. He saw a person floating, holding a mysterious treasure spear, surrounded by the 4 guardian protectors. The 5 people floated outside the flying chariot, looking at each other defensively. Si Wuyai transmitted his voice, saying, "Eldest senior brother, long time no see." The man then said, "Let him up." "Yes." The 4 guardian protectors stepped aside to make a path, and Si Wuyai's figure flashed. He safely appeared beside the flying chariot. Si Wuyai waved his hand, and the mysterious treasure spear slowly flew into the flying chariot, while he did not salute the middle-aged man in front of him, saying, "Greetings, eldest senior brother." This middle-aged man was the eldest disciple of the Evil Sky Pavilion, Yu Zhenghai, the sect leader of the #1 demonic sect in the world, the Nether sect. Yu Zhenghai looked at Si Wuyai and said, "Junior brother is busy with 100 tasks every day. Why are you free to come to the divine capital to find me today?" Si Wuyai quickly replied, "Eldest senior brother is joking. How can my darknet have 100 tasks? Perhaps it's because eldest senior brother doesn't mind traveling thousands of miles to personally leave Pingdu Mountain to grace the Qiwang mansion." Yu Zhenghai mentioned Yu Xiangrong, and a trace of blame appeared on his face. "Your second senior brother killed my people. If I didn't personally take action, I'm afraid that with his temperament he would attack again." 2 subordinates hurriedly brought 2 chairs and placed them next to them. Yu Zhenghai gestured for Si Wuyai to sit down as he pleased. Si Wuyai said, "Eldest senior brother, please calm down. It's just a Chen Wenji." The sword fanatic Chen Wenji outwardly joined the Nether sect, but secretly colluded with the Yun Tianluo 3 sects. Second senior brother has eliminated an internal spy for eldest senior brother. This is also a good thing. Yu Zhenghai's tone was indifferent. How could I not know about Chen Wenji? He was just a pawn. At least with him, I can openly contain the experts of the Jingming Dao. Your second senior brother is humble and courteous to everyone, but his mind is too simple and doesn't understand my thoughts. Si Wuyai said with a smile. "Eldest senior brother is right, 7th. Let me ask you," Yu Zhenghai said. Si Wuyai replied. "Eldest senior brother, please ask." Wuyai will say whatever he knows. Yu Zhenghai asked, "You've always been the most considerate of the big picture. Do you think what your second senior brother is doing is right?" Si Wuyai immediately replied, "Second senior brother is wrong. 7th junior brother has a very discerning eye." A rare look of delight appeared on Yu Zhenghai's face. "If I could level the entire divine capital, what would you do?" Si Wuyai. "Junior brother would naturally support you wholeheartedly." Yu Zhenghai laughed heartily. "Only Wu Yai junior brother understands me." Si Wu Yai relayed Yu Xiangrong's exact words. "Second senior brother asked me to tell you, he doesn't want to interfere with your affairs, but you better not interfere with his either." Still the same temperament, Yu Zhenghai shook his head. "Forget it. Let's not mention him. It's a rare occasion to meet Wu Yai junior brother today. Let's not talk about unpleasant things. Let's drink." The two subordinates behind him immediately went inside to prepare fine wine and food. Si Wuyai could only remain silent, but since the eldest senior brother had offered fine wine, it wasn't convenient for him to refuse and embarrass him. After drinking 3 cups together, Yu Zhenghai casually asked, "What brings 7th junior brother here to see me?" Si Wuyai put down his wine cup and pointed towards the chest. This is master's chest. Yu Zhenghai frowned upon hearing this. While waiting for new chapters, there are many good stories below, in the comments, or in the playlist. Please support so that little sister has the motivation to release new chapters quickly. Little sister is extremely grateful. Yu Zhenghai and Si Wuyai each held a glass of wine. 1, 2, 3, cheers! Yu Zhenghai continued to ask. After I came out of seclusion, I heard that Master single-handedly forced back the 10 great experts, and is now enjoying his old age in the Dark Heaven Pavilion. What's the matter with this chest? Si Wuyai replied, "This chest is extremely mysterious. Even celestial-grade weapons can't do anything to it. It requires 6 different weapons to open it. Now only your Jade Green Blade and 6th junior sister's amorous ring remain. Is the amorous ring currently in Master's possession?" Yu Zhenghai continued to inquire. "Master already has so many treasures, and he's still in the mood to collect more. Do you know what's inside this chest?" Si Wuyai shook his head. "I have no idea, but the more precious something is, the more it should be opened. Treasures shouldn't gather dust. If eldest senior brother wants to level the divine capital, naturally he should have as many treasures as possible." Yu Zhenghai raised his right hand. An array of light flashed around him, surrounding the jade green blade that appeared in his palm. Seeing this, Si Wuyai said, "Placing the weapon into the pattern on the chest will activate it." Si Wuyai pointed to the jade green blade-shaped pattern on one side of the chest. But Yu Zhenghai didn't place the jade green blade into it. He looked at the pattern on the chest and said, "2nd senior brother has made his decision, and 7th junior brother has also made his. If I don't agree to open this chest, what are you planning to do?" Si Wuyai gave a faint smile, as if he had already anticipated that Yu Zhenghai would say such words. This chest was brought down the mountain by 4th senior brother Ming Shiyin's. In Ming Xinyan's hand is a celestial-grade weapon similar to this pattern, resembling both a hook and an opening. 4th senior brother gave me 7 days. If we still can't open it, I'm afraid Master will be angry. Yu Zhenghai blinked slightly. The old man is getting old, he gets angry easily, waving the jade green blade around. But the jade green blade didn't land on the pattern on the chest. Instead, it flew towards a group of cultivators standing below the flying chariot. Si Wuyai was slightly startled, observing the Qinglong altar main stronghold with surprise. After leaving the flying chariot, the jade green blade rotated clockwise, each strand of gang qi emitted, resembling the jade green blade itself. The blade was enveloped by a powerful gang qi, looking like a giant windmill, constantly stirring up the primordial qi. The primordial qi scattered outwards, condensing into gang, creating countless small jade green blades. Si Wuyai nodded and said, "Great Xuan Heaven Chapter. Xuan Heaven Star Ray. This is Yu Zhenghai's famous technique. Great Xuan Heaven Chapter. Since Yu Zhenghai obtained the jade green blade, through his own efforts and extraordinary comprehension, he successfully integrated the Great Xuan Heaven Chapter and his blade techniques into one. Even experts of the same level wouldn't dare to underestimate this move, let alone the people of the Qinglong altar, who don't have any high-level cultivators." The cultivators at the Qinglong main stronghold looked up, panicking. What are those blades in the sky? They're heading towards us. Everyone, summon your dharmic bodies to defend." But by the time they realized the blade storm was about to descend, it was too late. A bloody storm ensued, filled with the screams of the cultivators. "Our death has arrived. It's too strong. We can't resist." The jade green blade, a rare and powerful celestial-grade weapon, could easily shatter the gang qi shields of ordinary cultivators. A few dharmic bodies half the size of a person appeared, but were instantly shredded by the Great Xuan Heaven Chapter's rain of blades. In an instant, the jade green blade flew back into Yu Zhenghai's palm. It was still the same blade, looking ordinary and unremarkable, just like a common blade in a forge. Yu Zhenghai said indifferently, "4 great protectors. Go collect the spoils of war. We obey the sect leader's command." The 4 great protectors jumped off the flying chariot in succession. As the 4 left the flying chariot, 4 enormous 100 tribulation illumination dharmic bodies simultaneously appeared in the sky. The lowest golden lotus beneath the dharmic body already had 6 leaves. The cultivators below cried out again, "This time we're really done for. 6-leaf dharmic bodies, 4 6-leaf dharmic bodies or higher." Si Wuyai knew that the nether sect was strong, but its strength completely exceeded his expectations. Besides the 4 great protectors, there were also thousands of sect members and powerful cultivators scattered everywhere. With just his personal ability, eldest senior brother was able to attract so many strong individuals to join the nether sect. His methods were truly admirable. Si Wuyai tilted his head to look at Yu Zhenghai. Yu Zhenghai didn't look towards the Qinglong altar, but towards the distance. Yu Zhenghai said calmly, "Wuyai junior brother, don't be surprised. The Qinglong society superficially submits to my sect, but behind our backs, they secretly act against us. This is the consequence they brought upon themselves." Si Wuyai wasn't surprised either. He had previously assessed the strength of the nether sect. The nether sect could become the #1 demonic sect in the world. If it didn't have the ability, how could it have reached this day? Si Wuyai smiled. Eldest senior brother truly has many tricks up his sleeve. Junior brother is overly impressed. "Come, let's have another cup. He raised his hand, and the wine cup on the table flew into his hand. Reaching this level of cultivation, they could use Gangqi to remotely control objects. Si Wuyai felt refreshed, drinking the cup in one gulp. After a round of drinks, the 4 great protectors stepped into the air and returned to the flying chariot. A female protector knelt down, cupping her hands and reporting, "Sect leader, the Qinglong stronghold has been cleared." Hai was extremely pleased. "Very good." Yu Zhenghai put down his wine cup, and the 4 protectors respectfully retreated behind him. Si Wuyai also placed his wine cup on the table and said, "I've finished watching the show, and I've drunk enough wine." Eldest senior brother, about the chest, Yu Zhenghai raised his hand, interrupting him. "If it weren't 7th junior brother, but someone else who came to find me, no matter who it was, I wouldn't agree to open this chest. But since 7th junior brother has spoken, how can I not give him face? I will open this chest, but..." He paused for a moment and continued, "But not right now," Si Wuyai asked suspiciously. "Why?" Yu Zhenghai said. "In 7 days, I will personally bring this chest to Fierce Tiger Ridge, to Little 8th, and visit 8th junior brother, by the way. It's been a long time since I've seen him, so I'll take this opportunity to catch up with him." Si Wuyai nodded. "That's very good." Seeing Si Wuyai nod so quickly, Yu Zhenghai's eyes widened in surprise, and he asked again, "Little 7th, I'm making such an excuse. Aren't you going to ask why?" Si Wuyai replied calmly. "Eldest senior brother's actions always reassure me. There's no need to question you." Yu Zhenghai laughed loudly. "In this world, everyone's always praising 7th bro," Si Wuyai said with a chuckle, then stood up. "Senior brother, you're too kind." The flying chariot had already taken off, heading towards Pingdu Mountain. Si Wuyai glanced at the direction they were flying and said, "Eldest senior brother, I've got some business to attend to. Sorry to trouble you with the sheep, no biggie." Yu Zhenghai nonchalantly nodded. "If you see 2nd senior brother, tell him for me. If he has some free time, I'd love to spar with him." Si Wuyai hesitated for a moment upon hearing this. About that, Yu Zhenghai slowly said, "If you want your blade to always be sharp, you have to hone it all the time. I reckon 2nd senior brother's sword is the same. Eldest senior brother speaks with reason. It's hard to find an evenly matched opponent. If you're constantly dealing with low-level guys, it's hard to maintain your edge." Saying this, Si Wuyai clasped his hands. "I'll definitely relay this to 2nd senior brother. Go on, get out." Yu Zhenghai waved his hand. While drinking his wine, Si Wuyai leaped off the flying chariot. He descended through the air, disappearing without a trace in the blink of an eye. 4 Dharma protectors stood at the 4 corners of the flying chariot. One of the female Dharma protectors suddenly bowed and said, "Leader, this guy seems a bit of a trickster, a smooth talker. We can't let our guard down." As soon as she finished speaking, Yu Zhenghai's eyes widened, and the great dark heaven palm slammed into the female Dharma protector's chest. The female Dharma protector didn't dare to resist, barely managing to take the palm strike. The female Dharma protector cried out in pain, doubling over as her chi and blood churned, but she still struggled to kneel on one knee. "Leader, please forgive me, I misspoke." Yu Zhenghai angrily pointed his finger. "This palm strike is just a minor punishment. 7th junior brother isn't someone you guys can judge so easily." Yu Zhenghai clasped his hands behind his back and walked to the side of the flying chariot. The female Dharma protector lowered her head, not daring to say a word. "You guys are the trusted right-hand men of yours truly. If it weren't for 7th junior brother secretly helping from behind the scenes, do you think the underworld sect would have achieved such glory today?" The Dharma protector's eyes widened, not daring to speak. Yu Zhenghai shook his head, his voice softening. "This palm strike of mine is not just a punishment, but also a warning." Yu Zhenghai picked up the wine jar and said as he walked, "From now on, you must never underestimate anyone." The female Dharma protector clasped her hands and bowed her head. "Your teachings are correct, leader. If you find this good, please give little sister a like, a comment, and a motivation registration. Love you all." While waiting for the new chapters, there are many more good stories in the comments, or in the playlist. Please watch and support, so that little sister has the motivation to release new chapters quickly. Little sister is very grateful. At the same time, after Si Wuyai landed, a flying chariot with extremely high speed flew from the god capital. The direction and angle of the flight were extremely cunning, just to avoid the defense lines guarded by the imperial guards. The flying chariot slowly stopped beside Si Wuyai. More than a dozen cultivators left the flying chariot, came in front of Si Wuyai, bowed and said in unison, "Leader, recently the underworld sect has been madly clearing out opposing forces. The area from the god capital to Pingdu Mountain now belongs to the underworld sect. The leader and the underworld sect are quite related." Si Wuyai raised his hand to stop them. "Don't worry, sometimes the bigger force isn't necessarily the winner in the battle. Sometimes a person or something can change the course of the battle. Eldest senior brother has reached the position he is today, so he naturally understands this principle." One of them continued. "Then the sheep of the demon heaven pavilion?" Si Wuyai asked. "I guessed that eldest senior brother would leave this thing behind. Also, has the Zheng Yi Dao side released any rumors yet?" "I've created some rumors. Very good. Just let the matter develop. No need to interfere anymore. Obey. Some things often just need a gentle push to develop in the direction you want. The more natural it is, the more real it is. Leader, there is intelligence from Dark Web. Wei Zhuoyan's horse team has arrived at Gengzi Town. Continue to monitor. Obey." Si Wuyai glanced at the flying chariot and said, "No need to use the flying chariot. I suddenly want to take a walk around God Capital." More than a dozen subordinates immediately bowed upon hearing this, and then quietly retreated. Si Wuyai clasped his hands and flew towards God Capital City. In God Capital, in a quiet courtyard in Changning Mansion, General Wei Zhuoyan was leisurely lying on a chair sunbathing. One of them ran to the side and reported, "General, our people have arrived at Gengzi Town." Wei Zhuoyan was being masked by a female servant, he said casually. "It's just a formality, just go with them. This team of people and cultivators is no different from going to die in the Demon Heaven Pavilion. If she likes hitting rocks with eggs, then just let her do it. The general is right. It's just that Master Mo is now the darling next to his highness. We can't provoke her." Wei Zhuoyan snorted lightly. This general wants to see how long she can be favored. Her subordinate Chen Zhu was one of the 3 great divine archers of God Capital, and he lost his life in the witchcraft formation on the Dutian River. She tried to hide it, thinking that this general didn't know. The female servant next to her asked, "Master Chen Zhu is dead." Wei Zhuoyan harumphed. "Died at the right time?" This general hates people like him who are arrogant and think that no one under the sky can control him if he has good archery skills. If the general says it's good, then it's a good thing. Wei Zhuoyan ordered. "No one in the palace knows about this yet. You find someone to blow the wind to his highness's ears." "Yes." The female servant hesitated and asked, "It's just that this subordinate is very curious. Chen Zhu is a 6-leaf divine archer. Who can kill him?" Wei Zhuoyan shook his head and slapped the mask on his face into his mouth. This general has thought about this, but there are too few clues about the battle on the Dutian River. After the witchcraft formation was activated, it was no different from destroying the corpse and destroying the traces, so I naturally couldn't find out. However, the one who killed Chen Zhu must be a master. I just hope he is not my enemy," the female servant continued. "The general is an important minister of the country, holding heavy troops. Who would dare to be your enemy?" Wei Zhuoyan listened to her flattering, but his heart did not fluctuate in the slightest. What kind of flattery has he not encountered to get to this position? He stood up straight and smiled softly. "The strength of the Demon Heaven Pavilion is very strong. You can't underestimate it." The female servant next to him continued, "General, the Demon Heaven Pavilion sent a message to ask you to confess your guilt. Obviously, they don't take us seriously." The female servant said in a low voice, "Among the 9 great disciples of the Demon Heaven Pavilion, the eldest disciple Yu Zhenghai is the leader of the Underworld sect, and his strength is unfathomable. How about we join forces with the Underworld sect?" Wei Zhuoyan was shocked. He was not angry, but said coldly, "Since ancient times, the righteous and the evil have not gone the same way. This matter should not be mentioned again." "Yes." At the same time, in Gengzi Town, Wei Zhuoyan's horse team and the cultivators in red robes have gathered. A soldier stepped forward and told the red-robed cultivators, "My lords, Gengzi Town is not far from Golden Court Mountain. We can reach the mountain today. No rush." The red-robed cultivator waved his hand, slowly walked out of Gengzi Town, and began to survey the surroundings. The dense forest outside obscured the silhouette of Golden Court Mountain. The flat terrain around had become fertile fields for the commoners of Gengzi Town, the red-robed cultivator said. "We'll head to Golden Court Mountain early tomorrow morning." "Yes." The red-robed cultivator waved to the remaining red-robed figures. There were about 30 of them, standing together in 3 horizontal rows. 3,000 cavalrymen stood behind. The 30 red-robed cultivators didn't enter the town, but walked towards the flatlands outside. The 3,000 cavalrymen were clueless. The red-robed cultivator said casually, "Move out." "Yes." The red-robed cultivators quickly darted away. The soldiers below were utterly astonished at this sight. What are they doing? Some kind of ritual dance? The speed of those red-robed cultivators kept increasing, their feet gradually leaving the ground as they glided like phantoms, terrifying anyone who saw them. A bizarre aura constantly emanated from their bodies, startling the beasts in the nearby forest to flee in all directions. The red-robed cultivators sometimes formed 3 rows, sometimes a single row, and sometimes a crescent shape, prancing towards Golden Court Mountain, disappearing in the blink of an eye. The 3,000 cavalrymen exchanged glances. They vanished. "What do we do?" "We'll stay here tonight. I'll sleep with you guys." Not knowing what to do, they had no choice but to set up camp outside Gengzi Town. At midnight, muffled sounds and the crackling of burning fires continuously echoed from Golden Court Mountain throughout the night. The next morning, 3 red-robed cultivators rhythmically appeared outside the camp, as if they had been waiting all night. When the centurion of the cavalry opened his eyes, he was immediately frightened by the red-robed figure standing beside him. "My lord," the red-robed cultivator said casually. Starting at the Moshin Pavilion, Lu Zhao looked down at Muley. The progress of the Unsealing the Mysterious Treasures mission had reached 4/6, meaning there were still 2 weapons left to unseal. The yang in his hand held the amorous hoop. According to Ming Shiyin, the only one left was the jade-green saber of Yu Zhenghai, his eldest disciple. Lu Zhao slowly stood up and closed the system interface. "Yanher, Zhao, Yanher." She was outside grilling milk, and hastily replied, "Did master call me?" She immediately flew in, Lu Zhu asked. "Any news from Jiang Aijian?" Zhao Yanher shook her head. "Not yet." She quickly arrived beside Lu Zhu. Lu Zhu clasped his hands and walked down the steps. With Zhao Yanher, "I'm afraid he's busy figuring out how to get the Dragon Chant sword." Zhao Yanher obediently supported Lu Zhu's arm. "Master, please watch your step." Seeing Lu Zhao arrive, the group bowed and greeted. "Greetings, Pavilion Master." "Greetings, Master." Outside the main hall, a female cultivator slowly walked in. "Pavilion Master, someone from the palace is requesting an audience with you." Lu Zhao asked indifferently. "Who is it?" At this time, Ming Shiyin offered meat, while Duan Musheng pulled out a chair for his master to sit on. Xiao Yanhe also said, if every Tom, Dick, and Harry could meet my master, wouldn't he be exhausted to death? The female cultivator bowed and said, it's someone from Wei Zhuoyan. Lu Jiao took a bite of the meat and asked, what about Wei Zhuoyan? The female cultivator quickly replied, He didn't come, but these red-robed cultivators seem to have considerable cultivation. If you guys enjoy it, please give Xiao Mei a like, comment, and subscribe for motivation. Love you all while waiting for new chapters. There are many other great stories in the comments or in the playlists. Please support them so Xiao Mei has the motivation to release new chapters quickly. Xiao Mei is extremely grateful. Xiao Yanhe, gnawing on a piece of meat, said, Master, how about I go down and take a look? Lu Xiao waved his hand, rejecting Xiao Yanhe's suggestion. Let them come up. Yes. Ming Shiyin, Zhao Yue, and Duan Musheng exchanged glances upon hearing this. Taking advantage of the fact that the guests hadn't arrived yet, Duan Musheng bowed and said, Master, this Wei Zhuoyan is really arrogant, completely disregarding the Mophacian Pavilion. This disciple requests to go to the divine capital to execute this traitor. Ming Shiyin continued to glance at third senior brother. Before Lu Zhao could speak, Hua Wudao spoke up. Third senior brother is indeed courageous, but the divine capital is heavily guarded, with experts as numerous as the clouds. It's said that Wei Zhuoyan's cultivation is at least 6 leaf. Third senior brother, cough cough of course. Third senior brother's heavenly unity art is also relatively powerful, but 2 fists can't defeat 4 hands. It's best not to be reckless. Hua Wudao stepped forward, clasped his hands, and bowed. Greetings, Pavilion Master. Lu Zhao then said, Hua Wudao, come over here, come eat grilled meat with me. Yes. Lu Zhao nodded, stroked his beard, and continued, Elder Hua is right. Old Third, I heard you've been sparring with Elder Hua lately? Hua Wudao said shyly, Thank you, Xiao Yanhe. Then pointed to a spot for Elder Hua. You sit here. Hearing his master's words, Duan Musheng bowed. Yes, holding meat in his hand, Lu Zhao continued. This is a good thing. Elder Hua's 6 Harmonies Dao seal is unparalleled in the world. If you can break it, your strength will advance very quickly, Duan Musheng quickly replied. This disciple will work harder. Elder Hua immediately coughed a few times. Guiding the younger generation is what I should do, but I'm getting old. I can't spar so frequently. Duan Musheng clenched his fists and said to Elder Hua, Then let's reduce it from 3 times a day to 2 times a day. Ahem, Hua Wudao's face flushed red. Facing an opponent like Duan Musheng, who sometimes won and sometimes lost, and who became stronger the more he was suppressed, Hua Wudao had no words. Lu Zhao clasped his hands. It's best to spar once every 3 days. Too much pressure is useless even if you win. This disciple respectfully obeys Master's orders. Thank you, Pavilion Master. Just then, outside the main hall, 3 red-robed cultivators followed the female cultivator and slowly walked in. Their eyes were wide as they glanced around. One of them said loudly, I am Yu Sheng, paying respects to the Pavilion Master. Their robes covered their heads as they quietly walked forward, placing their hands in front of them. Another said, I am Yu Guan, paying respects to the Pavilion Master. Lu Zhao was still focused on eating, while Xiao Yanhe was preparing a pot of tea. Yu Sheng, Yu Guan, Ming Shiyin looked at them. Are you descendants of the Ten Vu? At this moment, Xiao Yanhe invited her master to drink tea. Yu Sheng bowed and said, My brothers and I are indeed descendants of the Ten Vu. Ming Shiyin asked, Were you the ones who sealed my junior sister's cultivation? Yu Sheng replied, It was a misunderstanding. My brothers and I came to Moshin Pavilion precisely to resolve this misunderstanding. Let's hear it. Ming Shiyin walked to a chair and slowly sat down. Yu Sheng said, Although we are descendants of the Ten Vu, we are extremely loyal to the Dian dynasty. Recently, there was a slight misunderstanding with the Mokation Pavilion. My lord instructed me to come to Mokation Pavilion to apologize to the Pavilion Master. That's all. Ming Shiyin showed a look of disdain. The soldiers carrying the 2 chests followed behind Yu Sheng, pointing at them. My lord once visited Jingming Dao. Coincidentally, the experts of Jingming Dao had captured 5th senior brother Zhao Yu at that time. My lord then took action to seal 5th senior brother's cultivation. For this matter, my lord is willing to offer 5 Shuang grade weapons and 10,000 taels of gold to reconcile and compensate. Having said that, the 2 soldiers behind him opened the chests, revealing 5 weapons and glittering gold inside. Ming Shiyin laughed upon hearing this. Shuang grade weapons. You dare to bring these out? Look at what I have. He raised his right hand, and the separation hook immediately appeared, hovering in midair. The faint gang energy surrounding the separation hook clearly demonstrated its rank. This is a heaven-grade weapon, and my overlord's spear. Duan Musheng lifted his hand, and the overlord's spear spun 360 degrees. Gang energy transformed into flowing light, enveloping it from tip to tail. The carved dragon pattern further enhanced its regal aura. The 2 envoys stared blankly. Even higher ranked, this is a heaven-grade weapon. Yu Sheng and Yu Guan saw this. A flash of surprise appeared in their eyes. Then they immediately regained their composure. The Demon Heaven Pavilion truly makes one look at it in a new light. To casually produce heaven-grade weapons, Yu Sheng praised. Ming Shiyin replied, If you already knew that, why bring a pile of scrap metal here? This junior is being rude, Yu Sheng said, cupping his fist. Ming Shiyin asked again, What's your lord's name? In fact, this information was easy to find. After several recent encounters, he already knew that this expert was Hong Ren, who served by the current second prince's side. My lord's name is Mo Lihai. the most powerful practitioner of witchcraft in the great Yan divine capital today. When Yu Sheng spoke these words, he wore an expression of pride. Xiao Yanhe couldn't help but interject sarcastically upon hearing this. The most powerful practitioner of witchcraft today. Keep bragging, I don't believe it anyway. Yu Sheng and Yu Guan glanced at Xiao Yanhe. This is not important, what matters is the attitude of the pavilion master. Yu Sheng cupped his fist again. Ming Xinyin shook his head. If she comes in person, maybe there's still a chance, but for the two of you. Yu Sheng was slightly startled, and a bad feeling arose in his heart. He quickly explained. Lord Mo Li is always busy with many tasks, to be honest. A few days ago, Lord Chenju unfortunately passed away. Lord Mo Li is too grief-stricken to leave the divine capital. Yu Guan followed up. Lord Mo Li has been searching for the murderer day and night. After finding the murderer of Chenju, Lord Mo Lai will definitely visit the Demon Heaven Pavilion in person. Furthermore, the palace received news that someone was impersonating the Demon Heaven Pavilion at the Dutian River, which is extremely audacious. Lord Mo Li, in order to resolve the conflict with the Demon Heaven Pavilion, has sent people to investigate the impostor. These words stunned Ming Shiyin and Duan Musheng. Ming Shiyin recalled the witchcraft formation at the Dutian River. Chenju, one of the three great divine archers, was personally killed by Lu Ju. At that time, the witchcraft formation had covered the area, obstructing everyone's vision. Impersonating the Demon Heaven Pavilion had diverted the attention of the people in the palace. In other words, the palace didn't know that the Demon Heaven Pavilion had killed Chenju. Lu Ju said calmly. I can overlook the matter of Zhao Yu. As soon as he said this, the disciples were completely surprised. They exchanged glances, none of them able to guess what the master was thinking. Xiao Yanhe's eyes widened, never expecting the old man to be so tolerant. Duan Musheng couldn't help but exclaim. Compared to before, it's like a world of difference. Thank you, Pavilion Master. Yu Sheng and Yu Guan bowed simultaneously. Yu Sheng stood up straight and continued. There's another matter for this visit to the Demon Heaven Pavilion. Speak, Lu Zhaoxiao said. The Demon Heaven Pavilion is a demonic sect, always watched closely by the 10 great righteous sects. Lord Mo Li admires the strength of the Demon Heaven Pavilion. Currently, the great Yan imperial family desperately needs forces to support it. Why doesn't the Demon Heaven Pavilion repay the court and bring blessings to the common people of the world? Yu Sheng spoke slowly. Ming Shiyin immediately replied. You're trying to recruit the Demon Heaven Pavilion. That's right, it's recruitment. From now on, the Demon Heaven Pavilion will rise to the heavens in a single step, transforming from a demonic sect to a righteous one, revered by the world. Duan Musheng raised his hand, slamming the Overlord's spear into the ground with a clang. Recruit my ass. The last person who dared to say these words was the second seat of the Demon Slaughter sect, Zuo Jinchen. Zuo Jinchen still knew shame, but you guys have completely lost all sense of it. Yu Sheng and Yu Guan were utterly speechless. Ming Xinyin chimed in. If you really want to bring blessings to the common people of the world, then how do you explain your slaughter of innocent civilians in the Dutian River region? Yu Sheng raised his eyebrows, and a bad feeling rose in his heart again. The eyes around them were staring at them intently, without blinking. Did the Demon Heaven Pavilion also know about the events at the Dutian River? Ming Shiyin widened his eyes, raising his eyebrows. Chenju dared to cause trouble, so I sent him to heaven. Yu Sheng and Yu Guan took a step back simultaneously, staring at Lu Zhujiao in horror. After a few seconds of brief shock, Yu Sheng tried to regain his composure. The Demon Heaven Pavilion killed Lord Chenju. Ming Shiyin laughed. Are you deaf? Since things have come to this point, I think there must be some misunderstanding. Lord Chenju received news that an impostor of the Demon Heaven Pavilion had appeared at the Dutian River. Perhaps Lord Chenju encountered the Pavilion Master, and a conflict arose between the two sides. Although Lord Chenju is a divine archer, he lacks prudence in his actions. He offended the Pavilion Master, so his death is not unjust, Yu Sheng analyzed. Ming Xinyin laughed and said, I wasn't wrong to say you're thick-skinned. You were just saying you wanted to tear the murderer of Chenju into 100 pieces, so, come on, my master is right here, do you dare make a move? Lu Zhao glanced at Ming Shiyin, reprimanding. Nonsense! As soon as he finished speaking, Ming Shiyin hurriedly lowered his head, slapped his own mouth and said, This disciple spoke too quickly. Please forgive me, master. Lu Zhao ignored Ming Shiyin. Yu Sheng said awkwardly, It's all a misunderstanding. I didn't know before that Lord Chenju died at the hands of the Pavilion Master. I believe the Pavilion Master is a person who understands the greater good and won't quibble with juniors. Ming Shiyin, still bowing his head, continued. You're wrong. Lu Juhua waved his hand slightly. A mere Chenju is not enough to please this seat. The two female cultivators beside him bowed and left. These words rendered Yu Sheng and Yu Guan speechless. Suddenly, someone's gaze widened in shock. Yu Sheng asked suspiciously, This is? Not long after, two female cultivators carried a litter into the main hall, on which lay the unconscious Ye Tiangxin. Everyone's gaze focused on Ye Tiangxin. Zhao Yue replied, This is my master's sixth disciple, Ye Tiangxin. She comes from Yulong village in the Dutian River. Yu Sheng frowned. Only now did he suddenly understand why the Demon Heaven Pavilion's attitude was like this. Yu Sheng cupped his fist and said, To be honest, the massacre at Yulong village was the act of General Zhang Ning, Wei Zhuoyan, and has nothing to do with Lord Mo Li, Duan Musheng said angrily. Just because you say it has nothing to do with him, doesn't mean it doesn't? Yu Sheng and Yu Guan bowed and said, Saying more is useless. I have completed the task Lord Mo Li entrusted to me when coming to the Demon Heaven Pavilion. It's a pity that the pavilion master did not agree, which I find extremely regrettable. Since that's the case, so be it. Ming Shi Yin said, "What is the relationship between your lord and Wei Zhuoyan?" He could tell from Yu Sheng's tone that the relationship between Wei Zhuoyan and Mo Li didn't seem very good. This, Yu Sheng stammered, not daring to say more. "You keep saying that the events at the Dutian River have nothing to do with your lord, but the retrieval of corpses at the dock was done with the arrangement of the witchcraft formation, and there were experts like Chen Zhu stationed there. Do you think I'm a fool?" Thump. Thump. Yu Sheng and Yu Guan knelt down decisively, cold sweat breaking out on their foreheads. Lord Mo Li was only acting under orders. The witchcraft formation outside the dock had been set up beforehand. "The events of Yulong Village really have nothing to do with our lord. If there's half a lie, may we die without peace." No matter what they said, Ming Shi Yin and Duan Musheng didn't believe them. The atmosphere in the main hall grew increasingly tense. Just as the two were preparing to rush forward, Pan Zhang, who had been standing to the side without saying a word, suddenly spoke up. "Descendants of the 10 shamans, how come one of you is surnamed Mo and named Li?" Under any other circumstances, Pan Zhang calling Mo Li by his full name would be a major taboo, but this is the Evil Sky Pavilion. No matter how harsh it sounds, they can only listen. Wu Sheng and Wu Guan whipped their heads around, startled, looking towards Pan Zhang. "Everyone has the right to cultivate, Lord. Mo Li's cultivation is profound, and we are willing to follow him," Pan Zhang retorted. Since ancient times, the 10 shamans have been powerhouses revered by all, masters of healing arts and divination. White shamanism in particular was considered the absolute peak. If you guys are descendants of the 10 shamans, why have you become hunting dogs for someone else? Hunting dogs? Wu Sheng and Wu Guan's expressions turned ugly, their eyes scrutinizing Pan Zhang. Before coming here, they had thoroughly researched the Evil Sky Pavilion, and in their impression, this person wasn't among them. "And you are?" Pan Zhang replied nonchalantly. "A true man doesn't change his name when traveling, nor his surname when sitting. I originally came from Jingming Dao, and now I'm a member of the Evil Sky Pavilion." The Evil Sky Pavilion's business is Pan Zhang's business. Wu Sheng cupped his hands and said, "So it's Brother Pan. The reputation of being descendants of the 10 shamans isn't much to brag about. We just want to serve the imperial court and bring fortune to the common people of the world." "Well said," Pan Zhang clapped. "I've asked 4th Senior about the Dutian River area. Not only is there a grand shamanistic formation, but the riverbanks for 100 miles are riddled with shamanistic traps. Even a powerhouse like 4th Senior got ambushed by shamanistic arts when he encountered them, let alone ordinary commoners who can't even trust a chicken. Back when I was still in Jingming Dao, I often heard news of commoners dying tragically along the Dutian River. How do you explain this?" Wu Sheng's expression shifted. Pan Zhang's words had rendered him speechless. Lu Zhao merely watched them with a detached air, not participating in the discussion. Wu Sheng respectfully said, "The Dutian River often has cultivators approaching and disturbing the local population.